PulpMX Show. Presented by Motorsport.com. Fly Racing and Decal Works. Coming to you live from Las Vegas, right outside the Lion's Den, with your host, Steve Mathis. And now strap in and get ready. It's showtime.
I just don't like the guy. The guy's just a douchebag.
Yeah, welcome everybody. The PulpMX Show presented by Fly Racing, Motorsport.com, and Decal Works coming at you. We are at an undisclosed location deep in the heart of Indianapolis, Indiana, for another on-site live show. No video tonight, just audio. So if you're staring at the black screen on PulpMX YouTube or RacerX Facebook, I apologize, but just audio tonight. So here we are, Indianapolis, one round down of the Indianapolis trifecta, two more to go, starting tomorrow night. And by the way, I'm thinking for the next two races that have the 3 in a week, i.e. Atlanta and i.e. Dallas, maybe we'll move the PulpMX Show to a Wednesday because it might work a little better that way. So let us know what you think. Tweet us at PulpMX Show. Tell us what you think about that move. We may do that. It all depends on whether Travis Marks can adjust his schedule because he holds everything together. So thanks for listening. Kenny Roczen will call in. We're going to get Ken Roczen on the phone to talk about his win the other night in Indianapolis, his first one of the season. He extends his points lead. Honda's Ken Roczen will call in as well. We're looking forward to Feld Motorsports' Sean Brennan, the PR man from Feld Motorsports, to drop by and tell us what's been going on his end of things, how he thinks everything's been going. So Sean Brennan will be coming by the studio here. Also have Michael Antonovich from Swap Moto Live and some guy named Daniel Blair. He used to race and wear LBZ. He will come on as well. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Really appreciate it. We are going to have the motorsport.com tweet at me segment coming up, the X-Brand Goggle Tear-Offs, Race Tech Rant of the night as well. Lots to come up to when it comes to the race and everything else. So, yeah, again, please, thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting the show. Sponsored deals on PulpMXShow.com. There's all the codes. Like, did you know that if you want to save at Scotia, the code is PULP2021? Did you know that the code to save with Guts Racing is PULP2021? That kind of stuff. If you're in the market for Scotia stuff or Guts Racing or anything, they can help you out. They can dial you in. There's all of our codes on PulpMXShow.com. Ride Engineering guys, of course, have a code. So really appreciate it there. Blitz, if you want to get some Blitz from Arma, there's a code. You want to get a pressure washer from Karcher, there's a code. We'll help you out, man. So please use it. Please support our sponsors, and we can keep this stuff going because let me tell you, renting this undisclosed location deep in the heart of Indianapolis is not cheap. So motorsport.com on board with us. Fly Racing, Decal Works, Vortex Racing, Race Tech Suspension and Engines, Vertex Pistons, X-Brand Goggles, the Lucid Goggle. It's already out of stock. More are coming, I want to say, in a week or so, week and a half. There's going to be more Lucids in stock. So please check that out. Use the code PulpMX20 or PulpShow20, to save with X-Brand Goggles. Michelin Starcross 5. If you're looking for some tires, some Starcross 5s, some Commander tires for your cruiser bike, some Enduro Extreme tires. They got Starcross 5 tires for the small bikes now. Michelin guys got that dialed in. Maxima USA, Scotia, Cambio, CBD, Pro Filter, Firepower batteries and chains, JB, and the crew at Muck-Off Honda now using Firepower along with Chiz and Kade Clayson and a bunch of others. Oh, by the way, I think Kade may be stopping by. I forgot to mention that off the top. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe he will be coming by later in the show. FMF, Atlas Neck Brace, atlasbrace.com. They got something really exciting coming soon. You may have seen some spy photos of that thing. So, yeah, take a look at that. We'll probably have the new font when it drops to explain what the product is. So, atlasbrace.com, Works Connection, PulpMX20, the code to save with worksconnection.com. Over half the field at one of the Houston races in both mains had a pro launch device from Works Connection on their bikes. How insane is that? OGL Power Sports, Art of Sport, Get Data, Guts Racing, WUSA, Ride Engineering, MotorcycleIndustryJobs.com, Intense Cycles, Works Chassis Lab, all on board with the Chaparral Honda team using Works Chassis Lab, the Star Yamaha guys, using some Works Chassis Lab stuff. So it's really, really helpful for riders who want to change the characteristics of their motorcycles. We don't have a phone call this week, so it's very, very easy to not call in this week on the PulpMX Show. Presented by Motorsport.com, Fly Racing, Decal Works. With me in studio here to start the show and for most of the night, Fly Racing Zone, Jason Thomas. JT, what's up, man? How are you?
Not much. We're just holding it down.
We are, absolutely.
Rest of our crew running late.
Well, that's what happens.
We're the only responsible people.
You are. Well, I have to be here, but you are the most responsible person out of everybody.
Well, there's a couple things I can do. I can show up on time and I can take a punch. That's about it. And not a literal punch, right. Like a verbal punch.
You can podcast too. You can podcast with the best of them.
Whatever.
Fly Racing's 2021 line has been improved and expanded, offering the industry's widest range of moto and off-road products. Led by the Formula helmet featuring Rant technology, Fly Racing has taken big steps toward with the new light pant and Zone Pro goggle. JT's Zone Pro goggle. JB's in them. He was a schmathletes forever.
Yep.
And he wore Schmoes also. And he has made the change to Formula and Zone Pro goggle. And he made the podium in his second race in them. So you guys got to be stoked on that.
Well, yeah. And, the move away from those companies, those are storied legacy companies in the sport that he moved away from. So there was a lot of pressure on us to make sure that our product lived up to his expectations. Obviously, he's been already on the podium, and we're learning alongside him. The helmet I had no worries, but with the goggle, there's a lot of preparation, as as a former goggle guy.
Yes.
It's not just about take the goggles out of the box and put them on. You have to do all this prep and tear-offs and Vaseline to keep the sand from flying up and all these things. But so far, so good. He and Oldenburg have both been doing really well in the debut season for that goggle.
How's the reception been at dealers? Because
really good. If we can keep them in stock.
Hold on. Really good. Don't put on your sales hat here. Okay, look, goggles are something where the dealer does really well with Scott or 100% or X brand or whatever, and they bring them. They don't change easily, is what I'm saying. Like they here's what we sell. We sell X brand and we sell Scott or whatever. So that's a fight, I think, to take some shelf space away of the established brands that have been in the sport for a long time. That's all.
Well, the funny thing is that our sales have really been kind of ahead of where we are marketing-wise. Normally, a lot of companies will put the cart in front of the horse. Like they start marketing something before they really begin selling a lot of it.
Right.
We've kind of been the opposite, where we've been selling a ton of the Zone Pro, the Zone, and the Focus, and we're just kind of now starting to market it. And that was really just to make sure that it was Supercross race ready and we had all of the necessary ingredients, staff-wise, support-wise, and then budget-wise to do it. Sales-wise, we've been doing very well with that for a couple of years. So I hear what you're saying, but we've been working on that process. It's ongoing for a couple of years now.
All right. Okay. I'll take that.
And I will further that by saying if any company has anything in stock right now, they can pretty much sell it.
Right.
So we're not geniuses. We're not reinventing anything. It's just power sports are really popular, and it's a great time to be a company in power sports.
Well said. Speaking of that, off the top, motorcycleindustryjobs.com, their first and only job board built specifically for the motorcycle industry. Upload your resume for free today, motorcycleindustryjobs.com. If you want to get in the industry, you want to be like JT or any of the people that has been on my show over the years, and you got to start somewhere in the industry. You got to get going somewhere. This is for our Canadian guys. KTM Canada wants a field support representative in Western Canada. It's a full-time job. KTM Canada Inc., a subsidy of KTM AG, a global leader in the off-road motorcycle competition segment and developer and producer of street bikes as well as off-road, has an exciting opportunity for a field support rep for Western Canada and based out of BC or Alberta. So please check that out. KTM Canada, field support representative on motorcycleindustryjobs.com. Sounds like a good job, and KTM's a good company. So check that out. Thanks to those guys. Speaking of jobs, my buddy John from WUSA, they are blowing up, and he called me before the show and just wanted to make mention that they are hiring a bunch of people over there, be it production managers, be it sales staff, WUSA.com, and check out their Instagram at WUSA, and maybe something in there for you. It's based out of Orange County, California. So thanks to WUSA for coming on board. A lot of teams using their wheels, of course. The Rockstar Husky guys are the prime example of that, the TLD guys as well. So whether it's the Edge wheel set, which is a price point based wheel set, or you want a top of the line Talon or Excel hub, they'll dial you in. So thanks to WUSA, thanks to motorcycleindustryjobs.com. Roczen's on the show tonight. I'm excited to talk to him. JT, he grabbed his first win and a slick pass doing it. I don't know. I want to ask him. I'm going to ask him, how did he plan to get Eli back? Did he think, because the lap before, I'm almost certain Eli took the inside right there to lap before. Mm-hmm. And the lap he got Roczen, he went to the outside, and I'm sure he would regret it now. So Roczen dove to that inside, cut Eli off, and it worked out great. I want to know whether Roczen was what his plan was to get back by Eli.
Yeah, and I'm more curious on the mental side, and I know that's where you're going, but we've seen Roczen be really tentative in those spots, right? He was very careful and took his time and was patient passing AC, right? Took several laps to get him. And then going back to, the first round where he never did make the pass on Barcia, very careful, very hesitant. And then this time when he was behind Tomac, I don't know if it was out of anger for making that mistake and losing all that time or whatever, but it was instantaneous. I mean, 2 turns later, he made an incredibly aggressive pass. It was effective. I just didn't see that coming.
Right.
With Tomac, I think he was going outside to set up to triple on,
But I think you could triple from the inside if you got it right.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that's what he was doing.
Right.
And, Roczen just made it happen, right? It wasn't dirty. There wasn't contact. It wasn't anything. He just saw an opening and shot for it. And I think that's what Roczen needs to do more of. I just think he's always been the guy that has taken his time, and it's served him well in the past. But I think to win and to battle the likes of Cooper Webb at times, I think you have to be that aggressive because Webb's going to be that aggressive on you.
Yeah, it was certainly a tricky track with the ruts and everything for these guys. It was a gnarly race. Everybody was making mistakes at one point. Kenny himself, Eli went down, of course. It's funny, though. So he's behind Adam. And you're right. He was being cautious. Adam's his buddy, right? I don't know if that comes into it, but Adam's his buddy. He's being cautious. They get around AC, and dude, they're gone. Not gone, but they gap Adam right away.
Yeah.
So that makes me think, like, had he struck right away on AC,
right,
then he may have had a gap because say Eli can't get by AC for, as a rider, this. Kenny was thinking, Adam's holding me up. Mm-hmm. Adam's holding me up. Here I go. You know what I mean? But I can follow him, but Adam's holding me up. You're waiting.
Yeah.
And then the evidence is there that they were getting held up by the way they yarded him. If Kenny makes that move on Adam earlier, he gets a gap on Tomac a little bit. And then if he jumps off the track, which he did, he you know what I mean? Like he would serve himself well to be more aggressive even with Adam.
Yeah, I would want to look at the lap times and see because what happens a lot of times is Adam is sprinting as hard as he can to stay in front of those guys. And when they get him, sometimes he kind of you exhale and you drop off the pace a little bit. So maybe, and we could figure it out during the show, maybe they just kept their same lap times, but Adam wasn't able to hold it, and he just had to take a deep breath and back off a little bit. But either way, I still think that for Kenny to be his best self, he's got to force his way around in that scenario. Because I think at the first round, if he had gotten Barcia early...
Okay, are you ready for this?
I think he would have won.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So, exactly what you said. So, lap 12... Kenny gets Adam. Okay. Lap 11, Adam's a 48.7 on lap 11.
Yep.
On lap 12, he's a 51.3.
Yeah, so he just gave up.
He
not gave up, but he's regroup time. Yeah,
right. He just exhales, right?
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Right.
I mean, it's almost a relief. And I've been in that spot where you have people behind you that are, I hate to say better than you because that...
No, they're going better than you.
Right,
they're better than you. They're going faster.
Race, they're better than you. And it's everything you've been able to do up until that point. And it's almost a relief when they go around. You're just like, oh, my God, I can actually breathe now. It sucks. You want to win, but you're almost like, okay, well, if that was inevitable, thank God they're going around me because my heart rate's at like 300 right now. Yeah.
No, so interesting to look at that. And then Kenny, the lap that Kenny got him and pulled away from him, he did 48.4, 48.5, 47.8. So he starts to pour it on a little bit, interesting to see that. So, and I don't know. I don't think Kenny will answer this, and I don't know if I'll ask him because I don't think I'll get a true answer. But had he not been able to hold on, and Tomac gets him due to that mistake, and Tomac wins the race, Kenny's sanity may be at stake here.
It would have been tough to deal with. You wonder if it really would have bothered him or if he would have just shrugged his shoulders and said, yeah, that's kind of how it's going, because it's anytime Roczen's in the lead late in the race, you're almost waiting for the other shoe to drop. And that sucks. He completely turned that narrative around, and good for him, but he's created this pattern where you're just waiting for it to happen to him. And I think it was most interesting for me with Tomac because Tomac just didn't seem to have it at the end. Like he wasn't able to beat Roczen. He just couldn't do it. He had the lead. He was ahead of him a couple times, crashed once, and then just straight up got past the second time. And then when he got beat, he seemed very okay with it. His mood was good.
Yeah, he was.
His comments were good.
Yeah.
So I would be very curious to be inside Tomac's head there and wonder what he's thinking. Like is he just thinking, okay, it's the end of January. I'm right here. I'm right near the points lead. Things are going pretty well.
I washed out and still got second.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything's going to plan for January, right? By March and April and May, I think I'm going to be the best guy. This is one of the best Januaries he's ever had. So that has to be playing into his psyche a little bit and just being like, I'm right where I need to be. Everything's looking good.
And all you jerk-offs that are DMing me about Roczen and for what I said before the season, just calm the fuck down.
Keep him coming.
That's not what I said. I didn't say he wouldn't be a contender. I didn't say he wouldn't win races. Somebody hit me up today and said, wow, he proved you wrong. He won in the 4th race. I said Roczen will win races.
You did, but I approve of all these DMs.
Yeah, I do not, and it's an instant block. An instant block if you do this, because if you don't understand my point,
it's awesome.
Then I can't help you, and it's for a 17-round series, and we will see at the end.
I love how angry you get when I text you about this.
It's ridiculous. Why? It's so stupid that you do that. It's so dumb that
you know that I'm not serious.
Well, just stop. Just stop.
No way.
You don't
There's
know.
No way.
You don't know what kind of mood I'm in when I get your text.
I don't care. The best part is I don't care. You're not going to unfriend me because
I will.
No, you won't.
I will unfriend you.
You will not.
Those who ride dirt bikes, motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs know Motorsport is the best place for OEM and aftermarket parts. I bought something from motorsport.com recently for the Project 500. I had to return it. It couldn't have gone any smoother. I just went in my orders, hit the return button. I got a label. I put it on there. It went back. It got returned. It was fantastic. So these guys know customer service. They know great prices as well. Whether you're looking for OEM and aftermarket parts, riding gear, and accessories, motorsport.com has you covered, as their dedicated team of gearheads have the knowledge and expertise to help get your ride working at peak performance. Motorsport.com, also, JT, a big part of Phil Nicoletti's outdoor program, something that Fly Racing is not, but motorsport.com is.
Listen, if you would have Phil come to me with reasonable expectations and reasonable requests, I think something could be worked out. But the man, he is very proud of his effort. And I'm happy for him. I want him to get paid.
The motorsport guys made it work.
Good for him.
They made it work with Phil
and I'm all in support. I want Phil to make $1 million.
Okay, well, we'll tell motorsport.com to write him a check.
Okay.
Thanks to motorsport.com for coming on board. Use the banner on PulpMX.com or PulpMX Show to help us get a little piece of that. We have an affiliate program with them, so it's fantastic to have them on board with us, and great prices as well. Like I said, I shop there a lot because I'm building this 500, and I'm working on this thing. So, all right, so Kenny wins, Eli second. Last week, Eli got 5th. He got passed by Barsha twice. He just looked okay. He won the round 2, but we were all like, Osborne was catching you, Ferrandis was catching you, Sexton crashed, and AC crashed. So were we off on this now? Are we now back to gargling Eli and he's the man? Because maybe we are.
I'm not. No, I still have not seen a dominant performance from Eli Tomac. I think we will get it.
No, we haven't. No.
I think we'll get it.
We'll get it at Daytona. We will get a Daytona?
Maybe. I mean, look at the battle last year.
Yeah.
He and Roczen went at it.
But he got a bad start or something, right? Like, remember he was coming up.
No, I mean, Kenny pulled away from him in the middle of the race. Like, I remember it being a battle to the death. Right. Yeah, it was a really close race, and Eli was just a little bit stronger at the end. But until I see the Eli Tomac dominance of 2017, at times 18, certainly last year, he just had it at some point in every season, and I'm not doubting we're going to see it again.
DM JT the next time Eli wins. DM
No.
JT.
I'm not doubting. I'm just waiting for that, right? When he comes out and is just unquestionably the fastest guy on the racetrack, I'm going to be like, there it is. These guys are in trouble. But we just haven't seen that yet.
Not yet. He was very good all day, though, right from the first practice. Sometimes he'll warm up, we won't see him dominate right away during practice and everything else. So,
fastest guy in practice.
Yeah.
Gets a whole shot.
Not overall. Adam got it overall, but in one or two practices.
But he's never up there. And then gets a whole shot. So I'm almost more shocked that he did all that and got the whole shot and didn't win. That almost never happens.
The whole shot's been overshadowed, maybe.
Yeah.
Good God, Eli Tomac got a whole shot, right?
I can't believe that 5% of people that picked the first to the finish line of PulpMX Fantasy picked Eli Tomac.
It's insane.
Shocking.
But we see that all the time.
Yeah.
The guys that pick Mookie and then he pulls it, and you're like, 1.2% of you picked Mookie. You're like,
5%?
Yeah,
that's a lot.
No, I know. I'm with you. Jason Thomas here on the PulpMX Show. Michael Antonovich coming up from Swap Moto Live. Daniel Blair. Kenny Roczen will join the show. Looking forward to that. Sean Brennan will be in, and Kade Clayson as well will be stopping by at some point. We got how painful will it be for Kade to talk about his ALCQ at Houston?
He kind of did it again this weekend.
Yeah,
Kinda.
not as bad. No, not
as bad.
Right.
But he kind of did it again.
Right.
I think if you're Kade, though, and this is my opinion, he'd probably disagree. I think the guys that are getting in the main with the only person I could be like, you know what, that's your opportunity would be Seven Deuce Deuce.
Yeah.
Everybody else right now is a better rider than Kade.
Politelli?
Well, yeah, I guess that's fair.
Politelli and Gardner are going back and forth,
yeah,
right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been like, man, there's a bunch of opportunity in this 450 class, and you're blowing it.
Not at all. And we're getting Sexton back for Orlando. We're getting McElrath back for Orlando or Dallas. Anyway,
I don't know what McElrath's plan is.
But anyways, they're coming.
Yeah.
They're coming. So
on one hand, you could be like, yeah, you've had chances and blown it, but I could just as easily push back and say, listen, you're trying to hold off some really good guys.
Or we forgot about A-Ray, who didn't make it. He bumps Politelli most times.
And I wonder, do you think that Kade looks at A-Ray and says, yeah, he's better than me?
I don't know. We can ask him.
Okay,
let's
do that.
He'll come in and we'll ask him.
I think A-Ray has more pure speed.
You're a racer. I mean, it's hard to sit there and say somebody. You have to have the mentality.
I knew.
Okay, but most racers have the mentality of like, I've talked to some racers that are completely out to lunch about their own skills. And I'm like, well, I guess you're a professional athlete. You have to have that.
I don't.
Not you.
Yeah, I know. But I never felt that served me well. I know Ryan Clark was that way. Ryan Clark thought that he was going to beat Chad Reed on any given weekend. Like, that's just the way he approached the race. And I was like, I was going into the race saying, Ryan, you need to worry about me. Don't worry about Chad Reed. You need to worry about me. You need to worry badly because I'm coming for you.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I knew that, like, Nick Way was better than me. He wasn't a lot better than me, but he was better, right? So if I could find a way to beat him or battle with him, that was a great night for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think realism and having realistic goals and expectations is the best way to go about it, because if you have some unachievable goal going into the weekend, your whole world's going to be disappointing every time you go out. Like, how are you ever going to feel good about yourself or ever be motivated? You're just going to be pissed off and disappointed because, damn it, I didn't win again.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you didn't qualify.
Yeah.
Forget about winning.
Right.
You didn't qualify, right?
I know, but on the other point, like if you walk around in this sense of self-belief that's maybe a little bit out there, I do believe that, the mental game is pretty strong. Yeah,
you need confidence, but
realistic confidence.
I knew guys that I was like, okay, I'm better than that guy, but then I knew that guys were better than me, and I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I understand Chad Reed never thought that anybody was better than him in his whole career. Like, Stu would beat him by 30 seconds some nights, and he'd be like, I'll beat him next week. No big deal.
Or no, Chad would be like, my forks are off.
No, he would be like, I don't care what Stu's doing. I just need to fix me. Because I'm better than him.
Yeah.
So if I'm right, I'll beat him. And I'm like, I don't know, man. He's pretty damn good.
That's Tim Stewart over there.
Yeah.
So Cooper Webb gets third. A quiet race from Coop. He gets AC near the end. Pretty good job by Cooper Webb. And those three have now won a race along with Barsha. And I'd like to get into this a little bit more with our other guests, but I'll start with you. I'll get your opinion now. The only three guys left that will win. Well, four. Do we put C-Sex
as a winner?
As a winner?
Ooh.
But I have Osborne, AC, and Marv.
I think it's going to be tough for Sexton with the injury setting him further back now. Right. That can't help. I do think he would have won Houston if he stays off the ground.
Yeah.
He was riding away, and I didn't see anything from Tomac to where he was going to go get him.
No.
So,
but okay, so if we go Osborne, Adam, and Marv are the only three possible winners from here on out
that haven't done it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm on the fence for Osborne, and I'm on the fence for Marv.
I could see Osborne winning a race like Daytona.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
He gets a start, outdoor, he's confident. I mean, he obviously, he could have won Houston too, theoretically. But yeah, I like your three. Those are the three that I would say if you're going to win one.
Put them in order.
Most likely?
Yeah.
I would say Adam first because he puts himself in great situations. And I would say 50-50 on the other two. I don't have a favorite between the other two. And that's a terrible take. I know that's
so
bad
the win
radio,
percent pie of Adam would be 60, 70?
Yeah, I would say 60 and then 20-20 between the other two.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. Over double the chance of Adam, that's not right. That can't be right. So let's say
you don't even need to make it 100%.
Let's say 40 and then 30-30.
Okay.
40 and then 30-30.
Yeah. It'll be so we're already starting to see separation though if you go by, so last week we had Coop, Kenny, and who was third? Was Tomac third? No, Tomac was fifth. Third was I forget. Who was third last week?
And Houston 3?
Yeah.
It
already escapes me.
I don't know.
Right.
Damn.
What?
Adam.
Adam was third. Yes. Yeah. So Adam was third. Exactly. He made his first podium.
Too many races in too many days.
Right. So, so you got 2 of the 3 on the box last week, 3 out of 3 this week. I think we're starting to see that already. Just like we had Barsha and Baggett last year.
Yep.
Oh my God. And then, it always happens. You and I included in this, we always go on and on about this thing. And then the cream rises to the top.
to the crop
To the crop and to the top.
Yeah, man, I want to see Adam win a race. I really do. I was just kind of thinking about it. But I think his fitness has got to get a little better from here. I think that as deep as the class is, if he starts first and Osborne's right behind him, Marvin's right behind him, maybe not, but I still like Marvin in that scenario. Tomac for sure, Webb for sure, Roczen for sure. I don't think he can hold those guys off right now for 21 minutes. Well,
it'll be interesting to see. He said he woke up with abductor in his leg. I thought it was an ab muscle. I reread the interview today. It was abductor in his leg.
Okay.
Hurt him out, so he couldn't grip the bike as much. I'm like, that's an odd injury, but he said that's what he had. So, he wasn't too bummed about his race, about even Webb getting him,
He shouldn't be bummed. I'm talking about winning, right?
Yeah.
He's fine. He's doing well. He's in the podium battle. All those things are great. No problem. But winning, he's going to need help, right? He's just going to need the right situation. He doesn't need a ton of help. He's got to get the start, and then he just needs any of the good guys around him to have a bad race or crash or whatever and let him get a lead. And I think if he gets a lead like Sexton had at Houston 2, where was that at? Houston 2. I think he could get it done because he's very comfortable being out front. I think he knows how to ride from the front. He just can't have all that pressure all over him like Roczen and Tomac were.
Do you think this is a big race for Barsha? I think he's got to.
That was not good.
Right?
That was not good. Everything that I thought I knew about Barsha's 2021 season came unraveled entirely on Saturday. From practice through the heat race, through the main event, I didn't see the same Justin Barsha, not one lap. So if I'm Tyler Keefe or I'm any part of that race team, I get Justin Barsha fired up in the first untimed practice. Say, hey, we're going to turn this around right here, right now. Forget about Saturday. This is Tuesday, and we're going to start over again, and we're going to go get it done. My only question is, was it the bike? Like, are they struggling to get him comfortable on the bike? Because maybe he's going to be the same guy again.
Maybe he never should have left Blue Crew.
Well, I really thought the gas would fix that inconsistency, and it certainly didn't through one round of Indy.
He went down the first turn or second turn with Malcolm. So,
I just didn't. And I'm not even judging so much off that. I'm judging what I saw in practice.
Yeah.
He was not the same guy.
He was not the same guy. You're right about that. Yeah. And so it definitely hurt him a little bit. And I don't know. I think it's big. I just think it's a big race for him to get back. I don't mind saying he needs to win. I'm just saying he needs to
just show the form he had.
Yeah.
Show the form. That's it. I don't care what the result is. He can crash on the first lap again, but I just want him to be the same guy I saw in Houston, which was incredibly confident, incredibly smooth, and everything looked like it was firing on all cylinders, and he looked like he was down multiple cylinders on Saturday night.
Right. Well, there's somebody here, there's a racer here you can talk to about this.
He knows.
Well, welcome Daniel Blair to the show. What's up, DB?
Yeah, I didn't hear what you were talking about, but I'm here now, JT. I got you. Let's go. What are we talking about?
Yeah, well, we're going to bring in Ken Roczen right now, but yeah.
Okay.
But after, you guys can, I'll just walk out. I'll go get
That's what I was thinking. You could go and valet my car for me, and JT and I, we got it.
Yeah, you guys got it. You guys raced. Let me tell you about Autosport, one of the fastest growing new body and skincare plans on the planet. Kenny Roczen's involved with the guys at Autosport. They've been using it. I've been using a deodorant and charcoal body wash. JT, you got some of this stuff?
I love it.
You've got some too, DB. Did I ever get you some?
Dude, next time you ask this, I'm going to throw something at you.
Okay, yeah. Because
I have not gotten any of it, ever.
You got to get the Rise body wash. It's the scent is Rise.
Turn to him.
Yeah.
Look
good.
to him.
All right. I promise. I will send you some. I need to send you some.
Racking up promises, man.
Autosport.com. Big announcement tomorrow from the folks at Autosport.com. So just stay tuned for that. Right now, you can find them at Target. Everything under $10, charcoal face wash, any dandruff shampoo, all of it under $10. Award-winning products and more than 7,000 five-star reviews, and everyone from ESPN, Sports Illustrated, GQ, Men's Health are showing the love, and Daniel Blair will show some love to them eventually.
Someday,
hopefully. Autosport.com. Let me And JT, we will cover this Craig thing. We're going to get to that Craig and the Jet, because that was something else. But for now, let's get our next guest, or our first guest of the night on the show here. Team Honda's Ken Roczen, brought to you by Art of Sport and artofsport.com.
Hello.
Hey, Roczen, how are you? How's everything, man?
Good. How are you doing?
Well, I'm good. Jason Thomas and Daniel Blair are here also, and we've been breaking down your race, your big win. Kenny Roczen, brought to you by artofsport.com. I love that Art of Sport stuff, Roczen. I know you're a part owner involved in the company, so good job on that stuff. It's fantastic.
Thanks. Yeah, that's awesome. You guys like it. I mean, obviously, the cool part is with all the junk that's out of it. You know, some stuff, obviously, the longevity and some stuff doesn't last as long. But I feel like they did a really good job. Same with the shampoo and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I use all of it from top to bottom, and I really like it.
I like the compete stuff. JT likes the Rise stuff. What color and name do you like, Kenny? Do you remember?
Yeah, I like the orange stuff, but I also like the dark green.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that's
honestly, they're all good. They all smell super fresh and sporty in my eyes, right? Like when I feel like when I smell them, it's like you just get out of the shower after a good workout or something. So I feel like it's very awakening, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Artofsport.com, under $10. Get them at Target. Kenny Roczen on the show. So we were talking about your race, Kenny, and congratulations on the win after everything that happened with Dean the race before. If you had lost this race because of your mistake off the track and Eli gets you and you go on to get second again, I told JT I was worried for your mental sanity. Kenny, you really you had to get this win.
I mean, well, obviously that I wanted and needed this win, but it's still I would have kept a cool head.
Yeah.
I promise you. I mean, would it have been ideal? No, but at the same time, it would have still kept me in the race, like, you know, championship wise and all that kind of stuff. And I've done too much work on myself and on everything else to let stuff like that mess with me. You know, I just don't. I keep it super cool, and I've done a lot of work like that, and I would have just kept chucking along.
Mm-hmm. Well, question. So round one, you follow Justin for pretty much you're right on him for the whole race, right? And you end up getting second. Good job and all of that, everything else. This week you're following Adam, and Adam was on it, but you can also tell that you and Eli were carrying a better pace, because as soon as you guys got by him, you pulled away from him a little bit. Are you with the mindset you're like, look, I like Adam, we're buddies, I think I'll get him, or are you a little worried about being too aggressive with a guy like that, or you just didn't see an opening right away?
No. Well, first off, him being a buddy of mine, I'm in general not a very dirty rider, right? I like to make clean and set up and well thought out passes.
Yep.
Do I sometimes take a little bit too much time? Maybe, but I always look at the big picture of risk versus reward. I mean, obviously, once I felt Eli coming back, I really felt the urgency to pass Adam, but I also have to be in a good position to make the pass happen. If I'm not really far, like really close, latched onto him, where I can really dive to the inside, because Adam knows how to defend his line as well, then it just makes it really difficult. And for me to just ram it in there and collide and risk everything, it's just not my style. So I'm picking and choosing. Just trying to be smart and my style. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little bit more. I don't know if you want to call it careful necessarily.
Yeah.
But I just try to have really thought out passes, and I tried to set it up and plan it out. Yeah, and then I couldn't get by it. Like that was ultimately the thing. I just couldn't. You know, after the finish line a couple of times, I went to the inside. He cut it off so far, I couldn't really make anything happen. Well, while I did that, Eli can take the wide line and kind of cut down, carry his momentum. All of a sudden, he's next to me, right? So then I have to start riding defensive. Right. I'm losing Adam, so then I'm far enough away again where I'm not even in the position to really make a pass.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. I was really trying to push at one point, but to be able to close the gap and make the pass are two different things, right? You got to be quite a bit faster to actually make it happen, the pass. And sure enough, I worked so freaking hard to get at it, and then he tipped over like a lap later. You know what I mean? And not to mention, and how I passed him, I couldn't really. You see how I took him really wide? That wasn't the plan at all. But I was riding over these ruts. You know what I mean? Right. And I'm like trying to turn. I couldn't get the bike to really turn because of the ruts. So I kind of hit the tough plug and whatever. And then, of course, Eli goes by right away, makes it easy on Eli, to just keep like latching on right behind me.
Yeah.
But it was a super fun race.
It was cool to watch. The only reason I say that is because I thought it looked like Adam was holding you up a little bit, right? Like I looked like you were like, I just can't get it. So I at some point I was thinking you're like, this has to happen right away, but maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah, and no disrespect, but at that point, we're splitting hairs, right? Like those are a few tenths here and there.
Yeah.
And I do believe if I could have just gotten by Adam a little bit earlier, I feel like I could have just kind of laid it down, right my race, hit my marks, and maybe create a little bit of a gap, and that would have ultimately helped me out.
Right.
But it was what it was at the same time.
Right.
Hey, Kenny, it's Daniel. I got one for you. I just personally, I really like psychology, podcasts, books. I kind of am fascinated by it, and I like to listen to the things that you guys say and that you can kind of read between the lines. Your attitude this year, your approach, all that, I mean, I'm loving it, but I'm just curious of where that kind of started from. Was this during your reset, during the break? Because you're just taking things a different way, and you can tell by the little things that you say. Just when did that all start, and then is that still a building process?
Well, I think in life, right, like maybe every 5 years, and I'm sure everybody has gone through this, I feel like you go through these stages of like, this is what it has to be, this is what it is, this is what it is. Well, then, I mean, I've had a couple of shit years, and and it's definitely not for the lack of trying, believe me, but also I figured out, I'm like, hey, I'm sitting this outdoor season out, I need to do something different here because something isn't working, and I'm struggling with, and it's not about, I always do my training and maybe too hard sometimes, and that used to be fine, but whatever was going on with my body, I couldn't do it anymore, and then you can see, you obviously saw in the last couple of years, it just hurt me. So I just, at one point, I had to really let myself get out of shape, and I really wanted to revamp and reboot my entire career, and I just had to do some changes. I talked to my people and to a few, or I should say to a very specific person that I would like to keep private. And I kept working and working and working. And finally I let the ego down. And I'm like, you know what? Mm-hmm. I kind of need to change here. I need to approach things different. And then obviously the birth of my kid helped as well. But in the end, man, it was some very, very long days, but different structured kind of days. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's almost like I'm general. It's almost like I'm working more, but in a different way, and it doesn't hurt my nervous system as much. And I just, it's a very unique way, and it's something you can't just turn on either. You can't just snap a finger and be like, oh, I want to do that. It just, I don't know. It takes time, and it takes a certain moment of like realization. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, actually.
So it's JT. Going back to this pass on Tomac, and after you had followed Adam for, I think 12 laps, something like that, 11 laps. Mm-hmm. So you go off the track, and when you got around him, you started to pull away from Eli, and I was like, oh, he's going to check out here. And then you go off the track, and I'm sure you're, for lack of a better term, pissed off when you have to go around the berm and you're, going through tough blocks and whatever. But then you immediately get Eli back. You go into the bridge and go through those sections, and then he kind of leaves the door open and goes to that outside rut, and then you just shot across. So I was wondering in the moment, was that like, okay, is this urgency, or was it you were more angry, so you were more willing to make a move quicker? Because it just seems so different than the pass on Adam, right? It was just like instantaneous and aggressive.
Yeah. See, and here's the difference. It's not about being pissed. Like as I jumped off the track, it wasn't being pissed. It was more so as soon as I took off, I'm like, oh shit. And I was trying to decide what I was going to do, but I noticed I jumped way too far to the left. I would have hit the top block. It wouldn't have worked. And I threw that out of my mind. I wasn't pissed. I was more bummed about the situation because I worked so hard to get that to that point and having that little bit of gap. And I was more so bummed, but I cleaned my head out like right away. Mm-hmm. And I tried to just figure out, okay, I'm off this track right here. I don't know where to get back in, right? So I'm going around the whole thing in between the tough blocks, like off-road style right great. There.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to go in before the wall, and then I'm like, oh no, I don't think that'll really work. So I kind of made my way around it, and then I was debating between shit. Like I feel like if I would have stayed. By the way, I think I could have stayed in front of Eli because technically I didn't gain an advantage. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But at that moment, we have to make this decision within a split second. I let him by because I felt like it was the right thing. I clearly was off the track, and I mean, I lost time. Yep. I could have probably stayed in front of him, but hey, I've gotten screwed over a couple of times these last weekends. I'm like, I'm better just letting him by. But at the same time, I shouldn't say out for blood, but I was like, dude, this thing ain't over. Like, I worked way too hard, right? So I latched right on there, and I feel like I just had a really good rhythm on the track. And then I had a couple of lines on the track, like going over the tunnel jump to the left of where everybody was going. I feel like I was making up some time on Adam every now and then too. And so I was like really close to him, and I was just more so surprised that he actually left the door open right there, and that I was maybe not going to triple on. I knew that was going to happen, but the rut was big enough where I could kind of rail it a little bit and just took his line away. And then that was the pass right away. And I was actually pumped that I did this right away. I feel like it was almost a little bit needed. I mean, I would have stuck around there and tried to make it happen before the checkered flag came out. But I think the earlier that happened, the better. Now, what I was bummed about, because I feel like I had a couple of really good lines on the track, including underneath the tunnel. And I feel like that's how I kind of created that little gap. I just shot across these ruts and kept railing this outside. And I feel like that really helped me get even a better flow on the track and dropping my lap times a little bit again. And I think that's how I gained a little bit of a gap. And then Eli was so close to me, and I did it right in front of him. I think he caught on to that as well. And then obviously the difference was a lot less. And I would say that I wasn't ever really in a position where he could have really attacked me and dove to the inside. Having said that, when I watched the race, I saw on the last lap how he took that inside line. But for me, being in first, it was just, I felt like a little bit too risky, just because if I would have hit that rut to triple onto the tabletop, it wouldn't, if I couldn't have tripled on, he would have hit the outside, maybe carried more momentum or whatever. But then obviously he took the inside, and that rut was like absolutely perfect. If you could see, it was to the very inside, and he just closed the gap like crazy. And I was just going for the prayer every lap in that rhythm section because it was so damn rutted. TV doesn't do its justice, but the track was freaking rutted. Not the berms, which made it nice because it was very raceable, but honestly, from the landing off the triple to the over the tunnel jump, the turn, that entire rhythm, it was just pretty much almost one rut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Between the rhythm sections, the transitions were so tight, and the rhythms were built up so big and steep that the ruts in between were really gnarly, actually.
Yeah, it looked pretty interesting to have kind of a hard base that looked a little bit slippery, and then to have super soft jumps. Like, it was a pretty...
Yeah, very, very odd. Obviously, they watered for after press day. They must have watered because the first practice in the morning, which was a complete shit show, by the way, was very slippery and very wet. And the berms never really got too many ruts, but in between the jumps, yeah, it was... I was hoping it would kind of pack in a little bit more, but it didn't. And yeah, that part of the track in between the jumps was brutal.
So we heard from a couple guys talking to him that that double where you went off the track, the landing was half of, like, it wasn't lined up right. Like it was the landing we heard was halfway across the takeoff before it's Yeah. I would agree on that, because when you actually took off on the very left side of the takeoff, right,
you actually had to jump to the right a little bit to make the landing, for sure. And that took away technically a couple of feet of track. And how ruddy it was there was freaking gnarly. And stupid me, I cased that double, that little ass double before. I cased that thing a couple of times.
Yep.
And then one time I jumped so freaking far that I literally landed into the takeoff of that next double in the rut.
Yeah.
And I still obviously went and jumped it. But with those kind of situations, when you land in a rut like that, and the suspension compresses, sometimes it just pulls you left or right. You know what I mean? Luckily, it didn't for me, but yeah, it was very challenging when it comes to focus on the track, for sure.
Daniel, you walked the track at the end of the night, right? And
I walked it after.
And you were just like, oh my God.
Yeah, there's something wrong with you guys. You're all sick. Seriously. The edges of that double, the far left and far right rut, were right against the blocks. And you guys were just jumping it, and I'm telling you, the foot pegs had to have been 1 inch from the tough block. God. And they were both, like, the left one was jumping to the right and the right one was jumping to the left. And you guys were just doing it over and over. And to his point, that one rhythm section before the whoops.
Yeah.
On the last lap, both Kenny and Eli in the heat of that last lap were both like looped out off the triple at the same time. And it's like, if you guys wonder how bad it is, two of the baddest dudes on the earth are looped out through the air looking like sea riders out there. Yeah. It was that bad.
We gooned out so bad. I did it a couple of times, honestly, because from the tabletop and off the tabletop, that 3-footer was so steep, it was really difficult to get in that back pocket. So most of the time you had to kind of over jump it, but then obviously it was super G'd out and rutted at the bottom, and sometimes it would just slow you down just enough. You would case that triple. I did that a couple of times, and then Eli made it, and then he almost looped out on the next one, and I tuned out. Oh, dude, it was just nuts.
Yeah, no, it was just crazy.
Hey, Eli, it's Anton from Swap Moto Live. That long rhythm lane where you guys were getting into it too, having that flat first turn, how hard did it make setting up for the first jumps there? Because it seemed like everybody was struggling to figure out what rhythm to do from there on.
I don't think Eli's on this call. I'm pretty sure you meant Ken, right?
I'm sorry.
Did you say Eli?
Oh. Did I?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Eli.
I'm 45 minutes late. I'm flustered.
Are you drunk?
Flustered. Yeah, not casually late, just flustered.
Well, you know what? It actually made for some good racing because we actually could take the inside. So on press day, I was worried that we were never ever going to take the outside, and they kept it kind of loose. But at the same time, we could take the inside rut triple on or double table over single, but then we started using that outside quite a bit more, and I think it actually worked out fine. And then on top of that, if that would have been a bowl turn, we would have created another problem, I think, a little bit with obviously the whole start situation there. And going across.
Yeah, I was going to ask my next question for you. You guys did a little slow run through under the bridge, and then you did the first practice with the berm that was still there somehow, and then you did the other. What did you think of that whole situation? I mean, you didn't think about looping the way that they couldn't loop back onto it the way they wanted to. We saw in Houston that wasn't good. So
I think first off, what they should do at least from now on is check the track maps, and if this ever comes again, think ahead of time and rebuild it or something.
Yeah.
But for the time being in press day, I actually suggested when you go over the finish line double and you have that 3-5 3-footer, to maybe go, the 3-footer, 5-footer, so basically like a double, and see if you can go left in between the first double jump, I think it was. Maybe it was in between the landing of the first double and the takeoff. So I'm like, man, we got to maybe kind of cut across there. But then I looked at it, it just didn't line up right. But that's when the bowl turn was still there.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about actually shaving the bowl turn out. So in the end of this whole story, I think the way we did it and they did it with shaving this down, this was the best situation or the best they could have done or we could have done for the situation, I believe.
Yeah, going to the bridge is too dangerous, right?
Yeah, we did it once. I didn't mind it, but I got to think, like, if somebody gets squirrely, you're hitting like a freaking wall, you know what I mean? So that's pretty gnarly. So I think, it was. We all voted for that turn back there, and I think it turned out fine.
The last thing you need is A-Ray or 7 Deuce hitting that side of that bridge because one of those guys is doing it, and we don't want that. Nobody wants that.
I was thinking Vince. But
Vince? Yeah, Vince maybe.
I was going to say, there's a couple of other people in my class that would have probably been a lot worse.
Hey, one of the things that I was worried, quote-unquote, worried about you, Kenny, coming into the season was a brand-new bike. I've seen it too many years where a brand-new model comes in, and as good as you guys are, the smallest changes make a difference, and this CRF is all new, and I was thinking you guys are going to be, I don't want to say struggling, but still learning the bike and still figuring it out. I can't tell you how many times I've heard from OEMs, and myself being a former mechanic, I've seen it happen. But man, I guess I was wrong because you look fantastic. That we had ruddy, crappy dirt this weekend. Houston was pretty good. The bike's good. I mean, where are you at on that thing?
Yeah, I'm pretty solid. I mean, there's always little things that could be better, but I think ultimately it comes down to the stock bike has to be good from the get-go to be able to start off and not have like huge problems, if you know what I mean. Our previous bike was not quite like that, and it was a very difficult bike to set up, especially for all different kinds of conditions. But we are in a super good spot, and obviously my bike is very raceable. Especially in the conditions that we have had. It's been rough, it's been ruddy, tacky, and I think it'll just be that much better even when it gets a little bit more hard packed. So I think we've had the most difficult conditions. I think everybody would agree with that.
Yeah.
And we're just solid. And then on top of that, I like I said, I've worked on my mindset so much that no matter what it would have been, I wouldn't have let it phase me, if that makes any sense. I would have tried to stay super calm about it because in the end it is what it is, and I'm just trying to take it day by day and improve. And that's actually the biggest thing. I kind of just let my guard down and the ego, and I wanted to enjoy what I'm doing and enjoy the process of trying to get back to the very top,
Right.
That was my ultimate goal.
JT, he says he would be mentally able to handle whatever. Do you think the 09 Honda 450 he would have been fine with?
That's not mentally. That's physical. Okay. That's physically able to handle, right?
Steve mentions new bike and the difficulties. I'm thinking, the 09 Honda 450.
Yeah, that was a The hospital trip waiting to happen. That bike was
exactly. Kenny, you wouldn't have been able to handle that one, man. I'm
You can.
I'm
You just
sorry.
have to go slower
Yeah.
than you're going now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, luckily I don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. So.
Hey, you're at the sandbox and you're riding there. So this is just going to strictly involve 250 West guys. Where are we at with Troll Train's title chances? How are we looking? How's the 26? How's our favorite 250 guy looking?
Well, honestly, last week was I shouldn't say week. Last week, it was the only 2 days I've really been there.
Okay.
Because I was in California the whole time, and then after Houston, I flew back to Florida, and then I flew back out Wednesday night. So I literally only had 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he was riding, so he's not kind of like paying the full price, so he doesn't really get shop space, and I'm in the shop, and also I've been trying to distance myself a lot just for safety reasons because I don't want to chance anything. And we have been on the track together, obviously, but I have really just been focusing on myself, so I haven't really paid that close of attention, and I cannot answer that question.
Well, I'll just take it. Yeah, well, a championship's ours this year, I think. I believe so. We're on a Yamaha in that class. It's been fantastic.
Well, especially with him being freaking 100 pounds, you know what I mean, and having a strong bike, so he should be getting some good starts, and then go from there.
Hey, talk about, we did this in Salt Lake, so it's not that new of a thing, but now we're doing it in different cities. You still liking it? I know everybody did at Salt Lake, but also there's a little bit of like, at least we get to race feeling. Now we're into the grind. We did 3 in Houston. We're doing 3 here in Indy. Are you still a fan of this thing? You still like the way we're doing it?
Yeah, I actually do. Well, it eliminates a lot of travel from week to week.
Yep.
So getting quite a few races out of the way in a short period of time, I think is great. And then also, obviously, getting 3 races and then this whole week off also makes it a little bit better than just going back to back to back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Saturday till Tuesday is very short, so you just have to focus a lot on your rebooting a body and recovering and doing all the right things. But at the same time, I have really been enjoying it so far because we have a lot of hangout time, especially, you know, it's not like we can go out really that crazy and go do all kinds of different stuff. But at the same time, me and the family have been cruising. I've been hanging out a lot with JB, obviously. He's actually my neighbor here in this Airbnb. Yep. Yeah. So we've been hanging out a lot. And it's just been super mellow, and we've been keeping it cool, and the family is here, and we're hanging out and watching TV and doing all kinds of fun stuff.
Listen, I came over to the Airbnb in Park City. I'm guessing the one here in Indy is a little bit of a downgrade from that one. Just a little bit. Oh boy,
actually, it's pretty freaking crazy. So the room itself is awesome, but the place is so dirty. It's unbelievable. It kind of like gives me the EBGBs. and JB being my neighbor, same room setup really, but the appliances, everything is a lot more clean. And in my place here, I came here before Courtney and Griffin came.
Yeah.
And I was just blown away. I was kind of scared to cook a little bit. I turned the oven on to cook some stuff, and it started smoking so bad. The freaking
smoke alarm.
Alarm went off. Yeah, the smoke alarm went off. The whole 9. The entire place was smoked out. I mean, it was definitely a bit of a shit show.
Yeah, so
we're making it work.
Not as nice as the Park City place, because that place
not as nice. Courtney and I were thinking we may pack our stuff up here and go to the JW or something like that. But I told Court, I'm like, hey, we got to do good in the first race before we do that.
If you're at the JW, you could have just came down here tonight. That's where I'm at. I'm just kidding.
It's not that, but it's not. The rooms are actually not that much, not as much as you think.
It
wasn't that bad.
I got a hell of a deal. But the Park City place had some sort of stone wall from England brought in, or some sort of barn.
Yeah. It was a barn from the 1800s.
Yeah.
A barn from the 1800s, and I guess 50 Cent has stayed in this place before, and I guess it was just party over party over party. But very unique building, obviously super old, but rad, just kind of like almost like a museum a little bit.
I know. Brayton's like, hey, you see this roof? It's like from England in 1880. I'm like, oh my God. Anyways, Anton, last question for Kenny.
Yeah, hey, so with you guys hanging out and not doing a lot of riding from here to there, does it feel like less work now that it feels like more hangout time and now you get to be refreshed? Because you've kind of been on this, not an endless vacation, but it's been a much different program from May of last year to now than what everybody else has been.
Yes and no. I'm really enjoying it because, like you said, there's not really that much we can do in between racing, and you got to say that racing 3 times in 1 week is a lot of stress on your body because your adrenaline is high all day and you're doing it 3 times, and the intensity that you put out on race day is also a little bit different and then not to mention we race super late and then don't go to bed because I think most riders can't really sleep that well on a race night either. So it's a lot of stress on your body, but then again, in between races, there's not that much you can do but recover. So it definitely has a sense of things are a little bit more relaxed, but like I said, the racing side of things is a whole nother story of stress on your body and nervous system and everything.
For sure, especially Houston 3 for you and all of that. So that's a lot of stress. Thanks for coming on, man. Artofsport.com. Please check it out. Presenting Kenny Roczen on the PulpMX show. Thanks, Kenny. Good job. Congrats. And thanks for the time, man.
Cool. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.
See you, man.
That's Kenny Roczen, everybody. Brought to you by the folks at Art of Sport. So Jason Thomas, Daniel Blair, and Michael Antonovich. Anton, what's up? Thanks for jumping in here. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
How did you feel Eli was in that interview?
Oh, stop it. Come on.
Dude, I came around the corner and I could see him talking through the window as I was driving down the street. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so late.
It's
And
fine.
then was on the wrong floor. Yeah, so came in completely flustered.
You're fine. You're fine.
It happens.
It does happen. Kenny, good interview as usual.
Always good.
Always a good
Especially,
interview.
he's good no matter what, even when things aren't going well. But you could tell the tone in his voice when things are going well. That guy's got he's got a little spice to his attitude. He feels good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
I just love his transparency.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
Very open about the new mindset this year.
Yeah, he has been
Super open.
a couple of times, right?
And I'm fascinated by that because again, he's been in this kind of rut that he hasn't been able to get out of, and you can tell by the things he says. In years past, it seemed like he would almost be saying two things at once, almost like he was trying to convince himself of something. And now he's just wide open, and his thoughts are very concrete. He's open-minded. You could tell there's something different. And even the way he handled that Tuesday race with the penalty, the Saturday with Dean, to come out here and make it happen, that's huge for him.
Yeah. Where did you stand on that penalty, Daniel? And JT and I have talked about it, but where did you stand on that penalty, the Red Cross thing? I
mean, I felt bad for him because
you're a racer.
I want to hear your opinion because your opinion holds water.
I look at everything. Okay, I'll give you a little mini.
Just talk to JT.
You guys have a good time. But
you guys are racers.
You know the whole saying, glass half full, glass half empty, and there's an argument. Well, the truth is, it's both, right?
Rises to the crop.
If a glass is half empty, it's also half full. Two things can be true at the exact same time. So for me, I felt bad for Kenny. He didn't mean to do it. There was no intent to jump on the thing. He wasn't being reckless or dangerous. He messed up. But the AMA kind of had to stick to it because he did do it on camera. We all saw it. Two guys in front of him didn't jump, and he did. So it's one of those things where I feel for him. I feel gutted, but they kind of had to do it. They have to kind of set the precedent, and we always talk about their inconsistencies. And if they were to let that slide because it was Kenny, it would just be proving our point. So I feel like they had to do it because they've done that in the past. And
the Dungey Anderson thing really set the precedent for me. You have to. If you're going to they took a win away, right?
Yeah.
In that scenario, you have to follow through.
And they did. So I think they did the right thing by just kind of having to do it. But man, I just felt bad for Kenny because he didn't mean to jump into Chase Sexton. What do you think he was trying to endanger his teammate?
I really don't think he saw the Red Cross flag. But that doesn't matter.
That's
not
doesn't
a factor.
No, I don't. He didn't see it.
No,
but
it's irrelevant
because he didn't. His case, though I didn't really double it, is sort of valid. He kind of bounced. He kind of.
I cased it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
And maybe it was a last second thing,
right.
For sure. I mean, if you could tell by the angle, from us up top, you're like, the flag is right there, but of course.
Oh, you racers you and JT have been in this stuff.
But it's just, again, it's a bummer for him because it's one of those things that's oh, man. In the moment, you're like, crap. He would take it back. It didn't even gain him anything.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I think the AMA made the right decision to stick to the penalty that it needed to be because he did do it regardless of what he saw.
Company man you are.
No, I played both sides, dude. What are you talking about?
I'm kidding. So before...
I don't work for the AMA. What are you talking about? I could say whatever I want about them. I don't work for them.
Feld would come down on you for sure.
No, they would not.
Oh, yeah, God. The ears are listening. Everybody's listening.
Okay, then never mind. AMA blew it. Stupid.
Before we go to commercial break here, so we got our 4 winners this year, right? We've got our top 3, and then Barsha won. JT and I were breaking this down. AC, Marv, and Osborne can win. Am I missing anybody out of the next guy to get a win?
Right now, today, those are the only 3 that I could see. I don't see anything outside of them 3.
What about C-Sex when he comes back?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if he gets to start and gets away, first 7 or 8 minutes, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But then there's guys, Anderson and Malcolm, who I think have the potential, but they just not yet. It wouldn't happen right away. They would have to kind of build their way back up to that
What do you
potential,
think,
I think.
I would think at this point Ferrandis is more likely than Sexton because he's still healthy, he's in the groove, his pace has been good, and he's not going to be coming back from a deficit like Chase is.
Okay, so you would you add him to that list of 3?
Nah,
No.
no.
I don't think I
Not
would,
right
right?
now.
And those 3
Yeah.
could, but I'm not ready to say it's gonna happen.
And it's a big step to get to that point.
Give
too.
me the order of those 3 from most likely to least likely.
Zach, Adam, Marv.
Okay.
Zach, Adam, Marv.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Zach
JT and
has to just not jump into the gate and do weird stuff, and he's fine. He can go the distance. I don't know if Adam's ready to go 21 minutes all the way yet.
Okay.
Where Zach can. He just got to not do weird stuff.
I mean, he's already done it pretty damn close, 2 laps away from
JT
it.
and I said AC ahead of
I just
Zacho.
like the situations that Adam puts himself in.
He is better at that.
Much better at that.
I mean, Adam puts himself up there. Zach.
Does somebody put themselves in a worse situation than Zach?
No.
Anybody?
Might be the worst.
I just
Hey,
think
I'm going to hit the
if-
gate. Hey, I'm going to crash.
with the way Adam gets the starts, and if Kenny and Eli found themselves on 12th on the first lap, and Adam drops some really low lap times at his best pace, he may find himself 6 or 8 seconds out front, similar to what Sexton was doing. And then I think he may be able to manage
Hold
from
it,
there,
yeah.
Right? If he has pressure on him, he's not going 21 minutes out front.
Well, and to your point, he had Kenny and Eli behind him, and they were all 3 running an incredible pace. But Adam wasn't running an Adam pace. He was definitely concerned behind him. I talked to him a little bit about it, and he's like, yeah, I couldn't get like my speed laps in. And JT, if he would have had maybe a 2-second lead, he probably could have thrown down, a good 7 or 8 minutes and got out there, then maybe had a shot at it. So, yeah, Adam gets himself in a good spot, but I feel like Zach's, as bad as the results are, man, I feel like it's
It's
close.
going to turn around. If the riding is good, all the other garbage will average out.
Yeah.
Right now, he's taken all the bad stuff early, but I think if you're riding well, and I would say the same thing for Marvin. If you watch Marvin ride, he's riding very, very well. All this crashing and all this weird stuff is going to average out, and it's going to be better starts and better finishes as we go. I just don't know if the guys like Kenny and Eli and these guys at the front will have bad races, right? They need the leaders to have some bad races and soon if they want to get back.
It wasn't
into the
great for
title.
Adam for Coop to come that far back and catch Adam. Like Coop couldn't get by Savachi for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he's still late in the race was significantly faster.
The
than
Dalai
AC,
Lama would
so-
have a tough time with Webb late in the race.
Yeah, yeah.
Good luck to anybody.
From where you guys are, like you have the TV monitors that they're feeding you. You guys are up in the press box, but from the floor you can't really see anything.
Right.
When Adam, Zach, Eli goddamn, twice. Ken, Adam, Eli are running
man.
those
He's
laps.
rattled, dude. He's
I'm
rattled.
very rattled. When they were running that close
Yeah.
of a pace together, did it seem like they were making mistakes? Because I couldn't see anything. Did it just seem like, hey, they were pretty steady? It just
Pretty
wasn't
good.
this crazy
Well,
fast pace.
I thought Kenny was waiting a little bit.
He said he wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, it's shades of gray though
Okay.
with that stuff.
All right. Breaking news. Ken Roczen's a liar, says
No,
Jason Thomas.
he says he's not waiting, but
I know.
I don't. There's a difference between am I going as fast as I can absolutely go behind this guy,
Yeah.
or am I? We're going fast here, and I'm not having to
Yeah.
get around him because I think he could maybe take a 10th off, 2 tenths off if he wasn't following him.
The record for Supercross winners in a year is 8 in 1985. We have 4 already. Do we tie that this year?
No.
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 And
Okay.
and even your 3, we're talking about it because they're the most likely that could. I don't even feel like it's
Right.
crazy likely. I mean, it could honestly, and this sounds crappy. I hope the fans don't get bummed here, but it could be the Roczen Tomac Web show for the majority of the way out of this thing. It's already kind of getting that way. So
I agree. All right, we're going to go to a commercial break here. We'll come back with Sean Brennan from Feld Motorsports, the PR man over there, to talk about things from his end of his perspective of the series. And we got Daniel Blair, we got Michael Antonovich, we got Jason Thomas. So we'll be right back after this commercial break, everybody.
Those who love motocross know Motorsport.com has the knowledge and expertise to make your next ride your best ride. Motorsport.com has a broad selection of in-stock parts and gear at competitive prices. We specialize in bringing you OEM and aftermarket parts, riding gear, and accessories for dirt bikes, motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs. All thanks to the most dedicated and experienced team of gearheads in the industry who use the very parts we sell on Motorsport.com. Motorsport.com always offers fast shipping and free delivery on orders more than $79 to ensure you never miss a ride. Whether you race on the track, ride the trails, or commute on the street, shop Motorsport.com today for the best customer service and experience when buying the parts and gear you need to stay on 2 and 4 wheels. Make your next ride your best ride, only at Motorsport.com.
Steve,
Kiefer.
do you want to hear about one of the best rides I've ever had?
Dude, it's not time for After Dark yet.
Chill down, dude. I just want to talk about race tech stuff.
Oh, that's it. Okay,
Gosh, man. Basically, I've had the chance to do some stuff with race tech recently with the CRF 250R and, of course, the KX 250. And as you know, I've talked about on the show, I wasn't a real hardcore fan of race tech stuff back in the day. But since Rob and Andrew and those guys have assembled at race tech, the stuff has been great. So for you guys out there listening, if you guys are looking to get your engine work done or even some suspension work, or as Steven says on the show sometimes, get your seals and your oil rebuilt
bushings
in your fork and shock. Get it rebuilt. It helps. 15 to 20 hours. Head over to racetech.com. Check out. They even got a cool little simulator. You can look at what size spring rate you might need for your bike. So a lot of cool features over there on the website. But and as you know, Yamaha Blue Crew guy over here, you guys have some of that on your bike.
It's fantastic. Zombie Blows uses it. Jerry Robin uses it. Starling, all of those guys over there. Malcolm Stewart won a Supercross with Race Tech stuff a few years ago. Pulp19 is the code to save. Mention PulpMX when you call. You can save on the service. You can save on motor work. You can save on springs if you just want to do that and get it put in yourself or do it yourself. Race Tech is the one-stop shopping for motor and suspension work. You can also mention the code HOMELIFE2020.
That's better. That's a better code, I think.
We'll do either one. Just listen, people. Give your bike some love. Get your suspension modified service. Get your motor modified serviced with the folks at Race Tech.
Good people.
Want a chain and sprocket kit but aren't sure what you need? Then call Vortex EK at 800-440-3559 and get hooked up with the right sprocket and chain kit for your bike. With more than 30,000 possible gearing combinations, Vortex EK has more gearing than your garage has room for. It's a ridiculous amount of gearing for nearly any bike. Join the ranks of Star Racing Yamaha and Supercross champion Dylan Ferrandis and run a Vortex sprocket. Available in red, blue, black, orange, silver, and Kawasaki green.
Yes, green. Call a doctor because things just got sick.
Warning may cause extraordinary power, excessive performance, and speed so fast your eyes will bleed.
Call Vortex EK at 800-440-3559 and mention promo code PulpMX 2021 and get the best deal on your next order.
Maxima Racing Oils was created for world-class racers who challenge the limits of possibility. Their demands on equipment drive us to look beyond conventional ideas and to exceed industry standards. It's in our DNA to identify problems, formulate solutions, and execute at the highest levels of competition. Case in point, the championship-winning Factory Kawasaki race team, longtime Maxima partners who extensively use Maxima throughout the bike. Maxima's USA-made products exceed JSO requirements and can be used in all motorcycle brands: Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, KTM, Husqvarna, and more. Maxima Racing Oils. Experience the difference. Visit MaximaUSA.com for more information.
Hey Pulp Nation, Andy from Guts Racing. We are the leaders in seat technology. We feel like for any need that you have with your seat, we've got you covered. For 2021, we're going to be adding more colors to our product line, and we're going to be adding more merchandise to our product line. Also new for 2021, we've expanded our distribution through motorsportoutlet.com. So please support the people that support Pulp. Support Guts Racing and also support motorsportoutlet.com. Hope to see you guys at the track soon. Once again, this is Andy Gregg from Guts Racing. Thanks again to Pulp Nation for all the support.
FMF Racing is proud to celebrate over 45 years of fun, building every FMF exhaust right here in the USA. Owner and founder Don Emler may have started FMF racing in his garage 45 years ago, but Don is still hands-on in our 100,000 square foot state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in Southern California. FMF's goal? Design and manufacture the world's best performance exhausts 100% in the USA under one roof. FMF is a proud sponsor of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship for over 25 years.
Hi, it's Tomax Superfan Dylan here. The only thing I love more than seeing Eli win is Michelin motorcycle tires. And Michelin is introducing many exciting new tires for 2020. For V-twin riders, the Michelin Commander 3 Cruiser and the Michelin Commander 3 Touring tires offer improved wet grip and enhanced tread life. For sport bike and track day riders, the Michelin Power 5 tire and the Michelin Power GP tires feature the same architecture and profile for effortless sport bike setup from street to track. If you'd like to have the same tire that won the 2019 Red Bull Ayersburg Rodeo, the Michelin Enduro Extreme tire is the tire for you. And the Michelin Starcross 5 tire range is now available for young motocross and off-road riders in sizes for 50cc bikes and up. To learn more about these and all other Michelin two-wheel products, check out www.motorcycle.michelinman.com. Visit your local dealer or online retailer and follow at Michelin Motorcycle on Instagram and Facebook.
Hey guys, it's Mathis. Look, if you're still not wearing a neck brace in 2020, it's time to go get one or at least think seriously about it. It's been over 15 years since the neck braces first came out. They're not the clunky, oversized devices they used to be. Atlas came in and changed the way all neck braces were designed by introducing flexible technology to the world and proving that neck braces can be something you can actually ride in while performing at the highest level. Look at Jason Anderson winning Supercross championships, or look at Martin Davalos or anybody else. Don't take my word for it just because I have 2 Manitoba championships to my name. Wait, I have 4. Just look at how many other brace designs look like the Atlas one. Atlas pioneered all the modern neck brace features and have been refining them ever since then, while the competition has been trying to catch up. Grab the brace that's been leading the pack. Check out atlasbrace.com. Get yours today. There is a Pulp discount if you check out sponsordeals.com on pulpmxshow.com. So be like Chase Sexton, Martin Davalos, and many other guys and wear the Atlas brace. atlasbrace.com.
For over 30 years, DecalWorks has led the industry in quality and customer service by offering the best custom motocross graphics, plastics, seat covers, and rider ID products. DecalWorks is officially licensed with Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, KTM, Husqvarna, and GasGas. Their expert staff will go above and beyond to make sure that your questions are answered. Quality, service, and knowledge. DecalWorks is a proud sponsor of Red Bull KTM Factory Racing and the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Off-Road Team. Visit decalmx.com. Use promo code PulpMX to receive 20% off your custom graphics.
Our guys at Works Connection have always been there for the PulpMX show, and they're there for you as well. They're just as passionate as dedicated to the sport as you are. For over 30 years, Works Connection has been designing and producing innovative products like the Pro Launch Start Device, the 123 Easy Build Elite Perch, Elite Axle Blocks, and much, much more. You'll find Works Connection products on AMA Pro Riders bikes under the canopies of Team Honda, HRC, Star Racing, Smart Top Honda, as well as top teams and privateers alike. The best part of this deal is PulpMX20 code saves you money at WorksConnection.com. Stop by your local outlet and check out the new lineup of Works Connection products for 2021. I've got the Perch on my bike. I've got the engine plugs. I absolutely love it. Great product. I've got the Start Device as well, which helped me in one moto at the World Vet Championships, and one moto not so much. WorksConnection.com. PulpMX20 is the code to save. Please check them out. All new 2021 products now available. Thanks for listening.
Over 65 years ago, Vertex Pistons was born out of a small technical workshop in northern Italy's famous Motor Valley. Expanding and maturing among the racing legends of Ferrari, Lamborghini, MV Agusta, and Ducati. Today, Vertex Pistons are the pistons of choice for motorcycle riders and teams throughout the world. Because of their renowned reputation for exceptional quality, Vertex Pistons is a factory piston supplier to KTM, Husqvarna,
Beta, Gas, and TM.
From the Motocross, Supercross, MXGP, GNCC, National and World Enduro Series, you can find Vertex Pistons winning championships. Vertex Pistons strives to provide you with world-class factory technology at a very competitive price. No matter which brand of bike you ride, when it's time to rebuild your top end, Vertex Pistons will have your engine performing better than new. To see our full range of 2-stroke and 4-stroke pistons in replica, high compression, or GP-style configurations, visit us at vertexpistons.com or stop into your local dealer and ask for a Vertex piston kit today.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. PulpMX Show presented by Motorsport.com, Fly Racing, and Decal Works. Thanks to Ken Roczen for coming on board. Appreciate that. We have a great bunch of guests lined up here. Speaking of Vertex Pistons, that last commercial, every 2-stroke KTM on Husqvarna comes from the factory with a Vertex piston in it. 65 years ago, Vertex was founded in a small workshop in northern Italy. Today, because of a renowned reputation for exceptional quality, Vertex is an OEM supplier to KTM, Husqvarna, and more exotic brands like Beta, Gas, and TM. Sales at pivotworks.com. That's the email to save at Vertex. Whether it's a 4-stroke piston, whether it's a 2-stroke piston, replica, high compression, GP style, they'll get you dialed in. VertexPistons.com. Sales at pivotworks.com if you want to get a deal. Anton, speaking of Vertex, that's who presents you tonight, is Vertex Pistons.
Sick.
Yeah.
Good to hear it.
Sick? Is that sick?
Yeah. Love it.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. And bringing you tonight, this gentleman joined us in Salt Lake City for one of the shows to talk about his role in Feld Motorsports and other things that goes on with him. He is the PR maestro over at Feld Motorsports. Sean Brennan, what's up, Sean? How are you, man?
Hello. Glad to be back, man. How are you?
We're good. Thanks for coming in. Yeah,
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Always interesting to talk to you for sure. And, just last week, Eddie Van Halen would have been 66, I believe. And you and I share the bond of being huge Van Halen fans.
We absolutely share that bond. And my goodness, did you see the mural that they did at Guitar Center?
I did. It was fantastic.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Daniel, Anton, you guys saw that?
No.
Okay. All right.
They're not.
It's sad. It's sad.
It's
is what
sad.
it is.
Sad.
But
my goodness.
Yeah, we lost the magic. We lost the magic man. We just did.
We did. The world it's not the same. Without Eddie being in it. You know, and I'm sure you've been following. Wolfie Van Halen and what he's been doing with Mammoth and all of that. The song he put out, Distance, just super, super touching. And it's amazing that if you follow him, and I'm not sure that you do, but there is just again with the whole like Twitter world and social media, and we all talk about about that stuff, but why anybody would feel like that is a medium to give critiques and be off color with his son. It just blows my mind.
Welcome to 2021.
I know. It's just incredible. But somebody on that mural, you could not take a more accurate depiction of that mural, and yet somebody had written to him and said, that doesn't look like Eddie at all.
Yeah. Social media, man. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And Wolfie is the age. He grew up with social media, so he has no problem with jumping on there and just going and giving it back, which I think is pretty refreshing.
Do you have Sirius XM? Did you see that Deep Tracks was all Van Halen after he passed away for like maybe 2 weeks?
Yes.
I don't know if I turned it off. That was it. That was all I had on my truck.
All in the background.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, we covered that.
I feel better.
Yeah, I do too.
I feel better.
God, what a movie. What's your favorite Van Halen song? Yeah, DB.
Ain't Talk About Love, probably.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Anton?
I'll go with that.
You don't know any other one,
No.
do you? That's why you said that.
And I'll tell you this. I listened to a lot of Van Halen when I was like 14, but then it just like other stuff has filled in and all that stuff has just been pushed out.
Just that opening riff for me is just...
all this,
Dreams.
Yeah, Sammy. Dreams.
Yep. That's a good one.
You cannot beat the opening intro to Dreams.
They got a lot of those, though. I mean, they have a lot of them. But for me,
you are a music expert compared to me. I will say that. But for me, Dreams comes on, immediate goosebumps. I'm in
every time.
Whatever it takes. What do I need to do? Run a marathon? I'm in.
Again, with them too, you could tell by just their tone and the way they played, even the way that they made their instruments sound. They had their own kind of sound, and when you hear it, you're like Van Halen.
Yeah.
So they kind of had their own feeling. Every time you hear one of them, you get those kind of goosebumps. You're like, damn.
And to do it the way they did it all on their own. There was no like how-to manual of like, hey, you can make your sound like this, or there's somebody else out here doing it.
Eddie
did it all on your own.
literally pieced together an amp and a guitar and made it. Yeah, it was phenomenal. Sean, but getting back onto the sport here. Again, I mentioned you joined us in Salt Lake City. That was a whole different deal. Now we're doing this thing 3 in a row for most cities. We got, Orlando's a week off or a week in between and saw that. Does anything change for your role as far as for Feld Motorsports for the PR division of that? Is it much like Salt Lake for you? Is it different than Salt Lake? Where are you at on that?
It's a little bit of both. The first thing I'll say is it's much more demanding. And I think that you and JT, Anton, even Daniel Blair.
They are working Daniel like he's a show monkey. Daniel is the organ grinder.
He is.
And he's just the monkey with the cymbals.
Yes.
or like a circus bear on a unicycle or something.
Ricky doesn't do the third practices anymore, I guess. I've seen Daniel on there the 2 weeks in a row now.
Yep.
Every Zoom call seems to be hosted by Daniel Blair. He's got the NBC stuff. Yep.
I smile too much. I need to stop smiling, and they'll think that maybe we should back off.
We haven't hit oversaturation yet, have we?
Not yet, but we're close.
When does the smile go from like I'm okay with this to like I'm the crazy person?
I was going to say I don't know if there's going to be like a slow transition. I think it's going to be from smiles to flipping tables in 1 minute.
Right.
And as far as the saturation too, my wife even said that. She's like, you think people are getting sick of you yet? Because you're on everything. And I'm like, man, I never thought of it that way, but I probably am getting pretty annoying.
She's like, because I am. Yeah.
And then I'm here on a Monday night to talk to you just to get a few more minutes in, man.
No, but, going back to that, I appreciate Daniel and everything that he does for me, for PR, because he does. You do a lot for us. And, I'll go back to, before the break, not once have I ever given you a script to follow or to say. So the whole, Feld is here and watching and listening. He's all his own man.
Well, he's pretty gifted
man.
At it,
so
I know where the line is, and I know I know you can put the pinky toe past a little bit, but that's it. I play it just right.
We do miss Uncle Jim. I miss Uncle Jim. I mean,
I miss Uncle Jim. And Dan Hubbard's killing it. I think he's doing a great job. I'm having a great time. Our chemistry is good, but it's just Uncle Jim, man. It's a bummer.
Yeah, even the Uncle Jim off the air.
It's just for me again. On Race Day Live when we're on the show, that's not even Uncle Jim to me. That's Jim Hawley.
Right.
It's all the other minutes that he's not here. Those are the minutes I miss the most.
Yeah, great guy, and hopefully he comes back next year. I hope he comes back next year.
No, and to that point, Steve, let me just say that there's a lot of people that aren't here that in a normal world, would be here. So Jim Hawley is certainly one of those guys that we are certainly missed. But there's other folks that, from an operations standpoint or maybe in another role, some sacrifices had to be made. So we're all still in this pandemic. So, definitely a big shout out to Jim because we certainly do miss him. But, we were talking a little bit here for the break. What has changed, for me is that it's nonstop.
Yeah.
It is nonstop. Yeah. I mean, so if you're at the stadium, on race day, we're getting out of there at 3 a.m., and the next day it's, you're waking up at, as soon as your eyes open, you don't even need an alarm clock, but it's making coffee and jumping on the computer and here we go. And as soon as you are done recapping the race that we were just in, it is now full on for the next race that is coming up.
Yep.
So
in like 48 hours.
In like 48 hours, exactly. So, so we race on Tuesday, Super Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, all 3 of those days will be tied up in all the loose ends going into Saturday. But now I also have to start looking at Orlando 2.
Yeah.
Tickets go on sale tomorrow for Atlanta. So we still have, markets with tickets on sale and things like that. So it does not stop. It is much more intense. We've opened it up. In Salt Lake City, we had very limited media. We've opened that up a little bit, but I have a few more, photographers and a few more media people. But I would think the biggest thing, is a blessing and a disguise. These Zoom interviews, we are, routinely And Daniel's been doing a good job with some of the pronunciations on the post-race press conferences, but, Finland, Mexico, Germany, Australia.
Yeah.
And that's what, Zoom has done for us. We have an international audience now. Well, I got to, Sean Lewis or Mr.
Lewis Phillips?
Yeah, Lewis Phillips. I'm sorry. Lewis Phillips. He keeps promising he's going to be getting up and, getting up early or staying up late for these press conferences, but he hasn't been on any of them yet.
Try to get Hurlings. He'll make it if you get he'll be there.
If Lewis is listening, we're still waiting for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Just in the next email, say Jeffrey Hurlings will also be on. Boom.
Boom. Lewis Phillips,
I'm awake.
Yeah, with a raised hand. First one in the lobby waiting to get in.
How's been the buy-in from teams and riders to do? Obviously, look, it's definitely been a little bit more strict as far as interacting with people outside your bubble for these race teams, and so that's been a change from Salt Lake a little bit. I mean, it wasn't. We did things in Salt Lake. We all know that, right? This one, I feel like the teams and riders are being a little bit more on lockdown. So therefore, when it comes to doing things for the media for you, hey, I've got an NBC guy that wants to talk to you. I got the local guy who's going to put his fly pants on backwards. He's here. How's that been?
I want to fight that guy.
I know. How's it been, that part of it? Or is it okay? Or does that make it tough? Or how do you do that?
That's probably my biggest challenge right now.
You like how I knew that, right? You like how I knew to ask you that.
It's amazing. Right. And I don't know if you're talking to people.
No, I'm not. No? It's just something that I thought you would have to battle. I'm like, what's a question for Sean? I'm like, the 7 deuce deuce and getting the cat at 5 a.m. used to be no problem.
Right.
Now it probably is. And,
it is.
And the bigger names.
Let me just, kind of go back to the fly racing fans.
JT's like, please don't.
I've talked to JT about it, and he's good about it because they keep, talking about fly, and I know that that's good for him. But I was on the floor that morning, and I left it to some colleagues to get him dressed. So by the time I got up there, it was already damage done, and it was time to go. So I don't know if he did that intentionally.
I've been told he did it intentionally. He's a wacky morning guy.
Yeah,
and they showed me, somebody showed me some other stuff he did where he did wacky things.
Yeah, so, and knowing his personality, that makes sense. Yeah. But I just want to make it,
JT. He's wacky.
In the spirit of creating a talking point. Yeah. I'm okay with it. Everything else, maybe you want to cage fight it.
But back to your question. No, I will say that the teams and the athletes have been absolutely fantastic to work with. The biggest struggle that I have had is really almost internally, because what people don't realize is that we have NBC, we have NBC the broadcast, we have Race Day Live. And
Daniel's doing all of that.
He's doing all of that.
Yeah.
We don't need anybody else there.
We have the loadout at the end of the night. Daniel, you're driving one of the trucks out of the stadium with dirt.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're doing that. We're going to need you on the dozer in between.
I don't know if you guys know this, but on commercial breaks for TV, I'm actually a dig dug.
Okay.
Do you still carry around the backpack? Huh? Do you still carry around the backpack with you?
Yeah.
And just at the bottom layer is a high-vis vest?
Yeah.
Daniel buys a dig dug also. Yeah.
But we have, NBC Digital. We have our own Supercross Live channels that all want to do cool things. So it is really just trying to create an efficient mechanism that every 2 minutes I'm not calling up Honda and, hey, I need Kenny. And in addition to that, it's prioritizing. Mm-hmm. Like, what do we really need today, right? What can be hold off maybe in 2 weeks, or I have this team scheduled 2 weeks in Orlando from now. Can that wait, and we'll get it there where the team and everybody is already scheduled to do media and they know that it's, going to come. So there's a lot of asks. We've had really good media here. This is a motorsports town here in Indianapolis. So, we've had 5 television stations cover us this week. The Indianapolis Star is covering us routinely this week. So that's fantastic. But it does add a whole nother layer on top of things.
You got to get a special press box for them and stuff.
You have to give them a special press box, and I had to get them a special Keurig machine.
No, I know.
We're now calling the Mathis treatment.
But
that was for you. That wasn't for them. Let's just, let's get that out there now.
There was a request in the photo den about that too, like the week prior.
Oh, did somebody see my post? Or
No. This has been brewing.
Yeah.
The different
brewing Keurig.
There we go.
Right.
See, I'm getting better as the night goes on.
He's waking up.
Yeah. There you go.
Sharon got us a Keurig up there, French vanilla creamer. It's fantastic. It's great. He went to go use it, JT, the Keurig.
Yep, I saw that.
There was
still issues.
There was no water in it, and he was done. He was done.
Smartest dumb person I've ever met.
I was gonna say he's so intelligent, and I'm blown away by some things that he just can't figure out. I don't get it.
We didn't get through one cup in the photo den before it broke. Somebody broke it first try.
Really?
Yeah, so we're out without it.
Well, but here's the thing.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. You're welcome. It really is the little things, and I think that's the biggest thing is that even when we're all on site doing what we're doing, there's no time. I mean, there is obviously food, the fans can buy in the stadium, but the times that we're all needed to do our jobs, it's not that convenient. So the little things like that, I hear from you guys and I try to take care of, and I hope it helps.
I mean, Denny would have done so much for us. Denny would have just catered. Denny was such a giver. He was such a giver.
So we've talked about the difference between journalists and photographers before, right? So, of course, we get a Keurig down there for the photo den as well. I know that some early birds made a few cups, right? But I go down, I take a case of water down. So, we have plenty of water down there. And they're all like, man, hey, big applause. You got us a coffee. This is so cool. This is great.
Right.
However, it's broken. And now I just bought these the day before, right? These are brand new
I saw him unload them.
So this is something that Mewey or Prater would have had to authorize, right? It would have been like, let's get these jackals, these clowns.
No,
a Keurig.
And oddly enough, the one upstairs they have access to now, so they actually thanked me.
Oh, okay.
So they were like, "Oh my goodness, this is fantastic."
Right.
So no,
and Daniel, no coffee for you. Work more.
Yeah.
But the following day, so the Keurig on race day did not work in the photo den, right? So I go back. I'm over at the stadium on Friday, and I was going to pack it up so I can take it back and exchange it. So I just let's try it one more time, right?
Yeah.
The thing made 3 cups of coffee for me perfectly.
Oh God, was Weege there? Was Weege in there? Because it's possible that Weege broke it.
I don't know, but it's working now.
I'm excited about tomorrow.
And I even did a video. So I even did a video to prove that this thing is working now. So I don't know what that was on race day, but if it goes down again, I will replace it. But right now I'm pretty confident that we're okay.
So Tuesday at Houston, we're at limited capacity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday at Houston, not good. And for all those reasons that you would expect, limited capacity, and it's a Tuesday night. And you got 2 more races in that city, so you don't need to go Tuesday. I don't imagine tomorrow will be packed either. So it is what it is, though, right? We got to get this thing done, but that's got to be a bit of a bummer that we're not getting great Tuesday sales. And then for all the reasons to be expected, but it's tough.
Yep. No, it is. It's very tough, and I think that we anticipated that. Obviously, we would love to say, "Oh my goodness!" Anytime Supercross is in market, it's going to be a sellout. That's of course everything that we and you guys too. That's what we want. But no, we knew that was going to be tough. But to complete a 17-round championship, in very limited places that we could go. Reminding fans that, California was not open for business. It's still not open for business. Your hometown, Vegas, is still not holding large events.
Strip clubs are still closed. It's a real bummer. Real bummer for my wife and I.
You think he's kidding?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It's hurting my marriage.
So,
usually it does, but for other reasons.
But,
strip clubs being closed is hurting your marriage.
Usually being open is what causes marital problems.
You would think so. It's the other way in my house, and it's not good. We have nothing to do at night.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. You got to get it done. We got to make it happen. It's just like, I don't know about JT, I guess, because you and I were talking about this. Like, it is, Salt Lake was one thing, because I don't know if it's an open air stadium and it's a smaller stadium anyways, or we were in the daytime and we were racing with no opening ceremonies. Whatever it was, I totally could wrap my mind around nobody being at Salt Lake. It just mentally worked. And you and I were in Houston going, this is weird. Like, we got the opening ceremonies, we got the videos, we got the fireworks, and there's nobody here.
See, I was fine with the stadium. I was more the pits, like in the Fan Fest.
Yeah.
You know, the attendances were down, and there are limitations of who can come in and who can, and all that stuff was weirder for me. Once we got in, the fireworks are going and all that.
I was talking to Weege about it, not you. My bad.
That would explain it.
Yeah.
But I was more...
I'm like, wait, why aren't you talking about what we talked? It was Weege, yeah.
I felt more awkward in the pits and the lack of atmosphere in the Fan Fest than I did once the show got going.
Right.
I was fine with the show.
Like, Anton, how weird, like, for me, it's bizarre, right?
The Salt Lake City thing, like being at all 7 of those, you were like, oh, okay, like
we're getting it done.
We're kind of getting it done, and you're right. Like, it's not as big of a stadium. Like, it doesn't have full upper bowls and all that. That Houston one, though, was so weird because even opening ceremonies was kind of like early, like late afternoon, so there was still some daylight. Wasn't completely dark. That Saturday felt more normal than anything in Houston did, though. Like
the one we just did?
Yeah.
I don't know what the numbers were, but it felt like
Bigger.
there was more. And middle, top, everything, it did feel different, for sure.
And then to that point, and I'm sure you can confirm this, next Saturday, the whole lower bowl here is sold out. There's nothing.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Oh, you tweeted that, but I thought you were kidding.
No, I'm serious because Megan bought tickets.
Okay,
She had to buy like upper deck tickets.
Interesting. Yeah, it's just, again, it's a pandemic. We're going through it. So,
Yeah, no, and thank you for bringing it back to that. And another thing is, in the off season, when was the off season? When we announced the schedule, our hope was, and at that point, we were working with around 25% capacity, which when you do the numbers still in some of these stadiums is not a big number. Houston ended up being about 15%. So again, we're in a pandemic and realize that we are still dealing with changing landscapes. So even though we at one point, thought we were going to be at 25%, that number kept going down. So for us to be, where we ended up in Houston outside of the Tuesday race, we're very, very happy with the numbers and what we saw. The numbers here in Indianapolis are strong. So Saturday, luckily, happy to say that we were sold out for this last Saturday at the capacity that we were given.
Yep.
The Tuesday, this Super Tuesday, the sales are much stronger than the Tuesday in Houston. So we'll see a bigger crowd there. Fantastic. Thank you, Indy fans and everybody that's driving, from the Midwest. And then to your point, yes, next Saturday or this Saturday, round 3 is looking very strong as well. But again, those numbers, they keep changing, right? And hopefully, our hope when we built this schedule is that, the later rounds, we would be looking at increases and not decreases. And that's really what happened in Houston and here in Indy. So we are still working through a pandemic, but very thankful for all the fans that have come out. I know there's been some confusion around FanFest. FanFest definitely feels, different.
Yep.
And, I would love to remind you guys to let fans know what you guys are doing at the Fly Racing, shows. But I think there was a lot of confusion around Houston. But we've changed it to what our fans expect now. So the building and FanFest will be open at the same time.
Oh, okay. Was that so? Yeah, I did hear from people in Houston that said I couldn't get into FanFest.
Yes.
Like I just couldn't get in.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know.
Well,
talk to Blair. He's also gathering the cans at the gate.
Yeah, I actually work security at the front gate.
Right.
From about 2:05 to 2:12, I run the front gate.
You're at the gate,
yeah.
right.
Well, let me clear that up. The Monster Energy can redemption.
The Monster Cross?
Because
Monster Cross?
Monster
Oh,
Cross,
man.
No, that's something different.
Oh, okay.
Man, the TV crew played a really funny prank on
they?
Todd today.
Listen,
yeah.
Todd's awesome.
He's incredible.
Great.
I love Todd, but
Monster Cross will live forever.
Oh, the next morning, our group text with the team, we let him have it so bad. And then they did something pretty funny to him today for
good.
like our fax check and everything.
Right.
Oh, boy.
He was caught off guard. We got him again.
But
yeah, pit party.
Where were we?
FanFest.
FanFest. Thank you. So going into all of this, the Monster Energy Can Redemption program, that is halted for 21, just with the touching of the cans and collecting them and all of that. We can't do that.
Right.
So for fans, please know that will be back in 2022, but that had to be, halted for this season. So FanFest, number one, is another ticket. So when you buy an event ticket to go to Supercross, that is one ticket, but it is a second one to get into FanFest. So I think that's one thing that fans need to realize. But we had different times that fans could go and be in FanFest, and then it was a delayed opening of the venue. And I think that's what really caused a lot of confusion at the first round. But we ended up clearing that up during while we were still in Houston, and for the third round, FanFest and the buildings were open together, and that will remain the same for the rest of the series.
Right.
So more, kind of back to what we were doing in a normal FanFest. But if you were there in Houston, we had the Pit Bike Challenge, the Monster Energy head-to-head Pit Bike Challenge
radio show.
Daniel
Great.
Blair was out there for that too.
He was there.
He
I got
raced that.
fourth in the pit bike race.
It's great.
The Pit Bike race. But we have the Unknown Riders.
Flagging out there.
Well, the LCQ I did. I won my heat.
You also
flag
did
for the
the stunt
LCQ.
Harleys, right?
Yeah. And the reason I got fourth is because I'm actually the 32nd board guy for that
so
too.
you run back.
So I had to run back, get on. I got to fourth.
sang the national anthem.
So I charge extra for that. They didn't want to pay for that. So
Also, too, I don't know how much you had to do for this, Sean, on your end of things, but of course we came out with the series. We're going to Glendale. That got quickly replaced, and then we moved the series. The East was starting in Houston, and then we announced that the West Coast is starting in Houston, and then I think everybody realized that was a bad move for many reasons that I agree with, and then you guys had to flip-flop and put it back to the original schedule. It definitely wasn't a good optics. It didn't look good. It looked confusing, but in the end, the right thing was done for the teams and for the riders, and so in the end, it worked out fine. It just was a little messy to get there, but did that make your life harder, more miserable for that?
A little bit,
Yeah.
and again, from an optics standpoint, it was what it was. We, obviously our goal is always to, by the time, you're reading that press release and all the assets are built and we're making that announcement that this is it. And there's so much that goes on in the back end, to even get there. But that decision was made for the right reasons. You're absolutely right. And, just because,
I couldn't hammer them too much, Anton, on that when it was done.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, of all the things that everybody's ever complained about, that was a very good, hey, we acknowledge we messed up. Let's move forward.
Yeah. And I got people who said, well, these guys can't even get their coast straight, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, whatever. It was done. They did the right thing.
They moved from Glendale to Atlanta. There's a lot of changes that mixed the whole thing up. So it's like,
but but in the end, it was done. It was done for the right way, and it was a little messy, but we got it. Yeah. So
and it's full transparency. It's like we even continued. Dave Prater, Mike Mewey. We have phone calls every week with the team. So these decisions are never ever made in silos, right?
Yeah.
So. When we heard, from a few of the other teams and how it affected them, and especially when it comes to, contracts and things like that, I think everybody really thinks, East and West, is there really a big difference, right? And I think we even had a little bit of that mindset as well, especially with everything being so centralized that you really aren't on other coasts. But again, there were some of the satellite teams that had big concerns and didn't have equipment, didn't have gear,
and
didn't
rightful
have
concerns.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, our goal is to always do the right thing for the series, and with that is doing the right things for our athletes and teams. Again, without them, we don't have a championship, we don't have a season. So, these decisions are never made in a silo. And
every race team I was ever on, we were not ready until 24 hours before the first race, no matter what date you gave us. So you can't give those guys this date,
right?
And then say, oh, you're up on a month and a half earlier. Like, it doesn't work. Like, I was on factory teams, and we were a shit show until 48 hours for Anaheim 1.
Well, there's a lot of things you're waiting on.
That
are out of your control. Graphics sometimes.
No,
it's not always just you. It's everybody around you.
Putting myself back as a team mechanic, if you had said, oh, hey, Steve, we're starting a month earlier, I would have shit myself. So, I mean, it was a good thing. So okay, look, we're in a pandemic. I get it, Sean, and you guys got to be strict with the pits and the media interaction and everything, and I get that and I respect it, but you can't take my source of food away.
Here we go.
You know, you can't, like, if you, this is the Amazon and I'm, you know, a gorilla, and you go in and you plow the Amazon down for a Home Depot, you've taken my bananas away. I'm going to die. Okay, so you took my food source away in the pits, and you don't provide me food now. So if I have a gripe, where's the food? Does Daniel cook it? Can Daniel, like, you know, I understand what we're doing here. I get it. But, you know, Wygan and I used to mosey on in the pits, mosey the JGR truck, RIP JGR, you know, and get ourselves some lunch or dinner.
I brought you food.
What are you talking about?
He doesn't want it from you.
I brought you food at Houston.
What do you mean you brought us food?
I brought you food. Literally.
When?
We went to the carried food from the Fly Racing Hospitality to
from hospitality,
you.
yeah.
That's what I brought you food.
Right,
JT, he doesn't want your food. He wants Sean's food. He wants Sean to bring him food.
Listen, you can't mow down the Amazon. Give me my bananas.
No, it's a fabulous point.
Thank you.
It's a
Thank you.
fabulous
So,
point.
don't
I
do that,
can't-
Sean, don't. Hey, you better be dropping a butt.
Anton, you got me on this, Anton?
Hey, I'm skinnier than I've ever been. This is terrible.
Look at him. He's wasting away.
Wasting away.
We're losing him.
We're losing him.
So
he came in here calling Roczen and Eli.
I'm a fucking mess.
Now we know why.
He's got low blood sugar.
Yeah.
No bananas.
Steve, my goal is to go above and beyond.
Yeah, you did it with the Keurig.
And surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise and delight.
Oh,
right?
okay,
And,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that over the years,
Yeah.
I've surprised and delighted you
Uh-huh.
with several things, right? And
Yeah,
I think that around the corner, there's different things that I've done, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just give me time.
Okay, because
Give me time. Now that
you took my food source
now
away.
that you've made this,
Yeah.
public, I guess I gotta.
Hey, JT, how stoked are the teams that Steve can't go running through their semis eating all their bananas?
I am surprised that
What's
they
up,
have
guys?
not put in a few riders' contracts that you can't come around. We've heard about this happening with other riders, like, hey, that guy can't come around. That's what's up next for you. Like Troll Train, he's going to be on a team, and they're like, listen, we know you like Steve. He can't come over here.
No, listen, I'm able to think clearer and see clearer when I'm not hungry, like when I'm not like Anton and wasting away. And don't get those guys in the photo to anything. They're fine. Just get the media in the press box.
We're straight animals down there. We will survive.
They are.
Guy B's eating Anton's carcass. You go down there and Guy B's it's just like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, Lord of the Flies down there.
Yeah. So, Sean,
But they got a Keurig, so they're all fired up when they do it.
Hey, just hot water. You got a soup going.
So I go down in Indy. I had to go down to the concessions, and I got to fight through those crowds. And Wygant's,
which we don't want you
fighting through crowds.
Fighting through.
Is that really what you're doing?
Okay, can I? Let me just say something without making myself sound like a total asshole.
Oh boy,
That'll be the first
Here
time.
we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm not kidding you. Like, I went down to the concessions at Indy, and I love our listeners. I love the listeners of PulpMX. They're great.
Mm-hmm.
They allow me to make a nice living trying to cover this sport. Not as much as Anton or other guys, but I'm grinding. And so I'm not kidding you. I had to talk to like 3 or 4 or 5 people in the concession area.
Must have been horrifying.
And, that's 20 minutes. That's 30 minutes of my time because I'm exposed to these people. And I got to buy some. And I got to hear Wygant.
He used the keyword exposed.
Yeah.
Right? You saw that? He dropped that right
No.
on Sean.
God, he's so slick, man. God.
And Wygant is so upset about the price of the grilled chicken sandwich. He's so upset. He's asking me 3 times, how do they justify these prices? Like, I don't know, Weege. Like,
you know what you could have done?
What?
Could you bring me food? I would have brought you food.
I don't want to do that. You move in mysterious ways. I can't trust you. I don't know where you're at, where you're doing.
Mysteriously would have shown up with food is what I would have done.
Like last time.
So yeah, Sean. I mean, it's cool. Everything's good. Keurig's great. I would put coffee over the food. You know what I mean? Like Number one.
Sean said priorities. He started at the top. He got you what you needed. Well, get the bananas on Tuesday, okay? God.
And I would definitely take the coffee over eating. Now, eating's important on race day. We
need that.
Have to have some bananas, but you got to have the coffee.
Just don't mow down the Amazon and don't, tell me there's nothing else there, so I don't know. It's just, you guys feel me?
No.
I bought a pretzel on Saturday, and then the lady just happened to sneak in the cheese cup, and that was like another $1.25. I'm like, I didn't even want the shit. Yeah, so I've been dealing with it. I know, but I get it because at Salt Lake, there was nothing. I was bringing a sack lunch in.
Yeah, it was.
That was rough.
Yeah, it was. So Sean, just know that I'm out there foraging also.
All right.
Yeah.
It's duly noted.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was hoping you'd bring Prater or Mui because I'd get right to the top on that. I mean, right there. So
and I'm just going to put this out there.
Okay.
But I might be able to grab Daniel's TV dinner.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I don't need it.
He doesn't.
Oh, he's way too busy.
Yeah, he's way too busy.
I got to eat that for Salt Lake. I was a spotter. Solid.
I mean, it's funny because you were making a joke about it. The truth is the dinner is before race day life's done. So I'm the last one in there by myself eating my dinner, sitting there at the table, all hunched over, no friends.
You put your cymbals down and your top hat down.
But I have my earpiece in just in case I need to get on the mic real quick, and I eat my little food and go. So I love the joke, but it's actually a real problem. I eat alone.
It's like a cafeteria at Disneyland, just like Mickey Mouse without the head on.
Me and the two ladies that serve the food, just talking, making new friends.
People were like, "Is that a dig dug without his helmet on?" There it is.
What do you do around here?
Sean Brennan brought to you by Skosh, Skosh.com. Please check those guys out. Phone mounts, base link module thing, cords, charging cords, everything you need electronic-wise for those guys. They've got you covered. Pulp 2021 is the code to save at Skosh.com. Go there, punch in that code, save some money. They got great stuff. They got cords in 4-foot lengths and 6-foot lengths and 8-foot lengths. JT,
I'm loving mine. I'm using one right now.
Your Skosh one?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
And I have two of the, what are they called? Boom bottles?
Boom bottles.
Yeah,
Wait, you have two?
Yeah.
You won one from the show?
I did. But they wanted me to get the full experience because they work together.
They sent you one?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
They did.
Okay.
Yes. So now I have two. I haven't been able – I got it right before I left.
Okay.
I left on Friday morning and I got it Thursday night. So I cannot wait to get back and –
the way you looked at that Skosh when you won it in the Phil Trivia contest.
I use it every day.
Yeah, you were –
I use it every day.
It was amazing. JC was just like –
I live alone. I don't really have a lot of friends.
Right.
So my phone and podcasts are my friend. So I use this boom bottle.
Oh, that's great. Skosh.com. Please check those guys. Sean Brennan brought to you by that. Hey, Ride Engineering too. Ride-engineering.com. A lot of teams are using Ride Engineering out there and using clamps and the brake parts and everything else. Sometimes we forget about the little things. For years, the Smart Top Bullfrog Spas Honda team in Supercross, the OTSF Rockstar Yamaha team in motocross, and the Precision Concepts Cowie team in off-road have run the Ride Engineering billet brake clevis. The little buggers are made out of 70-75 aluminum, allow a little more pedal height adjustment over stock, are half the weight, and come with a hairpin for ease of disassembly. $44. Pulp Fan 20 is the code to save at rideengineering.com. Simple, easy to use. Pulp Fan 20 is the code to save at ride-engineering.com. All right, let's talk 250s a little bit. Sean, you want to stick around, or you're welcome to, or we got...
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think I've heard that you got to do at least two segments to get your art of sport
segment.
Right?
Yeah.
You ain't getting it.
Yeah.
Right?
You ain't getting it.
It wasn't in the green room,
No.
Daniel. I didn't see it.
You
I must
got
have
to
missed
come on the
it.
show 30 times to get your art of sport, Steve.
Anton, you got any? Did I give you any?
No, I always buy it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Support the sport.
So, 250s. Let's talk about 250s a little bit. So, obviously, the whole story is the Craig Lawrence thing, and Nichols is stoked. He had a 3-point lead, looking just like a 3-point lead, and then now he's got 6 or 7 or something.
I think it's 8.
8.
I'll start with you, Anton. What's your take on the Craig Lawrence takedown?
It was a lot. That was a lot. I've rewatched it a couple times. I haven't gotten to really break it down, and you can see that he maybe got a little flustered. But just give it up. Just give the spot up.
Or make a left and
something.
And ride
Give the spot up. They're side by side.
I mean, like, don't run it all the way out the way that he did, because
I think they lock bars.
I think they lock bars, and I think he hit that inside rut, and it upset the bike a little bit. Like, he hit it, and then you can see the bike flinch, and then he goes right into him.
So I'll give my take. Weege and I were arguing about this via text today. Not arguing. We don't argue. Steve and I argue. Weege and I just debate, and it's not heated. Like, Steve always gets mad. But what I think happened, so they're coming down the straightaway, right? And Christian's like, oh, crap, I just screwed up. I let him next to me, right? So all I really need to do here is just swing a little wide and make sure that Jet can't get a run. As long as I disrupt his momentum where he can't really enter the whoops with a lot of speed, I kind of got him, right? Jet really got to the spot quicker, I think, than Christian thought. And they made contact when I don't think Christian intended that. And when they made contact, they locked bars. And when they locked bars, they went straight. And then everything went completely sideways. I think in Christian's head, he's thinking, okay, as long as I jump a line and make Jet, he didn't even have to hit the brakes. As long as he has to let off the gas, we're good. He's not going to be able to go anywhere. I have him pinched on the side. I'll get down the whoops. I'll control the next corner, and it's done. It didn't go that way at all, but I think that's what Christian was doing. And that was probably the worst possible scenario of 10 endings to that situation. That was probably the worst one.
The way I explained it to my wife, Jet trying to pass on the right is like trying to pass a tractor trailer on the right. You don't do it. Like, you know you're in no man's land over there, especially as you set up for this left turn. You're hanging yourself out to dry. So Jet
I think Jet was going to send it, though.
Yeah.
Oh, he was going to send it. That last 3 laps he wasn't going to do anything but hold it wide open around the rest of the track.
If Craig just hits the inside rut where he was, he's fast as balls in the whoops. Yes, he was tired. The whoops were pretty one-lined. He gets in the line first. He makes the rut. He hangs on to second place. Maybe. I think most likely, like 60-40 or 55-45.
Yeah.
But instead, him going out there institutes a lot of bad things.
Like, if I get to the spot,
Jet can't do it.
It's 100%.
Yes.
Yeah. Right?
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes, but there's also what could happen,
yeah, of
right?
Course.
So
it went horribly wrong.
Yeah, like I thought it was such a bad decision. But I mean, we can let the racers talk about it.
Well, there's one more thing too. If you watch the replay from the side, kind of the back, when he lands, Craig, he kind of hits a little bump and pops up his back tire. So the first part of all of it, his back tire's up in the air.
Right.
Then it drops down, and that's right when the lock happens. And I've had people DM me and be like, he could have turned. The speed that they both had and the locking of everything, they both drifted to that bail. And again, JT nailed it, what the intent was, and it was just 100% dead on. Sorry. What do you want me to do? It has nothing to do with us both being riders.
Yeah,
it's
just being racers.
He just nailed it. I'm sorry. It was accurate. But yeah, and I've seen people, but this is where I have the problem. I can't stand the things that people are saying to him and Paige online. Like,
well, I said with Dino. Dino said people were saying, "I hope you break your neck."
Oh, I know. And by the way,
last year.
By the way,
What?
Dino.
Dylan last year.
Dylan, yeah.
I don't care how bad Dino's toe is. He jumped out of his chair when that happened. He said, "Yes, off of me."
Honestly, it disgusts me too. But I just move on. You can't. The Craigs have social media accounts. Okay, they do vlogs every week, posting their story.
I agree.
So guess what? It ain't all going to be positive.
Take the good with the bad.
You got it exactly. Yeah. Like they've made Christian is. I don't know if he's kept rides because his father-in-law owned the team, but certainly his social presence helped. Right when he had some down years. So if you're going to do all that, you're going to get some shit. That's where you don't deserve to be told to die and hope you break your neck. But I don't have a whole lot of sympathy.
But it's like Kanye. Like, you get money, you get all these great accolades,
and with it comes,
but you do some crazy stuff. Hell will rain down on you because you are so in the spotlight and everybody knows you.
But here's my question to the fans that are over the top critical or whatever. My question is, are you really invested in Christian and Jet, or one of the two, where you really have to have that harsh of an opinion? Me personally, I like when they take each other out because it's fun.
You can't mess with Jet right now.
No, you're not allowed to.
No, the applause in the stadium was
crushed
all time.
If you mess
but
with
at the
Jet.
same time, I think the fans did allow the Mosman thing to happen. They're like, yeah, okay, you give him a little bit back.
You had that coming.
Yeah, and of course, we all knew it was coming. But people, the way they say things online, it's like they lost $1,000 or something. I know football, like or in basketball, when someone tips the scales in the last second of a play or a field goal and you lose your ass, I get it. No one's got money on Craig and Jet Lawrence, so why are you so invested and hateful towards a racing incident with two guys that put on an incredible last lap? I thought it was cool.
Because I think there are some people that act like the PulpMX Fantasy League, no disrespect, is what they're betting the house on.
Oh, so Steve
you know
caused
what
all
I
of
think
this.
Jet is turning into, and this is the perfect stadium to be saying this, is Pastrana.
100%.
When Ricky took Pastrana out here, you would have thought
he murdered him or something.
It was their immediate family, and
all
it's
of
the
them.
same thing. It's the same thing. He is becoming that so likable character that everybody has a soft spot for him, and he's 17 years old, so they're all looking at him like he's just a kid. Don't mess with him.
But that's my point. A year ago, everyone, when Dylan hit Christian, I was like, "Oh, you hit Jagger's dad! Like, what are you doing?"
The Dylan hitting Craig was worse than Dino and worse than what Craig Lawrence.
Steve, I have DMs from people.
By a lot.
I have people DMing me and saying that's Christian. After what happened to him last year, you'd have think he wouldn't do the same thing to Jet. And I'm like, whoa, what? One was at like 40 mile an hour, and the other one was like a little tough block tip over. It was
I've had
cool.
people say the most horrendous things to me, and I've clicked on their bio, and they've been like, "Father, lover of Christ."
Yes.
And you're like, "What?"
Like a family photo with 4
Yeah.
kids.
You're just like, "You're what?" And you're telling me that I need to go fuck a goat? Like what? Like like it's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. But what is fan short for? Fanatic, and you know what I mean. So I don't know. But it's ridiculous. But what a ride by Jet. So crash, crappy start. Just see you later. Like, oh man, that's an awesome ride.
Insane 5
I
minutes.
can't imagine the meetings that go on at Feld behind the scenes is like, this is our guy.
Whoa.
We've got him.
Ralph.
We've got him. Oh my God, we found him.
Ralph is not around, but Ralph has to be so
true.
proud.
Ralph was on it early.
Yeah,
Maybe Ralph was the
on it
ones
early.
DMing Christian saying,
Christian
man.
Craig, teammates with the Lawrence brothers, wins a heat.
Stop it, Steve.
It was great. Does Jet win if he starts 2 behind Colt? Does he win, Anton?
Not there. I mean, not on Saturday, because Saturday, you watched the whole day. Saturday was not good. There were a lot of little mistakes. Dude, he was off the bike a few different times.
Dude, he did this one.
Dude, the whole off the wall?
The wall thing was the weirdest
Yeah.
thing I've ever seen. I don't even know how it happened. It made no sense. Jet is a phenom. We all know that, right?
Yeah.
But he still does some silly kid
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I don't know how he would have handled Colt for 15 minutes because Colt is
He was
Steady.
he's
perfect,
at the
right?
highest
Yeah.
of his game. He is
Yeah.
perfect.
We'll
So
all find out tomorrow.
we will. And honestly, I'll say Jet wins 1 or 2, 3 more. He's got it. But on that night, Colt was perfect and Jet was goofy
Jet
all
was
day.
fast, though.
Yeah.
I feel like I said this in our review pod. Colt had the red light on his bike. He looked like he went back. Craig had the red light on his bike. He looked like he went back to his Houston 1 gear that he won in because everybody else is wearing the.
Apparently, the buckle broke, and he didn't want to risk a buckle breaking again because I guess it's like a lower line of gear. So he was worried about, because it's happened to
Yeah.
Hanny before,
Why didn't he wear the yellow stuff? Like the rest
No, he's
of them?
talking about the yellow
because
stuff.
the yellow stuff is like a different line of gear.
He's talking about the yellow stuff. The buckle and the yellow stuff, bro.
No, but he wore black gear in his heat and then the
Yeah.
white gear in the main.
Right.
But I guess it's a different line.
Oh.
But then, like, I totally know what you're talking about because, I totally know what you're talking about because, like, everybody was watching, like, okay, Christian's
Yeah.
kind of doing some weirdo stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm just like with the light and the gear. I'm just like, are you thinking too much here, Christian? Are you getting too much in your head about this thing? Just go out and ride like you did.
I mean,
Houston
might
won.
be.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he's obviously never. I mean, I think we said it on the broadcast. He's never been in that spot
Well,
where he
when
was
you were
points
going
leader.
for the regional lights title in Arena Cross, what, were you doing weirdo superstitions? Or how?
Yeah, like eating M&Ms on the gate.
Listen,
Yeah.
if he shows up in orange 2001 Fox gear tomorrow,
Yeah.
I think we're on
Then
to
we have a
something.
problem.
Then we're on to something.
Right. It's interesting. I think this is big for Christian, this race tomorrow night.
This is a must.
This is big.
Mentally, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And maybe he doesn't even have to win, but maybe if he just charges hard to get the second and he's right on the leader, whoever that is, that's fine. Like, take that. But if he can't do it, I mean, he's been passed late in the race, this one, late in the race, the last 3, really. One of them was a little bit of a bike problem, but big race for Christian tomorrow night.
What have you heard the light is? Like, what is
So it reminds him to breathe, I've heard.
Okay, because I was told it reminds him to lay off the clutch because that's what kind of caused him those problems at Houston.
Either way, what?
But it's not wired into anything.
Yeah.
It's just it's off a specialized bike catalog. It's
Yeah.
the rear light for your seat
Okay,
post.
so yeah, what are we doing? How's a light reminding you of this? I don't know. Anybody? No.
I don't know.
Brendan, you got
Somebody wrote, me a DM and said that the light was to remind him to turn left, and it malfunctioned.
Yeah.
The last
I wrote in my staging area column today that his NASCAR career is off.
Oh, he's
clearly
done.
he can't turn
No
left.
chance. So unfair.
Done.
You guys are such
It
dicks.
is.
You guys are such dicks.
Yeah, well-
All of you, including you, Brennan. You too. Motorsport.com, Fly Racing, Decal Works, Race Tech Suspension and Engines, Vortex Racing, X Brand Goggles, Michelin Starcross 5, Maxima USA, Firepower Batteries and Chains, Vertex Pistons, Pro Filter, Scoche, Cambio CBD, Works Connection, OGO Power Sports, Get Data, Atlas Neck Brace, FMF, Guts Racing, Art of Sport, MotorcycleIndustryJobs.com, Inten Cycles, WUSA, Ride Engineering, Works Chassis Lab, all on board with us. Sponsored deals on PulpMXShow.com to save from numerous of those companies. So we really thank you if you guys would use that. That'd be great. X Brand Goggle Tear Off segment. Let's shall we do this? Let's do this. Here we go.
It's the X Brand Tear-Off segment. 15-second rapid-fire Q&A.
Rapid fire. X Brand Goggles, a choice of champions everywhere. Chiz. X Brand. Just repping it hard.
Just blowing it in heat races, right? Didn't he screw up in the heat this week?
I don't think so.
No, he didn't go to the LCQ.
Yeah.
When did he?
Went to he crashed all by himself. Well, he high-sided over Bogle in the heat race at Houston 3. He had to go to the LCQ.
Yeah, I just felt like that was so unchiz-like.
It was.
Like,
I was beside myself. He was on my fantasy team.
I had like an allergic reaction to something because that is
So
uncalled for.
Pulp Show 20 is the code to save with X Brand. The Lucid Goggle is finally out, and he'll be more in stock in a couple of weeks. So please check those guys out. Freddie Noren, also an X Brand athlete. You know who else is X Brand?
So it's out, but it's also out?
It's out.
Okay.
You can order it. You're just going to get back order for a week and a half, all right?
Okay.
You know who else is X Brand? Michael Lessie. He's back in X Brand. Not crushing the kicker arena cross like I thought he may.
He's like top 5, though.
Yeah.
Oh, he's second in points now.
He's like top 5.
What do you want from me?
He's top 5. He's beating the plumber.
He's been getting.
He's beating the guy that's a full-time plumber.
Rod Bell.
Yeah.
Battling a guy with dirt digit numbers.
This has not been the winner of Rod Bell.
Yeah, it's not been. These questions are submitted by Corey Moser. Anton, are you familiar?
We get a Christmas card, but I don't know who it's from.
Yeah.
Speaking of plumbers.
Yes.
Moser?
Yeah. All right, 30 seconds on the clock. Are you ready, Anton?
Mm-hmm.
None for you, Sean. Sorry.
That's all right.
No, it's not. I didn't realize you'd still be here. It's fine. Anton, if macaroni pizza is something you consider normal, what's the weirdest food you've tried?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really eat anything. I don't think it's crazy.
That's a really great answer for the show. Moving on.
That's a weird. I honestly, I don't know. Like
he's like
it's all
nothing's weird to me.
vegetarian
I
stuff.
eat
It's all
that.
vegetables.
I had cow tongue tacos in Guadalajara.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, JT. If the races were still 15 laps and 20 laps, who would that favor and who would that hurt?
It would help AC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It would hurt Webb.
Yeah.
All right, 4 seconds. Good job.
Get on, JT. Just on
I'll
it.
do my best work in about 4 seconds.
All right, Blair. Which has been your favorite and least favorite tracks so far this season?
Favorite, this last one, just because of the big jumps, the rhythm. I like when things are steeper, slower, bigger. Like, I loved it. Houston 1 or 2. I don't remember which one. Probably maybe the first one. I didn't think I liked very much.
All right, 17 seconds. Good job, Anton. X-Brand Goggle Tear-Offs. Can you recall a lapper impacting a race more so than Dino did with Roczen?
Chad.
Yeah, Chad on Dunge.
Yeah, I mean that was huge.
It was.
And deliberate.
Yeah.
All right. JT, are the ruts Saturday night even comparable to what you raced in the early 2000s?
The rhythm sections were, the corners would have been much ruddier back then. So, yeah, the rhythm sections reminded me of that. They were still worse back then. There was not near as much track work, and I give Feld a lot of credit because they will take the time to go out there now. Back then, it was like, yeah, we wish you the best of luck. There are medics over there and medics over there. If you're not here next week, we're moving on.
Remember the unseated practices where you were in them?
Yeah.
Were just the second unseated 450s was just a bomb going off.
But thankfully, there were no, times didn't count because you couldn't jump anything.
Yeah,
it was just yellow flags, and,
Right.
you'd look in the stands, and women are crying. You know, it's just a mess.
We did Worcester Arena Cross one year. That was so bad, and they had like 150 riders randomly to where there was like 15 practice. It was like A through P. And I remember being in one of the classes in the last one, never left the ground. And it was for a fast lap to get it. I didn't even make the night show because I didn't leave the ground one time because they did have a chance. And it was, you're scraping your pegs around the entire track with both feet out.
Yeah.
Steve and I were talking about it at Atlanta 1996. On press day, it was so ruddy that no one even doubled the triple. Rolled all 3 jumps. Like McGrath, 96 McGrath, rolling all 3 jumps of the triple. And you're just like, they pulled it together, track got better, but
moving on.
It's crazy.
Moving on. X-Brand goggles.
Nobody.
Lucid goggles.
We're going for a shorter show
now.
tonight. You'll be fine.
Blair, split up the blame pie for Craig and Jet.
Blame pie?
Yeah.
I mean, 95-5, Christian. I mean, Jet didn't do anything other than like lean in a little bit, but I mean, all right, okay, I get it.
All right.
95-5.
All right, Anton, last question for you on the X-Brand Goggle Tear-Offs. Now that you've moved back to St. Louis, are strip clubs better in Cali or back home?
Back home.
2 seconds.
Less
Good
rules
job.
or what?
Yeah, way less rules.
Do you go to East St. Louis?
Yeah, the first ever one that I ever went to, they just shut it down, though, a few weeks ago, so
PTs?
it's pretty sad. Yeah, in Centerville, yeah.
Nice.
It's sad.
JT, was it a good decision to shut it down?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like the place to go after the race.
It was a place to go,
back then.
yeah.
Was it a strip club or a bar that had the bucking bronco?
Both.
Oh, okay. There's a strip club I went to that had a bucking bronco.
No, there's like a cowboy something strip club that's just for that. I mean, that's perfect for the area. So that's where PTs is directing all their talent to now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Directing their talent.
It's like the farm league.
JT, who had a better comeback ride, Jet or Osborne?
Jet.
All right. 2 seconds. God, I feel like Moser's questions are off tonight. All right. Daniel, last question for you. Why are you required to wear a mask on TV while socially distanced from everyone standing alone on the track?
Sean. Take that one.
I mean, he's got a point.
Just say it's optics and move on.
It's just the rules, man. You think I like it? Like I had people are like, take your mask off, bro. Like mask lover. Like you think I love it? Like I can't wait.
It's the same. Okay, and this isn't my question, but it's the same reason that NFL players, when they're on the sidelines with everybody who tested negative that morning, still have to wear masks.
It's the rules. And Fly pays me a little.
29 seconds.
Much better to have your mask off.
Can you believe that, though? I understand the same thing, but the NFL, all these players tested that morning. They're negative. They're all together. They haven't left each other's sight all day. They're still on the sidelines. They still have to wear masks with everybody else that they've been with the whole time that all tested negative. Like, it makes no sense.
JT, it does. COVID is smart. And it will find a way to that sideline. That's why they got to wear them, okay?
Bonus question for you, included by Moser. What do you miss most about Ralph being gone?
Kind of all of it. I mean, Ralph's fun, man. He's just like, he kind of like lightens the mood. He's just he's big. He's got a big personality, so he made everything fun all the time. I do miss him.
He's not dead. Like, he's just.
I know that being around. Like, I don't know when I'm going to see him again.
You
Like,
see him at Chico at the Silver Cup this year.
Probably, huh?
100%.
Yeah, and because he's a NorCal guy, so if he comes out, I'd love to go see him. But just not having him here. It's the same thing with Jim. Like, not so much the performance part of the show.
Yeah.
It's everything else that I kind of miss.
I haven't noticed it because I haven't seen a race on TV yet.
You haven't?
No, I've been at all of them. By the time I got back, I worked all the way till I left for India again, and then here we are. I have no time to watch this stuff.
I watched 2 of them. 2 out of the 4. We've had 4? Yeah.
If I worked from home, I probably would get a chance to do that, but I don't.
I think Todd Harris is really good, and I think Lee Diffie are really good. I think they're both done really good
Everybody's
jobs.
good, man. Everyone gets hit ridiculously.
Lee's homework shows up.
Lee is.
I've seen clips.
Oh,
Right?
you have no idea. You have no
does-
idea. He's a machine. Like,
Yeah.
dude, he gave us
Just preparation wise.
Yeah, he gave us a report. He went back and watched every race from last year. Gave us a 17-round report, and he's like, "I know you guys already know this stuff, but I just want to let you know, like, this is the things that I'm like, you are an animal." But then again, you don't get to the Olympics and be the top, commentator for NBC Sports by just like being like okay at it. He's a machine.
Right.
Yep.
Personality-wise, like, good mix of guys, too, because, like, we know Todd from the ESPN days, and he's, like, young and all that stuff, so he has, like, that different voice, and then Lee's international, and everybody knows him from all of racing, so it brings, like, huge credibility in, too.
I'm proud of Ricky, too, because it's hard.
Huge. RC's killing it.
So the chemistry is the most important part of broadcasting and being who you're with, whatever. And Ricky's getting thrown up some curveballs right now. He's got Lee, then he's got Todd, and he get Lee, and Ricky is meshing with the guys the way they need to, and that's to me that's Ricky's biggest jump this year has been just chemistry with the team. He is really like figured out like how to glue this whole thing together. I think it's been good.
Michael Antonovich from Swap Moto Live, Daniel Blair from Eagle Grit, NBC Sports.
Yeah.
The pit party. From Race Day Live.
And the front gate.
Ticket taker. And he'll
30-second board boy.
30-second board
Power
boy.
washing off the tough blocks.
Yeah.
Are you going to be swabbing my nose on Thursday?
They said that's the one thing I can't do at a risk because think about if I'm gone, what happens then? They're like,
absolutely.
we can't let this guy get it.
Jason Thomas from Fly Racing also. So Eagle Grit, Daniel, too, by the way.
Yeah.
You're back more hands-on with Eagle Grit than you were before. And so, PulpMX code still works?
Still works.
Okay.
I would ask everybody to maybe wait till the off week to buy. I'm having a really hard time keeping up. You don't have people often come on and tell you to not buy from them.
Yeah.
But if you could just wait until the off week and then hit it hard, I would love that. But no, it's definitely more. I'm doing a lot more now than I was before, which is hard because I'm here. But it's going great. The business is doing fantastic, and it's going to be an exciting year, but just got to get through Supercross. It's really tough right now.
Right, absolutely. Michelin Motorcycle Tires, Randy Richardson, of course, FMIP, a great follow on social media, on Instagram. Would you not agree, Anton?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic
Great.
follow. Motorcycle.michelinman.com. Starcross 5s, I used them at the World Vet this past year. Did not go as well as I wanted it to, but still, Starcross 5s hooked up on the Blue Crew bike, very good. Now available in sizes for 50 cc's and up. The Michelin Enduro Extreme tire, of course. They got the Commander 3 touring tires. Mountain bike tires, official mountain bike of the PulpMX wrap-up show, by the way, also. I don't know if you guys knew that, but there's a wrap-up show with the pony guy.
I've been on it.
Yeah, you've been on
Half
it.
pony guy.
Yeah, half pony.
He really did cut it, didn't he?
He cuts it every so often and he donates it, so it's not that like he's trying to claim it's this big deal. He does it all the time. He does it every few years. So like, stop claiming it. Stop it.
I'm making a big deal because it's new to me. I saw the photo.
He asked to raise money for privateers to cut, and I said, cut it all off. And he's like, no, I want to cut like a 12 inches off. I'm like, don't you cut 12 inches anyways? He said, yeah. I said, well, that's not doing it.
Right.
All the way or nothing on the pony pod.
So who's he donating it to?
Locks of Love.
Locks of Love. Okay.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him.
Could you imagine being a little kid and then you just given Darkside's pony as your wig? Like,
I can't. No.
I would just have it as a skull. I just tape that thing right on the back.
The things that pony has seen.
The things that pony has had happen to it and with it. That's why, like, we just saying, we left him in the press box in Houston by himself, but I'm like, no, he's got his pony. We didn't leave him there alone. He's got his pony.
You know how trees, like every year that it gets bigger, there's a ring on the inside.
Yeah.
Every year there's like the Bradshaw crash is one strand.
Yeah. So if he perished in an accident, they could look at his hair
and just timeline it.
And timeline it, be like, oh, this is from 86. This is 94. You can see this is 94. He ate a lot of In and Out this year.
Look, Pantera farewell tour.
Hey,
Writings on a tree.
To be fair, there's a whole lot of 86 going on with the hair. That's straight from the 80s.
Right, this is full of marijuana. Heavy concert year this year for the pony.
He must have went to a lot of shows that
this
year.
One's a little bit more sun bleach. Must have been working outside.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of privateers, the Yamaha LCQ Challenge, we are doing that again. And Kade Clayson's coming up here shortly. And the man, he's doing really well in that thing. So $20 is a ticket. We are giving away a brand new 2021 YZ 450, courtesy of the folks at Yamaha. We got a couple generators for second prize. I want to thank the Yamaha guys for doing this. And we go all the way back to like 19 or 20 places. Kade got $30,000 last year for doing this. So hopefully we can keep raising that kind of money for the privateer guys. And all the guys who don't make the main events. And the way Kade rode at Houston 3, you could accuse him of maybe taking a dive for this money because that LCQ was not good. You think Kade was taking a dive?
No,
for
but
the
I
points?
would. For 30K?
Yes.
I would.
Right.
No problem.
Right. Racetech Rant, Pulp20 is the Pulp21 is the code to save with Racetech, racetech.com. Great guys down there. They sponsor a bunch of things at Swap Moto Live, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Racetech, they've got your motor work done, get your suspension work dialed in, and thank the guys at Racetech. Chris Blows, Zombie Blows coming up using Racetech for the Motul gas?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Motul AJE.
Yeah,
Gas.
Gas.
Right, yeah, AJ. Yeah, they're no longer Gas Monkey.
No.
That'd have been weird.
They lost a monkey and they gained a gas.
Did you see Falk broke his femur?
I saw that.
That sucks.
And
Mitchell Falk?
yeah.
Yeah.
Derek Drake also. That was a while ago.
That was a while ago, yeah.
Yep. So Race Tech rant of the night. I forgot to ask you guys to bring a rant, but certainly think of something while I'm going. My rant is I don't know what to do in this social situation, and maybe you guys can help me here. So we're at an undisclosed location deep in the heart of Indianapolis here. They have a Starbucks here, and it is in a skywalk that is accessible for like 2 or 3 hotels. So there was a volleyball tournament or a gymnastics tournament going on this weekend here. And so I woke up in the morning, I made my trek to Starbucks, and it's a long ass line. Like I'm waiting 20, 25 minutes. I even tried to Uber Eats me a Starbucks. It would have been
just deliver it to you in line.
Done it. I've done it. I've done that, but it would have been just as long. It was like 25-minute drive, right? So I'm like, okay, I can't do that. It's too far to walk to one. It's too cold and far to walk to one. So I'm stuck in this line. Whatever. I'm going to do my job and just wait in line, read my phone. And but all these people, they know each other, the gymnasts and the volleyball people, and they're all like parents and daughters and whatever else.
It's cutting the line.
They're fucking cutting the line, JT. Or like people are going in, oh, hey, can you get me a brrr, and giving them a list.
Oh.
And I'm fuming. I don't know what's the etiquette here? Like, I feel like literally, like, lady, I saw you talking to your friend and I saw you side-eyeing the line.
Everyone else, yeah.
I saw you side-eyeing the line, and then I saw you just didn't move. You just merged. You didn't move. I saw that. And this happened 2 days in a row. And I'm not kidding you. This extended my Starbucks wait by probably 10 minutes from all of these people. And I don't know what to do. I almost said something. Pookie said, do never say anything.
No, you freak out like Walter Sobchak in The Big Lebowski. At the diner, you completely lose your shit.
Men died face down in the
muck.
muck.
In front of everybody, yes.
I'm finishing my coffee.
I'm finishing my coffee.
Take it further than you even felt just to get the point across.
But what's the etiquette for that, for real?
People are looking at you, man.
Yeah.
What's the etiquette for that?
Take the mask off, cough, and half will scatter.
Coughing and sneezing
Sneezing would be more impactful.
Ultimate party foul.
It's unbelievable. I was on my flight here, and I sneezed, and I felt so bad.
Like emergency landing.
I had to look down for like 20 minutes.
We're bringing us down.
Door opens up, grabs me, throws me out.
Is there a doctor on board?
Do not do it.
It's gotten to the point, and it was funny.
The tattooed guy in 4B. Call him out.
I have harmed myself stopping a sneeze before. Like, I cut off all air exiting or entering my body to make sure the sneeze did not happen.
Like, what do I do? What's the move?
You just yell.
Honestly,
do you really?
Yes.
I would
over
say
the line. I can't. Sean, what do you do? What do I do? You just got to take it.
Man, that's a tough one.
My wife is like, you do not say anything, but I'm like,
tough one.
She's way too nice though.
I don't mind. Like even one person. Like I get it. Okay, but dude, I'm talking multiple 4 to 5 people either cutting or giving orders to their friends. Like at the till. Like the first time, the lady's at the till. I'm 2 back. I'm almost there. I can just taste it. I can smell it. And the lady, her friend is over here, and she's having to turn around like she's a Price is Right contestant. Like, huh? A latte? Huh? A latte? And then like, so she's yelling her order, and the girl's turning around and relaying it to the Starbucks lady. This is all taking way too long. I'm fucking losing it.
I mean, the only thing I can say is like what I did. All right, because I do have a solution for you. So what I did, because we had some of those folks in our undisclosed location as well. So it was race day. So that was Saturday. So same thing. I came down and the line was.
Were you at this one?
Not at this one.
Yeah, there's one in here.
We have one as well. So very, very similar thing. So I just went and bought 2 Keurigs, and I put one in the press box and I put one in the photo den. And now I got coffee everywhere I go, buddy.
So this morning I walked down there and I was just fuming, and I walk in and not a soul
They're
to be
gone.
seen. They're gone.
Yeah,
Monday morning they're gone.
My hotel too, little walkway over, same thing.
None of you are offering me, like, you just take it, I guess. you just take it up the ass.
That's a tough one, man.
Do you want to be that guy on Twitter?
Right.
I don't.
I mean, you don't think that a 17-year-old girl with an iPhone would just be like, Psst, I got
Every
him.
one of
Yeah,
them.
but I got this motherfucker.
Every
But
one
why?
of them.
But
Look at
why
this.
would you
Hey,
have to?
I'm wearing a fly sweatshirt too, JT. So like, would have
Okay,
been.
you get us on first or inside edition.
Okay, all right.
Totally good with that.
Might get a raise. Now, honestly, it's all about delivery. Just say, hey, I feel that's kind of rude. I've been waiting here a long time. Can we just follow the line here? If you say it in a way that's decently polite, people will be like scared.
You stare straight ahead. You do not eye anyone, and you just repeat over and over, there's a line. There is a line. And you don't look at anybody, and they will think you are crazy and about to go postal
You're
on
like Jack
everybody in that
Nicholson in The
line, and
Shining.
they will fall in line.
You're like Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Here's Johnny.
I was so mad.
JT wants you to just go complete ham. He
You
has,
have to.
There's no strategy other than pure nutty.
There's only so much you can take, Steve.
Do you have a rant? Do you have anything? Race
I
tech
don't
rant.
really rant.
Daniel, anything's been bugging you lately?
Not really, but I'm frustrated for you because
thank you.
I that is annoying.
Yeah.
You do that. So I'm just gonna join your rant
Thank
with you and say that's bullshit.
Yep, thank you. Anton?
I've been by myself. The only person I don't like is me. I'm just chilling.
Sean, do you have a rant about the press demanding food? Is that your rant?
No, that's par for the course.
Okay.
You know, there's always something. So no rant there.
All right, race tech rant of the night. That's my race tech rant. It's absolutely insane. I don't know even.
I feel like sometimes your rants are like they're frustrating, but it's not rant worthy. That was rant worthy.
Yeah,
like that is annoying.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful. To be honest,
and again.
It is.
I understand it happens, and I understand one person doing it. Like, cool, dude. It was just a parade of motherfuckers coming in and seeing their friends and just going with the line.
Well, if you would have went nutty after the first one,
yeah.
Number 2 through 10 wouldn't have happened, huh, JT?
When the lady was yelling from 15 feet away to her friend, and her friend was turning to her, turning to the Starbucks, getting. If I would have had like
Did you say no whip?
Yeah,
Did you say no whip?
Yeah. Whip or no whip? And then the barista's like, whip? Like, yeah, like I was so mad. And my wife is like, you can't say anything. You can't say a word. And I'm like, really?
About 8
Like,
a.m.
nothing?
tomorrow, I'm going to start peppering him with texts.
Yeah.
You can't let this shit slide, Steve. If you don't take a stand here, what's next? Where do we draw the line?
Men down, face down. Men dive
Absolutely.
face down in the muck.
If you can't stand for this, you'll fall for anything.
Unbelievable. Absolutely. That's the Race Tech Rant of the Night. I want to thank Kenny Roczen, Sean Brennan, Michael Antonovich, Daniel Blair, Jason Thomas for coming in, of course, on the show. Our folks at Decal Works, a big part of our show. Custom graphics are coming for our own Chris Kiefer. Can't wait to see what those guys do for that. For over 30 years, Decal Works has led the industry in quality and customer service by offering the best custom graphics, plastics, seat covers, rider ID products. Decal Works official license with Honda, Yamaha, Kawi, Suzuki, KTM, Husqvarna, and Gas. The expert staff will go above and beyond to make sure your questions are answered. They got a quick turnaround as well. They're a proud sponsor of the Red Bull KTM team. PulpMX code to save 20% off your custom graphics, decalmx.com. Use the code PulpMX to receive 20% off your custom graphics. Thanks to those guys. And Firepower, as I mentioned, Justin Brayton is using Firepower. And his whole team is the Muck-Off Honda team, along with Chiz and A-Ray. God, what about A-Ray's crash? Did you get it on camera?
No, I saw it. Jesus Christ. Did you see the bike? Have
No.
you seen the picture of the frame?
The frame, yeah.
And he couldn't have landed on a worse spot. Like, good thing that the front wheel was up.
Now, he sent me a video of the crash Vince had, and that was big. Vince just did a catapult.
From the front, there's a video from the front where it comes down and all you see is bike and you're like, where is he? And then he's over in the corner by himself, just flying down.
Vince got so lucky. He could have, that's a broken ankle or leg or whatever. But
He's had some big ones.
He has, right?
Dude, big ones.
He's crashed a lot.
Houston, he had a big one.
Yep.
That heat race, too.
Right. And then he's, let his bike.
or the practice, busted his hip up pretty good.
Oh, I missed that one. I saw the aftermath, but I didn't see the actual crash.
He's not like that, which is weird.
No,
I saw him at the Madeira Supercross.
Madtown, yeah.
Honestly,
he dominated the Madtown.
Maybe
right?
the best I've ever seen him. Like, he was a rock. And then, he's had some. I mean, he's stacking them up almost every race. I don't know. It's a little out of character.
Well, anyways, Alex Ray using Firepower, Chiz using Firepower, the Muck-Off Honda guys, JT, the Firepower guys, part of the WPS thing. They're crushing it right now. Their sales are great.
Brand is exploding.
Firepower committed to offering superior products with over 50 years of experience in the industry. Don't waste money when replacing OEM batteries or chains when you get more power and supreme reliability by choosing Firepower. Featherweight lithium batteries are all backed by a 2-year warranty. Ask your local shop for Firepower parts today. Thank you to those guys for coming on board. All right, so looking into Indy 2, this is a big weekend for Christian Craig. We talked about. It's also a big weekend for Barsha.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to him. JT's talked about it, how he didn't look good all day. Very interested to see if he can rebound. Because was it dirt/bike setup? Was it just an off night? Like he crashed in the first turn, so shit happens. But he wasn't like he was killing it. You know?
What are those things that they give the football players before you go out and play?
Smelling salts.
Yeah, I hit him with that.
Yeah.
I hit him with a branding iron. I something, right? I get him fired up.
He was fired off with his karate kicks.
Oh, man, that was so
nice.
cool.
That was great. Sean, you saw that?
It was like 300. You know, this is Sparta.
Hilarious.
Kick, front kick.
But
it was so instinctual.
It was.
Well, it's
Like-
really scary. I have 2 broken fingers, 1 dislocated, and they almost amputated one by grabbing a spinning tire.
Yeah.
Right. So it was
Yep.
by far the safest move. I'm glad he did that. Anytime you're reaching your hands onto a motorcycle that's moving is a really bad idea.
Yeah, good point.
So he did the right thing.
But what do you think, Anton? Big weekend for Barsha or big race for Barsha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's got to do something good to get back into this. And to what JT said, he never looked right the whole day. Clanking rhythms, wasn't that quick, just looked off.
Yep.
Starts too. I mean, he obviously goes down there and that ruins everything. But I watched him after that just when I could, and he just, to me, looked like he was just overriding, like just trying too hard.
Yeah.
And it wasn't casing jumps and making mistakes because he was like screwing around out there. He was just trying too hard. So I don't know if he needs to bring it back a little bit to clean it up. I hope he's not thinking I need to bring more on Tuesday. Like I think it needs to come backwards a little bit, you know?
Yeah, don't bring more.
He was just going for it and it wasn't working. So I felt like he was overriding.
Right. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. I'm watching Craig and I'm watching Barsha to see if they can, get back into this thing and not back into it because we know that, they're into it. But as far as getting back into the mix, as far as podiums and that kind of stuff, or in Craig's case, getting back into wins for sure. So that'll be interesting to watch for. Also on the Marvin Muscan part, has he crashed more this year than he has in the last 2 years combined?
It's got to be close.
God,
there's been 6 or 8 crashes so far in 4 rounds.
I wonder if it's just the missing. I don't think it's the missing the year thing. But
bad starts are a factor.
Right.
He's back in an area he's not used to. I mean, last year he wasn't there, but before that, he was always a 1, 2, 3 guy, always up there. He was one of them. He's in an area he's never been.
Guys
really
do things that you're not expecting back there.
I mean,
they do.
The one wall he fell on. I think he's just like confused, like what is going on back here because he's never really been back there.
The wall's got him in Houston too.
Yeah.
It's funny, Chad. When we were super tight and spent all of our time together, and he got a couple bad starts back then, and I remember him like the next week going, "What are you guys doing back there?" He's like, "I was terrified of the things and the decisions you guys were making," and I'm like, "Don't blame me. Like I'm just back here with him. I'm thinking the same thing you are. As what are you guys doing?"
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But he was mind blown at the decision making process that was happening back there. And if you look at Kade's not here, but the mistakes Kade has made in the LCQs, the weekly trauma that Alex Ray goes through, you can start to see some of the things of why he would be saying that.
Yeah.
It's a scary place back there. There's a lot of effort, maybe a little more effort than skill going on there in the back.
There should be charges pressed sometimes for what goes on back there. Like the police should be involved.
Probably have been.
Well, yeah,
probably have been.
Yeah, it's mayhem back there.
I
So.
think Wonder Warthog tried to press charges a couple times against me.
Daniel had the cape.
I think
Did
I
you know
passed
that,
the statute
Anton?
of limitations.
LBZ and the cape.
And the cape.
Yeah.
The kit.
Yeah.
I bet I have that email somewhere.
With you getting in trouble?
Yeah, he was going to sue me.
Mm-hmm.
Sue me for what? It was like Rocky.
Yeah.
I had no money.
Right.
Sue me for what?
Go ahead, take my money, right? Maxima USA, favorite Maxima product, Anton?
A contact cleaner.
Okay.
That's
all right.
that works really, really well. Probably shouldn't use it to wash my hands.
No,
Should
probably not.
use Eagle Grit, but,
Yep. Yeah, I hear you.
And we've been missing that shipment.
Right. Favorite Maxima product for you?
The chain lube probably, or the chain guard. Which one's the gray one?
Chain guard.
Chain guard.
Yep. JT?
SC1.
Maxima 4-stroke oil. They got an all new formula with entirely new system called the Peak system. Performance enhancing additive chemistry, unique and exclusive to Maxima. Monster Energy Cowie, Pro Circuit Cowie using Maxima USA. They also have the 927 oil. It's the #1 selling performance 2-stroke oil in most markets around the world. MaximaUSA.com. Experience the difference from Maxima. Cowie, Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, KTM, Husqvarna, and more. Pulp 20 is the code to save with Maxima. Thanks to those guys for coming on board. And again, we're going to go to commercial break here. Jason Thomas, Daniel Blair, Michael Antonovich, myself, Steve Mathis. Sean, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it, man. Always fun. Probably need you again for the Orlando show or something. We'll figure that out. And
absolutely,
we're gonna do these things remotely for a little bit. But yeah, thanks for coming in.
I like having Sean in because I think they're for the person that's at home that maybe they get to go to a race once a year, maybe not. Right? They watch this; it's their favorite sport. But there's this corporate giant that is Feld, and they do a great job bringing these races. And I can't imagine the hurdles they've had to go to bring this series.
Yep.
But there's so many questions they probably have, and there's really no one that's answering them a lot of times. So having Sean here to share their trials and tribulations and the hurdles they go through, I think it adds a nice element for a lot of people that maybe don't know, right? We take a lot for granted.
Yeah.
We hear things, we talk to people, but for that person sitting at home, this is a great opportunity for them to hear that side.
Oh, I agree.
No, and I agree too, and I appreciate you bringing me in and inviting me. I always love coming in and hanging with you guys. Appreciate everything that you do for the sport, Steve. But JT,
just me though, not Anton, right?
No.
Yeah.
Is he here? Oh, no. Oh, there he is. Oh, no.
He's hanging with Eli.
Yeah.
But JT, to your point, we're people too. Right. And I do understand that sometimes, there is that perception, I like to call it, it's like Gotham, right? It's big corporate. It's Gotham,
Right.
Nobody listens. And, it's just this big corporate thing, but that's not the case.
Yep.
We are all people that love this sport, love this racing, take our role in the sport as being the stewards of it very, very seriously. So, no, I appreciate you bringing me on. I always have a great time with you guys. Any questions and as transparent as we can be is really what we want to be. So thank you.
No problem. Thank you guys for getting this thing off and for hosting it. And thanks for the Keurig.
Please don't get Steve food. Please.
Why would you say that?
Because
why would you say that?
This is awesome. You can't get everything you want. You can't always have everything you want.
He wants the best coverage of the sport. The best coverage would help him with a belly that was full.
That's
the bottom line.
That is a great point.
You don't. If I get hungry, I get grouchy. When I get grouchy, I start tweeting things that maybe aren't real, or maybe aren't true.
Let's not have that.
Supercross sucks.
The first word of is Feld. That's not.
Yeah. I start tweeting things.
Can I just bring you bananas?
God damn it.
Yeah,
I guess
you pretty much walked into that,
I
Steve.
did kind of screw myself over with that. Absolutely. I'll take it. But stick around, everybody, for this commercial break. We'll be right back. Kade Clayson is going to come in. We will cover that LCQ and much more with him. Thanks for listening, everybody, and enjoy this commercial break. Why don't you?
Those who love motocross know Motorsport.com has the knowledge and expertise to make your next ride your best ride. Motorsport.com has a broad selection of in-stock parts and gear at competitive prices. We specialize in bringing you OEM and aftermarket parts, riding gear, and accessories for dirt bikes, motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs. All thanks to the most dedicated and experienced team of gearheads in the industry who use the very parts we sell on Motorsport.com. Motorsport.com always offers fast shipping and free delivery on orders more than $79 to ensure you never miss a ride. Whether you race on the track, ride the trails, or commute on the street, shop Motorsport.com today for the best customer service and experience when buying the parts and gear you need to stay on 2 and 4 wheels. Make your next ride your best ride, only at Motorsport.com.
Steve.
Kiefer.
Do you want to hear about one of the best rides I've ever had?
Dude, it's not time for After Dark yet.
Chill down, dude. I just want to talk about race tech stuff.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Gosh, man. Basically, I've had the chance to do some stuff with race tech recently with the CRF 250R and, of course, the KX 250. And as you know, I've talked about on the show, I wasn't a real hardcore fan of race tech stuff back in the day. But since Rob and Andrew and those guys have assembled at race tech, the stuff has been great. So for you guys out there listening, if you guys are looking to get your engine work done or even some suspension work, or as Steven says on the show sometimes, get your seals and your oil rebuilt in your fork and shock. Get it rebuilt. It helps. 15 to 20 hours. Head over to racetech.com. Check out. They even got a cool little simulator You can look at what size spring rate you might need for your bike. So a lot of cool features over there on the website. But and as you know, Yamaha Blue Crew guy over here, you guys have some of that on your bike?
It's fantastic. Zombie Blows uses it. Jerry Robin uses it. Starling, all of those guys over there. Malcolm Stewart won a Supercross with Race Tech stuff a few years ago. Pulp19 is the code to save. Mention PulpMX when you call. You can save on the service. You can save on motor work. You can save on springs if you just want to do that and get it put in yourself or do it yourself. Race Tech is the one-stop shopping for motor and suspension work. You can also mention the code HOMELIFE2020.
That's better. That's a better code, I think.
We'll do either one. Just listen, people. Give your bike some love. Get your suspension modified service. Get your motor modified serviced with the folks at Race Tech.
Good people.
Want a chain and sprocket kit but aren't sure what you need? Then call Vortex EK at 800-440-3559 and get hooked up with the right sprocket and chain kit for your bike. With more than 30,000 possible gearing combinations, Vortex EK has more gearing than your garage has room for. It's a ridiculous amount of gearing for nearly any bike. Join the ranks of Star Racing Yamaha and Supercross champion Dylan Ferrandis and run a Vortex sprocket. Available in red, blue, black, orange, silver, and Kawasaki green.
Yes, green. Call a doctor because things just got sick.
Warning may cause extraordinary power, excessive performance, and speed so fast your eyes will bleed.
Call Vortex EK at 800-440-3559 and mention promo code PulpMX 2021 and get the best deal on your next order.
Maxima Racing Oils was created for world-class racers who challenge the limits of possibility. Their demands on equipment drive us to look beyond conventional ideas and to exceed industry standards. It's in our DNA to identify problems, formulate solutions, and execute at the highest levels of competition. Case in point, the championship-winning factory Kawasaki race team, longtime Maxima partners who extensively use Maxima throughout the bike. Maxima's USA-made products exceed JSO requirements and can be used in all motorcycle brands: Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, KTM, Husqvarna, and more. Maxima Racing Oils. Experience the difference. Visit MaximaUSA.com for more information.
Hey, Pulp Nation, Andy from Guts Racing. We are the leaders in seat technology. We feel like for any need that you have with your seat, we've got you covered. For 2021, we're going to be adding more colors to our product line, and we're going to be adding more merchandise to our product line. Also new for 2021, we've expanded our distribution through motorsportoutlet.com. So please support the people that support Pulp. Support Guts Racing and also support motorsportoutlet.com. Hope to see you guys at the track soon. Once again, this is Andy Gregg from Guts Racing. Thanks again to Pulp Nation for all the support.
FMF Racing is proud to celebrate over 45 years of fun, building every FMF exhaust right here in the USA. Owner and founder Don Emler may have started FMF Racing in his garage 45 years ago, but Don is still hands-on in our 100,000 square foot state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in Southern California. FMF's goal? Design and manufacture the world's best performance exhausts 100% in the USA under one roof. FMF is a proud sponsor of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship for over 25 years.
Hi, it's Tomax Superfan Dylan here. The only thing I love more than seeing Eli win is Michelin motorcycle tires. And Michelin is introducing many exciting new tires for 2020. For V-twin riders, the Michelin Commander 3 Cruiser and the Michelin Commander 3 Touring tires offer improved wet grip and enhanced tread life. For sport bike and track day riders, the Michelin Power 5 tire and the Michelin Power GP tires feature the same architecture and profile for effortless sport bike setup from street to track. If you'd like to have the same tire that won the 2019 Red Bull Aresburg Rodeo, the Michelin Enduro Extreme tire is the tire for you. And the Michelin Starcross 5 tire range is now available for young motocross and off-road riders in sizes for 50cc bikes and up. To learn more about these and all other Michelin two-wheel products, check out www.motorcycle.michelinman.com. Visit your local dealer or online retailer and follow at Michelin Motorcycle on Instagram and Facebook.
Hey guys, it's Mathis. Look, if you're still not wearing a neck brace in 2020, it's time to go get one or at least think seriously about it. It's been over 15 years since the neck braces first came out. They're not the clunky, oversized devices they used to be. Atlas came in and changed the way all neck braces were designed by introducing flexible technology to the world and proving that neck braces can be something you can actually ride in while performing at the highest level. Look at Jason Anderson winning Supercross championships, or look at Martin Davalos or anybody else. Don't take my word for it just because I have 2 Manitoba championships to my name. Wait, I have 4. Just look at how many other brace designs look like the Atlas one. Atlas pioneered all the modern neck brace features and have been refining them ever since then, while the competition has been trying to catch up. Grab the brace that's been leading the pack. Check out atlasbrace.com. Get yours today. There is a Pulp discount if you check out sponsordeals.com on pulpmxshow.com. So be like Chase Sexton, Martin Davalos, and many other guys and wear the Atlas brace. atlasbrace.com.
For over 30 years, DecalWorks has led the industry in quality and customer service by offering the best custom motocross graphics, plastics, seat covers, and rider ID products. DecalWorks is officially licensed with Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, KTM, Husqvarna, and GasGas. Their expert staff will go above and beyond to make sure that your questions are answered. Quality, service, and knowledge. DecalWorks is a proud sponsor of Red Bull KTM Factory Racing and the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Off-Road Team. Visit decalmx.com. Use promo code PulpMX to receive 20% off your custom graphics.
Our guys at Works Connection have always been there for the PulpMX show, and they're there for you as well. They're just as passionate, as dedicated to the sport as you are. For over 30 years, Works Connection has been designing and producing innovative products like the Pro Launch Start Device, the 123 Easy Build Elite Perch, Elite Axle Blocks, and much, much more. You'll find Works Connection products on AMA Pro Riders bikes under the canopies of Team Honda, HRC, Star Racing, Smart Top Honda, as well as top teams and privateers alike. The best part of this deal is PulpMX20 code saves you money at WorksConnection.com. Stop by your local outlet and check out the new lineup of Works Connection products for 2021. I've got the Perch on my bike. I've got the engine plugs. I absolutely love it. Great product. I've got the Start Device as well, which helped me in one moto at the World Vet Championships, and one moto not so much. WorksConnection.com. PulpMX20 is the code to save. Please check them out. All new 2021 products now available. Thanks for listening.
Over 65 years ago, Vertex Pistons was born out of a small technical workshop in northern Italy's famous Motor Valley. Expanding and maturing among the racing legends of Ferrari, Lamborghini, MV Agusta, and Ducati. Today, Vertex Pistons are the pistons of choice for motorcycle riders and teams throughout the world. Because of their renowned reputation for exceptional quality, Vertex Pistons is a factory piston supplier to KTM, Husqvarna, Beta, GasGas, and TM. From the Motocross, Supercross, MXGP, GNCC, National, and World Enduro Series, you can find Vertex Pistons winning championships. Vertex Pistons strives to provide you with world-class factory technology at a very competitive price. No matter which brand of bike you ride, when it's time to rebuild your top end, Vertex Pistons will have your engine performing better than new. To see our full range of 2-stroke and 4-stroke pistons in replica, high compression, or GP-style configurations, visit us at vertexpistons.com or stop into your local dealer and ask for a Vertex piston kit today.
Yeah, coming at you. PulpMX Show, motorsport.com, Decal Works, and the folks at Fly Racing on board with us. I want to thank Sean Brennan from Feld coming in. Always a good time, and I'm looking forward to that great buffet he will have for me probably for tomorrow or the next race. So it'll be great. Thanks to Sean Brennan and Jason Thomas.
Daniel, one thing I would be shocked. They don't do this for us, but every time, and I know you see this too because I always see it, when you go in the press boxes, can you imagine what it's like there for an NFL game?
Yeah.
You see all the things laid out.
Yeah.
The drink machines, there's espresso machines. None of it's on for us.
One time, the Metrodome, that Dunge Villapoto race, when we went back to the Metrodome, there was a buffet in the press box. Like a nacho buffet.
Really?
Oh, and Wygant was just going to
We
town.
get a little bit of it for Vegas. A little touch of it.
True, we get a touch of it. A little whiff of it. It's like Rome.
There's a Coke machine at Daytona. Yeah, it's hooked up. You got the mellow yellow pumping.
I didn't know. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Dallas,
yeah,
the water
yeah.
works. On the drink machine, the water works.
Do you remember Glendale where they had a buffet for the workers and stuff, but then like Moser was going in there and just grabbing beers?
Yes.
Or who else was grabbing beers?
Who knows? But yes, I do remember Moser doing that.
Right,
yeah. And I
right.
was yelling at him.
Right.
Because I think he was...
Was he drunk?
I think he was maybe doing my VIP program. Maybe his dad was. And I kept yelling, I'm like, you can't do that. And he's like, it's fine.
All right, welcome in one of our favorite guests of the show. He's a co-host sometimes with me. He's a privateer hero. Kade Clayson, what's up, buddy? How are you?
What's up, Steve?
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I feel like this is going to be like a shit on Kade segment for
yeah.
our text yesterday.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, just because I invited Steve to dinner. And he's like, oh, I can't. I'm already going with you guys. And I was like, oh, okay, just give me some LCQ tips. And he's like, oh, that's harsh. And I'm like, well, they just knew how to get the job done.
Yeah,
now I'm here, and I'm just like, gosh.
We've been gearing up all day.
He threw it at you two. And I'm like, whoa.
I didn't mean they were like me and
know.
A-Ray, but
I know. First of all, though, a couple things with the Race Tech rant. First of all, I'll start with you, Daniel. You have something.
I have a second rant for you.
Yes.
And I don't even know if I want to do this, but I feel like I have to now because I started it. But I'm looking at these 250 East results, the point standings. There are some riders in this top 20 that are going to have very low numbers next year, Steve. I think Thomas Doe could end up in the mid-30s possibly next year.
Jesus Christ. Can you imagine? Like, national number 35, Grant Harlan, come on down. Like,
Doe has 47 after 4.
And will they change the rule because of that? No, they won't. What a shit show rule. It's the worst rule in the sport.
Jeremy Hand might get a permanent number.
Imagine that, Kate. Imagine Jeremy Hand getting a permanent number and you're just like, struggling to get 1 point, right? Like, what a joke.
it's definitely shitty. It's a terrible rule.
It's a terrible rule.
Especially this year because
any year. I mean, Kyle Cunningham, I don't know, it wasn't Cunningham. Somebody got fourth one time in the 250 East when it was ravaged by injuries a few years ago. And I was like, come on, man.
Hate to make this worse, Steve.
I mean, last year with Swole and Shimoda.
Right. Yeah.
Third and fourth.
I'm looking at the 450 results. Freese is the highest positioned rider that doesn't have a permanent. He has 21 points. That would put him 19th in the 250 East, right behind Carno, in front of Albright.
Oh, my God, dude.
So now, as numbers run, it would be Carno, number 31.
Yeah.
And Freese.
Yeah.
The only saving grace of this will be outdoors.
Right.
That separates it. It evens things out a bit. But right now, it's
Vince doesn't do outdoors. So
no, but I'm saying all those guys
generally,
catch up.
Yeah, I know. It's just a joke. What a joke of a rule.
But Harlan got 76 just off of outdoor, right? He didn't do no Supercross last year.
No, he did Supercross last year.
He did.
Okay.
He didn't
he was
make many
Tyler.
mains.
Didn't make any mains, though?
He did make some, but
he did?
not
He
all
was
of them.
good in 450 outdoors, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's got number 76. So if he keeps it up and then has a good outdoor, he will be in the 30s. No question.
Number 12 from Hawaii.
Fucking worst fucking rule.
Grant Harlan.
And then the other coast is just incredibly stacked.
Yeah.
It's going to be gnarly. It's going to be a 450 class.
Easy on that. Well, Daniel will tell us on stacked coast or not.
Oh, right.
Daniel will be the
I'll
judge
let you
of
know
that.
on press day.
Expert.
Trust me.
Cade, so you had a situation similar to my Starbucks?
Similar. I was at Walmart.
Yeah.
And I was checking out the self-checkout. And everyone does self-checkout now. I mean, it's like Walmart redid the thing, and it's really nice. And I'm like 5th or 6th in line. But when I was walking up, I noticed that there were 2 things open. And there was an older lady up there. And I was like, hey, there's a thing open if you want to go take it, because the line was super long. And she's like, oh, thank you. And walked over and started checking out. And I'm standing in line, and I'm behind this mom. And she's got her kid in her cart. And there's 3 other people in front of us. And this guy comes walking behind all the checkout things, and he's looking, and then he just plows into this lady's cart and then just starts cutting everyone in line. And she goes, excuse me, there's a line. And he's like, yeah, but there's an open one. And there's 2 other people in front of her. And she's like, well, why don't you just tell him? And he's like, nah. And we're in a line thing, with sides, and he's plowing through people. I'm like, hey, bro, you need to chill out and go to the back. And he's like, F off, dude. I'm just doing this. And he just plowed through everyone. And by the time he got to the front, the lady who was at the front saw it was open and it was gone.
Oh, nice. But he got the next one.
Yeah, he got the next one. And it was like the lady and I both yelled at him and we were like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like the line was like, I was last in line at this point. Like no one else had gotten in.
When the days when the airports were full, if I saw an open machine for check-in, I would go up there and be like, there's one open. Like there's one, I won't go take it.
Yeah.
But excuse me, person at the front who's super stupid, that one is open. You know what I mean? I'm one of those guys. Because let's move this thing around. Like the people are just clueless, right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you're
that's ballsy of that guy, though.
Oh, for sure. And it was like just incredibly rude.
That would have been JT's advice for me for what to do. Like,
yeah,
just
start yelling at people.
Go ham.
I'm the person that if there's like a wreck and no one can move, I just lay on my horn the whole time. I'm so pissed. Like, everybody move. Like, yeah,
Right,
I'm that
right,
guy.
Right. All right. Yeah. No, it's amazing. So, I was so pissed, Kade. I was so angry.
I was upset too.
Thank you.
What did Pookie want you to do? Just nothing? Just take it?
She said you have to. You got to just take it.
Nope.
You can't say anything. You can't say anything.
Fold. Just fold like a coward. That's what you did. You just folded.
To all the moms and their volleyball daughters.
Dude, it was an
They're spiking
infestation
on you.
here.
They're just spiking on you.
Yeah.
They were everywhere.
Everywhere. Did you drive
Everywhere.
somewhere and it's just like tall girls and their mom and dad just walking down the sidewalk everywhere?
Pretty intimidating for a man of my stature. Volleyball gazelles. They're like 13 years old. They're like 6'3".
I guess my brother was here and he's 16. He was introducing them in the elevator. He's like introducing them to every tall girl that he saw because he's taller than I am. And he's like just introducing them like, this is my son Reese. Like he was so embarrassed.
There was one girl and she had her Letterman's jacket on, so it had her graduation year on there. I'm like, that kid wasn't even alive in 2000. Holy shit. Like completely, yeah. I forget how young these people are now.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's tough. It's a tough beat for sure. Kade, so we're 4 rounds down for you. How's everything going?
I mean, I'm riding good. My starts are actually good for once in a lifetime. But I'm trying so hard. I don't know if you watched me in practice yesterday or whatever day we rode, but it was a nightmare. And then it got better in the night show, but it's just like here for some reason I felt like shit. In Houston, I felt really good. Obviously, the 4 minutes I was on TV, I didn't look fantastic.
What was some of the fallback for that?
What's some of the fallback?
Blowback? Yeah, blowback, fallback.
What do you mean?
Like texts and messages about how you doing and is everything okay?
I got a lot of those, and I came off the track and I was like pretty pissed, and I just left my phone at the rig and went and watched the main.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And when I came back, I had 83 text messages, and I shit you not, 20 of them were from Moff. Like Sean Moff.
Yeah.
And he was like texting me throughout the LCQ.
And then
like,
at some point,
Go Cade. Oh no.
Like full play-by-play.
Yeah, full thing. Like it was actually pretty funny to read, but it was like, and then the next morning, it's like every member of my family felt the need to call me.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, I know it was a rough
We're thinking
night.
of you.
Like,
hang in there, buddy.
Prayer sent.
Yeah.
Jesus, just shut up. Like I get it.
They send you the
Flowers show up
frog.
at
They
your
send you the
hotel.
frog hanging onto the duck's bill. Hang in there.
Keep churning that milk until it gets the butter.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like I'm riding good.
God,
like
that was bad though.
It was bad. It was
so bad.
It was a rough lap. So like a rough fucking lap.
What happened?
So I literally hit neutral after the whoops, and I don't even know how because I hit the whoops in third. And I was like in the berm, getting on the gas, and I like was like, whoa, and I like tucked the front and slammed it in the first, and then like partially wheelied, and then Paul Telly goes by, and I like duck in front of him before the wall, but missed the rut. And then we're side by side, and I like cased the double.
And then you just sent it.
And then I sent it off the double from like the tightest line possible into the ruts, and I was like sideways in the ruts, cross rutted, cased the triple, bounced through the rest of the damn rhythm section. And I was like, from that moment on, I was like, holy shit.
You were so rattled. You were so
And
rattled.
I was like, it's fine. If I can beat him to the triple, I'll just go inside before the finish line, and it'll be fine. And because if you remember back to when Way cleaned me out in the last turn,
yeah,
and I hit the whoops and I ripped the bottom of the berm. Well, he just went to the tough block and then just went straight and hit me. So I was like, I'll just go to the tough block. Well, I had to slow down through the sand, and he just sent it through the sand. And
I felt like you didn't make that decision until it was too late, though. Like, if you were going to do that, you should have been setting up sooner. It was like you were going, and then you were like, oh, shit, I'm going to go to the inside. And then you missed your breaking point to turn into the left.
I think I braked too early.
Oh.
Because if I would have just kind of pinned it and made the apex like at the hay bale and went to the end of the berm and then just rolled the finish line,
Right.
that probably would have been the best. Because if I would have went straight down the tough blocks, he would have just ripped down the outside of the main line, and then I probably would have went out to the berm to try to block him, and he would have cut under me.
in.
And like I've played it back in my head like 1,000 times, and the only solution I've thought of is I should have pinned it to the bottom end of the berm and just. But it is what it is.
Poor Kade.
It fucking sucked. it was just like embarrassing because like
Yeah, it was.
And then everyone was like calling. I felt bad for him because everyone was calling him dirty.
No,
and I was
no,
like,
no.
I was like, I cleaned myself out because I crashed from cutting down trying to get under him.
Not your fault. Yeah, not his fault.
No,
I mean,
not. I mean, it was actually like a pretty good pass.
But if you look at your positives, that's the first time you've done that in a while. This week you were up there, you didn't ride as well, and you dropped back quicker, but you were again in the qualifying spot.
Yeah.
So it's like steps, right? It's like
Well, I mean, I feel
building blocks.
I just feel like I'm trying too hard.
Right.
Like I feel like I can do it. You know, I had Bogle behind me, and I washed the front and almost fell, and then both of them went right by me, and then I just was like, oh, there it fucking goes. So, but I do like I like my setup and everything. Everything's been really good. I haven't put 2 and 2 together without a mistake in the most important ride of the day.
There's like 40 cowies out there, so it's really tough to pick you up in the press box.
We were just look for the glowing helmet.
The one side of the box was all cowies for an LCQ. The other race, just all cowies on the left side.
That whole free practice, and that whole B group practice too.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's like 80% cowies.
Team green.
Yeah,
like the KTM's in the 250 class.
Because they pay for the night show. So
Cowie does?
Yeah, Cowie does.
It's
So
like $300 just for the night show.
Right?
You know, before all these upstart gear brands popped up, Fly Racing would have had that shit handled too.
Yeah, I feel like Fly's trying to be so exclusive now with like good riders.
We used to pay, Fly Racing used to pay for the night show.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And outdoors.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, I would get a check every week.
So did FXR.
Awesome.
When I first started with them, they did it too.
But what are you wearing this year? What do you have going on?
Dude, it's called Active, and it's honestly
I'm out then if it's active.
It's active.
I'm out.
No, it's actually really cool. The pants are basically like they feel like mountain bike pants. They're crazy thin, really light. The jersey, the jersey's really good too, but it feels like a normal jersey. It's mind blowing how good the pants are.
I need to see some photos of this up close. I haven't really looked at
I
you.
tried to get Kiefer some pants to test. They were trying to send him some, so get up your test guy.
Did they know that they spelled it incorrectly?
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of a cool spelling.
I'm just kidding.
No, I know,
Of course.
but I know, I get it. Because we didn't really know how to pronounce it at first. Because Julian obviously does the deal.
Where are they based out of?
Washington.
Okay.
So.
Oh yeah.
Cool. And he came to Houston, and we all met him and everything. And they make a bunch of mountain bike stuff too. Because I'm going to do some enduros at the end of the year.
Okay.
So he's going to get me some mountain bike stuff. So
Oh,
now I'm really
sweet.
pumped.
So yeah, overall it's been getting better for you, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's night and day better than last year.
Right. That's what I was kind of getting at. Like the big picture thing. I mean, you had a total choke / collapse job in Houston.
Oh, for sure.
But we're getting over that.
Trying to.
Yeah. Right.
It's still a soft spot.
We're still bringing it up on the show though.
It's okay. It needs to be brought up.
How's the team doing with no car now?
It's good.
Car now defecting from the PRMX team over to the International Supercross team. Big privateer news.
When did that happen?
Before the season started.
Before the season started.
Yeah.
Different team. They wear the same helmet as me.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that happened. I thought it was the same.
Like Bubba Pauly and John Cross, he's with them.
Yeah, he's on their team. Cowies still. So
he was with Julian forever.
Yeah. He rode for Julian like in the Canadian arena cross stuff in
Yeah.
Quebec, right? Yeah.
But I think it was just for him. It was just time for a change.
Right.
I mean, he'd been there for probably 5 years, and sometimes stuff just gets monotonous.
So you're happy though? Everything's going well that wise, team wise, and
yeah. I mean the MX Tech dudes have been taking really good care of me. We've tested a lot with them, and I actually really like my stuff. I was really nervous going into it because I didn't really know their Supercross background, and I have such a close relationship with Rob and the Race Tech guys. But dude, it's been so good.
Yep.
They came to MTF, and they've been sending me suspension all the time.
Yep.
And we run their kit shock and their kit forks, and I really like it, and our motors are really good, and my starts have been good, so I can't complain about my motor at all.
Right.
So
you're in club, right? You're at club?
Yeah.
So how's your chicks back in at Flagstaff, Arizona?
Yeah.
Where the fuck you live?
Tucson.
Good
try though.
How's that been?
It's tough.
Yeah.
But
really.
I mean, she knows it was just too hard for me to drive to ACP to ride. It's 2 hours.
Tucson, yeah, it's too far.
Yeah, it's way too far.
Right.
And especially because it's a good track, but it's not club.
Right.
and all the races were back here anyways. And, you know, I'm close with the club dudes. You know, I get a good price to stay there, and I had a house to stay at, and she just knew that it was something I needed to do. And I think it's clearly shown that it's been a lot better, because when I first got there, man, it was freaking struggle bus.
Was it? Yeah.
It was bad. Like, I was
bad.
way off the pace. And after a few weeks, it started to come around. And, I mean, I've been working pretty hard, you know, trying to stay with, you know, the whole club team. Those dudes are shredding. So, like, it's basically like a mini star every day there. And there's 15 dudes in our Supercross.
Is there any Justin Hill sightings?
Josh was there. I guess Josh is going to race.
For a club?
No, just for himself.
Okay.
But, yeah, I guess he was there riding the other day, and they said
I saw a video. I saw a social video. He was there.
But he was like, Visor said he was getting ready for Supercross.
No Justin Hill?
No, Justin.
I just saw a lot of transfers. I didn't see any motos. I just saw him jumping.
He did the motos, and then he did the transfers.
Right.
That's what I gathered.
Any Phil sightings?
Phil apparently, so I'm in one of the old trainers' houses, and Phil kept all his stuff there, and I called him, and I said, you need to come get all your shit. Because he had like 1,000 tires, 15 things of gas, and I was like, you need to come get it, or I'm going to start using it.
Oh, boy. He'll be right down then.
Apparently, he was there on Friday and got all this stuff. But I guess he's supposed to start riding pretty soon.
Okay.
How's Marchbanks looking?
Dangerously fast.
Really?
Like, and it's crazy how fast he is in the whoops. Like, he is, and it's really fast.
Man, that's a little bit of a wild card for sure.
I'm so anxious to see how he
I
does.
don't think he does what he would do on a pro circuit bike. I just don't think he does, but maybe.
But I think it's still going to be
he
good.
does better.
Really? Okay.
Dude,
Well, he won a race last year,
so that's basically the whole reason they're racing that coast, is because he wanted to race Daytona, and they were like, you know, we want to race Daytona.
He did not luck into that either. That
No, he rode amazing.
Psycho ride in Daytona.
Good.
You can't tell me he's going to jump on a privateer Yamaha and be as good as it.
Dude, that bike is good.
I know it's a Blue Crew.
Who does their engines?
Twisted.
Twisted does.
But like, I mean, they do good, and I think Garrett's going to do really well.
I hope so.
So
I'm a fan of Crown too. I think Crown's got some skills.
He showed a lot last year. Does Peters ride there?
KP at Club?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't seen the arena cross. He hasn't lost yet, though. I don't imagine he's going to, but little clips I've seen are pretty damn good.
Is he going to do Supercross once that thing's over? Do we know?
I thought he's supposed to.
He's on the other coast. Okay. He said he might have to miss one or two. It depends. His goal is to have a big enough points lead.
He's already got an 80-point. No, he'll be fine.
I think it's more than that.
It's a lot. He's won every race.
Yeah. His opening laps are unreal compared to the other guys.
Yeah. I talked to Jacob about it. Hayes, who's obviously arena cross champ, so he's good at that stuff. And I asked him, I said, you've been watching these things. How would you do against Peters? He's like, I don't know if I could go that fast. Like, he's riding as fast as I've ever seen anybody ride that stuff.
When's Hayes getting back on a bike?
Oh, like soon.
Okay.
Like in the next, I think, week.
Okay.
Actually, no, this weekend. He's going riding this weekend.
Does he still have his track in North Carolina? Like the
I think it
Supercross
got turned into like an amateur futures
man, we were talking about that the other day. Like,
did you ever ride there?
We all wanted to like just group up and go.
Well,
and we were going to take a skiddy.
In its
but we didn't think
prime,
it was still there.
That place was gnarly. Brayton went there once, and I think weeded up and like left. Said, I'm out of here. It was pretty sketchy.
Really?
Like in a good way. It was
like
just
gnarly.
really tough.
Yeah, we always wanted to go. Well, we don't really know where it is, and none of us are really that close with Jacob. But when we were getting rained out, we knew it was dry up there.
Yeah, it's mellowed out now.
Motorsport.com, Decal Works, Fly Racing, all on board with us. We got the Motorsport.com Tweet at Me segment coming up. But for now, Vortex Racing bringing you Daniel Blair on the show. Thanks to the folks at Vortex. Email Kyle at vortexracing.com. The V3 bar, 29% stronger than the competition. And also the sprockets, Stu and Chad won titles with the Vortex Racing sprocket, as did Dylan Ferrandis. And they're currently on the Star Yamaha team, 450s and 250s, Vortex Racing. Please check those guys out. Cat 5, F5 hard coat, silver and long-lasting laser cut steel Vortex sprockets. So please check those guys out. If you want some bars or sprockets and you want a deal, email Kyle at vortexracing.com, bringing you Daniel Blair on the show. So talk about getting my blood boiling with these privateers in the 250 class.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask everybody here, and maybe Kate, I don't know, maybe you can answer, maybe you can't, but everybody, these three experts. Who's the guy that's the privateer, like 3-digit dude, or maybe 2-digit guy, that you know the least about that's doing the best? Is there a guy that comes to mind that you're just like, I don't know anything about this dude. I couldn't name 3 things about this guy, but he's doing well. Like, is there a guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh Verizzi.
Verizzi.
Yeah.
Really?
That would be my pick, but I know stuff about him.
I know he raced Loretta's.
That's it. Okay. I thought you would know more about him.
Not really.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
No.
So, yeah. Yeah, he's legit, right?
Yeah.
He's very good. Yeah.
When Milestone was open, his parents ran the store at Milestone.
Oh, really?
So I've known of him since he was like on 65s, 80s. I've known him, and he's always been a super talented, especially supercross rider.
Yep.
So when I'm impressed by him, but I know a lot about him. But he actually is a really good rider. Fundamentally, too, he's very technical.
Did somebody say he was racing amateurs again?
That's
right?
what I heard.
I keep hearing that. I don't know how that's possible.
I'll go. My pick would be probably that Simonson kid.
That kid's decent.
I know nothing
gotten
about
better.
him. Nothing.
That's my teammate, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, I didn't even know his K's teammate. So, what's his deal? Where's he from?
He's from North Carolina. He's fast. He's a really good starter.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. He went like the whole preseason without putting a whole shot device on. And then we started doing starts together, and he was just waxing us. And he's whole shotted like almost every LCQ he's been in.
Watch him outdoors. He's loose. Like he has like really good that just like kind of hang off style. He was good at Loretta's during the amateur.
Even that Varese I heard of, Slosher I heard of. You know what I mean? I've heard that name, but Simonson or what? Simonson. You couldn't. I wouldn't fucking be able to pick that guy out of a lineup if you gave me, two choices. So that would be my pick. And so JT, yours is Varese. Yep. Blair, what's yours?
I would say at Houston it was Fleming, and I don't think the results were
mentioned. He's been a pro for a couple of
years.
years.
But I don't know him. I don't know anything about.
Florida.
Yeah.
Is he? And then the one that I just noticed at Indy was Schlosser.
Yeah.
Looked a lot better, and I don't know him. I wouldn't know. I don't know what his even face looks like.
Right. He trains out of Arizona.
Does he?
Yeah,
he just stood out as someone I was like maybe at Houston 2 or 3. I was like, he's pretty good. And then at Indy, I was like, homie was like 10th in times. Like, so he would be the one that to me, I haven't followed him on Instagram. I was like, this dude's impressive. Looked him up and tried to do a little research, but I thought he was pretty good.
Check you out. I saw him in the elevator coming in the elevator at Indy the other day. He was very excited to see me.
Really?
Yeah, I guess he knew we talked about him in the fantasy pod.
Oh.
So, and then Dan picked him a couple weeks ago, and he faded backwards, and he sent Dan a DM. Never don't give up on me. I will make it happen. I will not let you down.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's what these guys do for fantasy, Anton.
And Dan's thinking I got parts on the line. Like, he's gonna get that ECU.
Dan got a full get ECU for him. Mm-hmm. I'm sure. Anton, what about you?
Stanford. Like I hadn't heard really anything about that kid.
I don't know anything about that guy.
And the tie loop team's good. You know, I mean, that's a decent thing to get on for a first year guy. Never heard of him. All these other guys, those are those typical people you hear of when we come to the East Coast region.
Right.
Yeah, like Sales, and then I know.
Oh yeah,
I know about
Hunter
those
Sales.
guys.
He's been around. He's a guy. Yeah, for sure. Hunter Sales is a guy.
Fleming's been around.
Fleming's been around. Yeah, Fleming used to work with Woodrow at GPF.
See, and I've heard of Fleming over the years, but I just don't know much about him, and I think he rides really well. Like just the way he rides is impressive to me.
Okay.
So,
Kate, what would be your guy?
I mean, I know them all. The only one, I saw him in Germany the one year, but that Thomas Doe.
Oh yeah, see, JT and I would know him. Yeah, I've seen that guy.
Percy champ.
Yeah, you too.
It's like a few years, right?
Yeah. He's an MX2 guy at those Geneva.
I know of him.
Yeah,
I just don't know him.
Right.
Like I know everybody else.
He's actually like no sketchy moments from him out there. He holds it together. He rides really well. Right, like all that stuff. So
yeah, he's like right around Osby's pace.
Yeah, pretty much him and Osby and Oldenburg are right there.
Yeah,
and then there's the factory guys.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a chaotic class for sure.
It's actually really fun to watch.
It is.
Because there's like the dudes who are going to be up front, and since there's not that much depth, they're all always there. Like Jet kind of puts himself in shitty situations, but and then the privateer dudes kind of get to race each other because there's no separation.
Yeah, it's like 10 to 22 is like a good race.
Yeah. Even like 7 to 14 is like really close.
Typical 250 Supercross guys, but there are some guys that they can't string together 2 laps without an adventure.
There's a few that if they rode 450B practice, it'd be their last one.
Well, it was funny. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever, like, obviously you guys probably don't watch my GoPros and stuff, but we've been posting some of them on our social. And my teammate watched one of them, and he's like, "Holy shit! Look at all those ruts."
Well, if you're 250B.
Yeah.
And then you're in the 250 heat, and then you're in the 250 LCQ. You're riding great tracks the entire time. Like some of these guys that haven't made a main, they've only ridden bitchin' tracks this whole year. They have no
they're like,
clue.
what are you talking about? These ruts are no problem.
Yeah, why is Roczen jumping up the track? What a squid. It's like, no, you guys haven't seen anything at all.
Yeah.
That double was terrifying all day.
He walked it after the race and was talking about
Dude,
it.
it was.
God, it was. Yeah, it was bad.
Our buddy A-Ray, too.
That was a crazy crash that I can't believe they're both okay.
Yeah, Vince is. I was saying that earlier. Vince was crazy.
Yeah,
but so yeah, like your practices, the track is bombed out. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't care about you guys.
No,
that way.
and like Osby and I were talking about it today. Like the face of that double is just like the sketchiest peg dragging crossing ruts you'd ever seen, and it's like you guys could probably hit that with a skiddy and have it fixed up in like 5 minutes, and we wouldn't almost die the whole practice because it's slightly terrifying.
Remember our buddy Fournette, JT, obviously?
Mm-hmm.
He would be fucking furious that sitting in the unseated practice with me and Birdwell and losing his mind because they'd just be like, go on out there. See you guys later. Like
good luck.
Yeah, the fact, kind of like what JT was saying, like the factory guys would get a groomed track. That before the seated factory guys, they'd go out and they'd fix the track. And then Fournette would be like, don't worry about us.
They got 30 minutes on Friday.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
There.
They did. Yeah, 30 minutes on Friday.
Why were you in the unseated practice?
Oh, I was working for Birdwell, bro, back then.
Oh, okay.
Bunch of guys, yeah.
On Saturday at Race Day Live during 450B practice, me and Dan Hubbard are talking.
And you're working for that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this right after refilling the popcorn machines?
Yeah, right before.
Right.
But anyways, me and Hubbard are talking, and he says something like, man, how brutal really is this 450B practice? And like, what's the approach for these guys? And I said, well, it's so bad that you don't really want to be aggressive and sprint. You just want to just be clean. You want to put perfect clean laps together, do all the obstacles. And I went on this like 1 minute, explanation on how to approach it while A-Ray was on screen. And every word I said was the exact opposite of what they were watching. He was every corner jumping out of the rut, right to left, left to right. And I'm sitting here just going on this whole thing about being smooth, the efficiency. This practice, if you want to do good, you ride with your head, not with your throttle. And A-Ray is just revved out, swerving all over the place. Anyone watching was probably probably couldn't digest the fact that the words did not match what was happening on the screen. It was chaos. And I talked to him afterwards. I'm like, A-Ray, chill. He's like, don't know how.
He really doesn't.
He doesn't know how.
He doesn't know how to ride like slowly.
No.
When he was at club,
it's all in.
And
all
we
in.
do like no rear brake motos. It was like the only time that you saw an A-Ray that didn't ride crazy.
Probably faster.
Yeah, JT's always said that. Just settle down, A-Ray, but
calm down.
He told me he can't.
Yeah, he
can't. I can't.
Yeah.
He's his own worst enemy out there.
It's so much work for him too. I feel like it's like him and Barsha are probably the two fittest people on the track.
They have to be.
Because if they
So
rode
much effort.
like someone who saves energy, it would be very efficient.
And he's a magnet for problems too. Like
Oh,
stuff
he
that's not even his fault, but then like you said,
Yeah.
the camera's always on him.
Mm-hmm.
Or something goes wild and then he comes over a blind jump and then there's disaster, then he can't avoid it.
And there's no way I was a position behind him and I still almost jumped. Like they were just getting the yellow out as he was smoking the bike. Like I jumped halfway.
He couldn't have hit that bike any better than he did.
Did you guys see Jet in the main jump just over the first part of it? You know how it was a little bit
he
of
landed
there's
on
a
the
little
half?
step up? He halved it one lap. He got a little squirrely and just and halved it so clean and then jumped into the berm.
I didn't see it.
I was like, of all human beings, I don't think anyone else did it. And he
Yeah.
did it perfectly clean on accident and actually jumped into the berm.
I was surprised I only had to see one person. Bogle went roll double to the flat.
I saw someone do that in
And
practice.
I was talking about it because when it was a berm, if you got stuffed, you probably weren't going to do the double.
Roll double.
And then roll double to the flat. And somebody was telling me, no one's going to do that. I was like, it's terrifying. You make sure you don't clip it, but somebody will do it.
And then you just land and just step up. It probably wasn't even.
No, you're right.
Not that much off.
You're right.
Is it okay riding around Freddie, or you kind of got to get by him, or got to watch
I
out?
practice with Freddie, so now I'm kind of used to it.
Right.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's wild.
That's another one that goes for it.
And I feel like I need a little bit of him and A-Ray,
Yeah,
and then they
yeah.
could just take some of me.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. You could use a little bit more
Raw,
degaff. Yeah.
No, you're right.
I want to thank the folks at motorsport.com, of course, Fly Racing and Decal Works. Also, have you been in a motorcycle or a car accident? Did somebody or some idiot take you out? Kade?
Yeah.
Okay. You need to call attorney Arthur Draper. He's a friend of the show. He's a slow moto guy turned attorney. In fact, ambulances chase him now. Arthur takes the time to know the clients and will take time to talk to you personally. Consultations are free. You need to call arthurdraper.com. Help is only a phone call away, and Arthur's got your back. And he only gets paid if you get paid. Arthur's a buddy of mine. Used to be a mechanic back in the day, and now he's a lawyer. And getting some clients here on the PulpMX show. arthurdraper.com. Cambio CBD. It's a new product. It's a new brand with roots in moto and action sports. They offer the finest pure and organic CBD products available, including athlete-inspired performance and recovery packs. Do you use any CBD? Have you tried stuff?
Our stuff. Yeah.
What do you?
Stellar CBD.
Do you? What do you use? What products? Like what?
Oh shit! I just said the wrong one.
It's fine.
I'm such a.
You should be use Cambio. It's fine.
Well, I use our stuff.
Okay, well it's Cambio.
Oh,
let's say you're Cambio.
Get out of
okay, so anyways, what do you use though? I tried the sleep stuff. It almost made me sleep too well. And then I used like the CBD cream on my knee. It worked. I used it on my elbow. It didn't work. So I'm kind of like, I've seen it work, but then I've seen it not work.
I use the cream stuff, but I noticed it a little bit with like inflammation. But my dad has a really messed up shoulder, and I gave it to him, and he like swears by it. So now I just give it to him because he loves it.
You're looking for a slam dunk gift for your lady? Check out Cambio's beautiful Bath Crystal 3-pack. Also, please check out their recovery stuff, their athlete-inspired performance and recovery packs. Cambio-USA.com and look for the PulpMX link in the main menu for special deals. Cambio-USA.com. PulpMX will get you saved on that. Pro Filter as well. Pulp20 is the code at checkout at profilter.com. Sold through Power Sports dealers nationwide. You can easily pick up a pre-oiled, ready-to-use premium air filter, oil filter for your next service. They've been active in the industry for the last decade, and they manufacture top-quality air and oil filters for dirt bikes, street bikes, side-by-sides, and everything in between. That reminds me, my bike needs a filter change badly. My Blue Crew. It has been a while since I put a pro filter.
Don't you get the thing that you just change?
No,
it?
yeah, I do.
Like,
yeah.
What's the problem?
You got to do it.
So
Still
easy on Yamahas.
It's so easy. I got to do it. God. I don't want to work on motorcycles anymore. I worked on motorcycles for so long. I don't want to work on motorcycles anymore.
So you don't work on your bicycle?
I don't work on my bicycle.
You don't work on your dirt bike?
No, I do not.
So what do they?
He just builds these bikes that just get parked.
My Yamaha is, if Kiefer saw it right now, he would lose his shit on me. Like, it needs a chain.
Wait, you left it dirty?
I left it dirty.
Dude,
it's got a dirty filter. It needs a chain badly. I got to put a firepower on because the stock chain is gone. And yeah, he would just be disgusted with me. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know, man. I just want to ride, okay?
Sweet Aroma.
I just want to ride.
That's our CBD company, Sweet Aroma. Thank you.
Motorsport.com, tweet at me segment. Do we have an intro for this? Oh, yeah, we do.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you this important bulletin from Motorsport.com.
It's the Tweets at Tits Q&A segment where your twatted questions find answers.
Motorsport, OEM, and aftermarket parts and accessories. Thanks to those guys for making it happen. Go through the banner on PulpMX.com or PulpMXShow.com. So these are tweeted questions from at PulpMX Show to everybody here in this room. I'll go with Brad Street Racing first to Daniel. I've noticed less and less guys thanking their sponsors on the podium. Was that a request from TV people to just hear about the race, or rather who helps them?
You know what's funny about that is last year, I think we did the media. Is that when we did the media stuff in Anaheim?
It was last year.
We talked to the riders because we had our TV coach with us, like working with the riders on interviews, and we were like going at them pretty hard on how ridiculous it is to go and list your whole back fender every interview and how it's not good for your brand. And they literally didn't listen to one word any of us had to say. This year, nothing was told to them, and I think one rider one time has said their sponsor. It's been like nobody, and nobody told them anything. So I don't know. I have no clue. Maybe actually, it's probably because the mechanic and the team can't all be there to hold the pit board to show them what to say because they're not really as close. It's got to be something like that. But I actually noticed it the other day because I said good luck to Mosman, and then he jumped in for a second to list his sponsors. I was
Jesus is a savage.
Yeah, that was funny. But I couldn't believe it. It was like the first time I'd heard anyone read a sponsor this year. So I don't know if someone told him something, but it's literally been barely anybody. I like it. I think it's
necessary?
better.
Like, I don't think it's
I think it's stupid to list sponsors on the podium. And I know it sucks because it's part of our sport and the brand, whatever, but it's from a professional TV standpoint, it's really bad for television.
You know what? So my boss is the owner of Western Power Sports. I have a few bosses, but him being the most important. You know what the one thing he's listening for on the podium? The one thing.
What?
To hear fly racing. That's it.
Really?
Yes. Absolutely. I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
And that's why it's for this industry, I understand it because the sponsors are in industry, whatever, and Tom Brady doesn't have NFL inside industry stuff, and he doesn't need to go and think Nike or I don't know, whoever the hell whatever. But in our sport, it's just so common because we have sponsors that depend on that. But from broadcasting and like production standpoint, if you watch like big sports, it's even NASCAR. They don't do that at all. It's really unprofessional for television.
They work it in real, like, organic.
Super.
They
The good
name
ones
the car,
do.
yeah.
The good ones do, but
Well, they do, but it's like, well, this Welch's grape number 88 car was out spectacular today, and these Goodyears are hooking up like glue, and like
yeah, they're trained to get it in. But where our sport blows it really is just, I'd like to thank blah 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 Toyota of Escondido, because they sponsor everybody apparently on the podium. But you know what I mean? It's hard in our industry to say what I'm saying, but from a TV standpoint, it's kind of unprofessional to list a list of people that help you. It's really weird, but it's kind of true. So.
At Crow 176 says, "Can we have a good Kelly Smith story?" I've told them all. Going in the Tiki Bar and the DJ announcing that Kelly Smith's in the house. That was pretty cool in Ludington.
Yeah,
felt like a pretty fucking big deal there. Beating Damon Bradshaw at the 4-stroke U.S. Open. That was pretty fucking cool. Winning High Point was pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I've said a bunch of them.
Kelly was fun the last year or two. He did Arena Cross when he was in there. It's pretty cool.
Here's a question for Daniel. Can Daniel get a suggestion to the NBC sports people?
Oh, hold on. Let me get my pen and paper out.
Yeah.
Get the list going again.
Can they put a camera on a dozer or something interesting can be broadcast during the commercial break on the Peacock stream, something other than a static long shot of the track?
You know what I would like?
Okay.
Fly racing commercials to be run.
Okay. All right.
Just a suggestion. Work them in.
I'll see what I could do.
Work them in.
This is from Scott McElroy.
I could just talk during those with my fly mask on.
You could. That's something else, another job you can
Another
do.
job you can do.
The track
Shit,
thing
I
is
should have
really
never said that. Damn it.
You're gonna be
Tomorrow
doing
morning,
that.
like, hey,
Peacock.
Daniel.
This is a question for me, but JT would have a better idea about this. How much do you think Monster, rough estimate, how much do you think Monster spends all year on Supercross motocross sponsorship in the USA?
Globally,
Team titles, series titles, sponsors, personal sponsors.
Like all of their expenses, everything.
No, what would it cost to title the Supercross series, title these teams,
Yep.
Cowie and Yamaha?
Yep.
And personal deals for these riders.
And then the pit stuff,
I
like
think-
the monster stuff in the pits.
Yeah.
And Chase.
10 to 15 million.
I was gonna say 10 to 12, somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
I was going to say 10 to 11. So.
All right.
The title for
Price is
Supercross
right.
is that low?
No, that's everything.
I'm saying all of it. Cowie, Supercross,
I'm mind blown at how low that number
outdoors.
is.
Really?
You would think it'd be more?
Dude, I think the title for Supercross would be way more.
No.
Do you see a line of people
No,
bidding
no.
for it?
No, but I'm just saying, like, that's a lot of people watching that. That's a pretty small
Mind
number.
blown over here.
At one point, when Amped was the sponsor, it was a lot more. And then the economy crashed, and then Monster came in and got a great deal. And it's gone up, from what I know. It's gone up since that first deal, but it's still not anywhere near what it used to be.
Question for Anton from Dano 279. Does Supercross ever come back to Toronto?
I wish.
I hope not.
I love Toronto.
Toronto's so
I hate Toronto.
What?
I hate pitting in that
Such a
freaking
cool
tunnel.
town. That city's
It's so
rad.
fun.
I love that place.
I've only been maybe 3 times, no good experiences.
I love Canada. Just hate pitting in that
See, I love
tunnel.
Montreal. I think Montreal's fun.
Montreal's fun, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to Montreal, though.
Yeah.
But
So, okay.
I just
he
like-
said hopefully, but do you think it does go back?
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
You would know this, but you probably can't speak too much on it. We were pretty close to going global a couple years ago until all this happened. I think that there was a bigger push to
Saudi.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was
Coming
coming.
anytime.
We were going to go, I think.
I'm going to win that bet. I'm sure we bet on it.
I'm pretty sure we were going to go.
And it wouldn't hurt to go international. Look how big the Australia thing is right now. You know, I mean, to do a couple of those races in markets that you know have a huge thing, it would be pretty shitty for the teams. But yeah, I could see them making it, especially because riders have been so well received with the Saturday, Saturday thing. Oh, I'll do 30 races if we do it this way.
Osborne said that the other day on that
Dude, if they keep
roundtable.
saying it, all it's going to do is give them more confidence to do it.
Osborne said make it 25.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they did that? The outdoors would be in danger for sure.
This
It
schedule
wouldn't work because, I mean, they would overlap. There'd be
No,
there's no
you
window.
could do it. You could do it. You could cram 25 in there easy.
See, if my thought is if it was ever going to be a number like that, it would have to be spread out over a longer period and make it a little bit less intense because this is intense. This boom, boom, boom. I mean, it's cool, but it's 25.
so fun. But like, how much money do you think teams are saving from like not practicing? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
If you cut out half the year of
travel
practicing,
too.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what those budgets end up looking like.
I've heard it's the same.
Yeah,
I've heard it's the same.
Flights versus
less flights, more Airbnbs and stuff.
Like
And you're probably
the Airbnb thing is cheap. Like all the teams are probably cooking together and not buying so much, going out to fancy places.
A lot of them, like that's why they have those grills and stuff. They already spend most of their nights there anyway. And then for how gnarly the bike rebuilds are, they're probably using just as many parts as they would be during a practice week. Certain things getting replaced on a quicker, routine.
Yeah, I guess.
It'd be cool for one of these teams to maybe come out and say, like, this is what it really did. You know, they won't, but it'd be cool to know the difference.
At MX Addict, what happened to Eagle Grit? There hasn't been a tweet or Instagram post in ages, almost a year.
Just, I don't know. Just
word of mouth brand.
Slacking.
We're all about that organic grassroots type thing. You know? We don't want you to hear about us online.
EagleGrit.com, everybody. Go there. Jerry
in 2 weeks.
Jerry wants to know what the fuck is going on with JA21. I mean, I feel like we called this, JT, in our preseason stuff. You and me, and like we're on the same wavelength with that. Yep. He left Alden. He makes a lot of money, and he's not all in.
Nope.
He's
enjoying his life a little bit.
He's 97% in, and that's a 5 to 10 guy, but he's not 100% in, right? Do we all feel like that? I mean,
the math would all add up and make sense to me.
Right.
He's certainly not like out of shape. It's just that last bit of dedication where it's like, I'm not doing anything but riding my dirt bike, riding my bicycle, going to the gym, and going to the race. That's it.
I feel like to be at that elite level where you're really chasing the title, you have to suffer. Yeah. Like I don't think you can win a title anymore and enjoy it. You're going to suffer for 4 months, and my guess would be I don't think he wants to suffer at all. And he loves to ride his bike and loves to be with his friends and is still talented enough to be badass.
And makes a ton of money.
Yeah, and guess how much more he would have to commit to be like 3 or 4 spots more? Crazy more commitment.
He's got a 450 Supercross title, man.
Is set.
Yeah, it's a great title. Retired Bubba wants to know, Anton, did Craig lose some of his sharpest edge after the relief of round 1 win?
I don't think that was that bad. I think it was more Houston 3 did him in.
Okay. Yep.
Did Barsha and Craig get worse, or did everybody else get better?
Barsha was definitely worse.
Yeah, Barsha was worse, but Barsha was really good for 3 rounds and just had 1. So let's wait, right? Before we
And then 250.
But at round 1, he dominated. Like he held off Kenny. Like at Houston 2 and 3, he wouldn't have done that. I don't feel like. And I feel like that's
maybe
like that
you know what though. But here's a weird thing though, because time goes by so fast, so we forget. Houston 3, Barsha was on his way to maybe getting up there and winning that race. He was faster than anybody for a half of that thing. So it gets lost because we're moving so fast.
He definitely would have got AC for 3rd, 100%.
And then maybe the other 2 were right there, and he was flying. So this Indy race that we just saw has got us all sour on him a little bit, but it might correct itself quick because a week ago in Houston, he was pretty awesome.
Dude, crash in the sand, lose a spot to Eli, immediately reset, go back after.
Charged him.
That's hard. And then, like everybody said, he just was not right at that first Indy race.
And then 250 class, I would say Nichols and Jet got better since round 1. Nichols was good, then he was almost great, then he's been great. You know what I mean? So Craig, I didn't think was bad Saturday night. Nichols was just better, and then Jet is,
Josh wants to know, what are the chances Chris Betts sponsors Phil for the outdoors to maybe run interference for Adam Cianciarillo championship run? What are the chances of that? I did Webb. Webb, Phil, and I were on a group text. We're not always on a group text, just this one little race. And Webb texted Phil after the Wilson thing and said, "Now you know how to get the fuck out of the way, Phil, when I'm coming for you." So that was good. That made me laugh. Alex Wilbur wants to know, DB, what is up with saying "and again" every other sentence? Do you know you do that?
I do. I have a couple crutch words that I fall on, and that's one of them. Okay. It's part of a formula that you're supposed to do when you commentate. You're supposed to lead with your headline, support it, and then kind of repeat the headline. It's just like a way, and I have that. That's my crutch word to get back to my headline.
We all do, right? I'm Anton. I'm sure you got one in your pods. JT's probably got. We all do.
Yeah.
It's.
I say ultimately all the time.
I say
too.
right at the end of sentences, and I say obviously. I have definitely had ones that, like, when I'm thinking of what I'm going to say next, it's like the word I go to.
It's your little buffer as you're kind of processing the full thought. But and again is my bad one. I do it all the time.
All the riders, like myself, excessively use and yeah way too much.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I said that. I do. Yeah. Question for Blair and JT: if you two line up for a 250 LCQ right now,
Blair,
who wins?
I can't beat anybody. There's no way.
I've ridden 5 times in 5 years.
I've ridden more than that, but I don't have any confidence I could beat anybody right now.
I rode my son's 85 the other day, and I promise you, give me a month, and I could win Loretta's in the 85 class. I'm not kidding. I got on that thing, and I was like, oh, this thing's fun, and within like 3 minutes, it was as fast as I could go on a big bike on a little supercross track.
Right.
It was unreal, and I was like, this was the problem all along. If I would have just fit my damn bike, I would have been the next level. But
damn,
it's crazy how fast those things are.
Dude. Well,
from Sailor Hayden, should Star take Craig or J-Mart for a full-time 450 ride next year?
Craig or J-Mart?
Full-time 450. That's going to be an interesting. They're going to have a decision because
more.
And they're going to have a decision with Colt too.
Is
Colt pointing out?
If he points out.
Oh,
no,
maybe
he
not.
can't
No,
because
he
hasn't
missed so much time. You're right.
Yeah, he'll get to defend. So.
But okay, like J-Mart.
He already won it.
It's funny that everyone's looking at AP, right? And that ride, and even J-Mart said I would have signed with Mitch, but he has no 450 path for me.
If J-Mart wins the outdoor title and he looks decent in Supercross, you have to take J-Mart.
Yeah, you know why? Because he would go to outdoor on a 450 and be sick, I think. I mean,
I agree with that.
J-Mart, remember Daytona?
Oh, yeah.
He would be great on a 4, and that's probably why he's so bent. Because he knows maybe indoor he could probably pull it off and be okay, but he knows outdoors he would be able to run, I think, with Eli, Zach, and all of them. He'd be a legit title threat day one on a 450, I believe.
Having seen Christian make the steps that he's made, are you a little bit more confident on Jeremy coming into Supercross now?
Yeah, probably.
I think he wins it.
Yeah, probably.
I think he wins it.
Well, we lost Cooper, right? Or we didn't lose Cooper, but he's going to lose time with a broken foot. So
that bike is ridiculous.
Yeah. But what about Troll Train?
If you put him on a Star bike, I would be really optimistic.
Who says he's not going to put one of J-Mart's motors in?
Star.
Okay.
Jim Lewis.
You think with how the 450 class is right now, they ever change the 250 class rule?
I think they need to.
It's just
they got to figure out something.
It's
like I said. I've said it 100 times. It's half pregnant.
This result sheet is a couple years in the making of the change, and then now look at the 450 class. The balance beam is wrecked. The 450 class is so gnarly, and the 250 class has thinned out even. But then I'm wondering if it's because even the factory teams aren't putting out the same rosters. Gas has one on each coast. Rockstar Husky doesn't even have anybody anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not all putting 4- and 5-man teams out. Star and Pro Circuit are, but then Honda only has Jet and Hunter. You know what I mean? At the factory level, there's not as many factory 250 rides anymore, and I wonder if that's a trend that's starting too with these manufacturers going, we don't need to do that anymore. But I think they need to change it. It's
one guy here asked me about 450 guys on Kawasaki's. As we explained, they pay the night show money. At Mitch Long says, Steve, by paying for co-hosts, multiple employees, flights, hotels, rental cars, live show venues, how much does PulpMX pay in expenses over the course of a year to keep the empire running? Well,
10 or 12 million.
Yeah.
Like Monster?
I think my expenses, for me to go to all the races, I think it's $40K. Does that sound about right, Anton?
Yeah, that would be about right.
I think about $40K.
Rental car, flight, hotel.
Food.
And you could do it much, much cheaper.
I refuse to.
Oh,
yeah,
sure
but it wouldn't be fun to do it cheaper.
Well, I would say Steve's. I hate to give this compliment, but Steve's earned the right to
I don't
make it good for himself.
I've slept 4 and 6 to hotel rooms. I'm not doing that. I don't do that anymore.
Like you're the Kenny, Weege is the privateer.
But Weege has an expense account.
Yeah,
he could totally
I understand that.
Racer X pays if he refuses to do it though.
Yeah, I get it.
It's fucking incredible, isn't it?
I've never seen anything like it, to be honest.
Right.
None of it is even logical. Like, it's not even his money.
But like I know dudes who ride for teams that get like $1,500 a weekend.
Yeah.
And their goal is to spend like $700.
Oh, I did that too. I did that too. But
Yeah.
I didn't punish myself. Like, Weege will suffer bodily harm to save himself money. Like, I would just try to be frugal with it, right?
He won't give in.
No.
And I
would try to save money, and like that's just extra salary.
Yeah.
I think I pay about $40K to in people over the year. About $40K to employees / different people.
Yeah.
Not that much in your privateer money that Yamaha helps us out with. What'd you do with that money?
How do you think I live at club, man?
Yeah.
Invest it back into himself.
Yeah.
From Travers at Trav033, Anton, what needs to happen for teams to see some TV money? And would this stop teams from like JGR folding?
As far as like TV money, like what do they mean? It just says TV money?
Yeah.
I think all teams like just need to better market themselves. You know what I mean? Like having what they have is just not cutting it yet. And you see what like F1 teams do, what Feld is even doing for Supercross. Like they've kind of taken a step where they're copying what other sporting leagues are doing. Race teams have to follow the same thing. JT, you're an F1 fan. Mercedes has a super active social media manager that comments with fans, and it boosts engagement. And they make cool merch that wants to get people out there to do it. You have to engage back with people rather than it just being like, check out these sprockets, check out these foot pegs, check out these this and that.
They feel a part of it, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a bit part of PulpMX's success too.
Totally.
I think the listeners feel a part of it. They feel like they know us.
When you're going down to fight through the audience to get your food,
And then you go on the show and talk shit on them.
Is that the engagement they're looking for?
That's well, like
talk shit on 4 of them that you had to see in the line at the
Screaming at volleyball players at Starbucks.
Engage this!
I stand by all that. I stand by all of that.
What if like a team took a TV camera and like put it in a certain rig, like Honda had a TV crew?
I will say this from my experiences now being on this side of it and seeing the teams and how they work, and I hope I'm not wrong here. This is just a guess. But there's so much focus on winning, and there is zero focus on promotion. Their PR team, whatever, is more like managing the PR requests instead of actually like aggressively pursuing PR.
Totally. We're backwards that way for sure.
They're not knocking down our door, begging us on TV to do something more for them. It's the other way around. Like, what can we please get from you? And it's hard a lot. It's hard to get stuff from them while we're begging to promote them.
I bet if
it can
you
be
went to
frustrating.
like a Phoenix Honda though, and like started with them and worked your way up, I bet it would be because like I could tell you my team would do it in a heartbeat. But
that's the thing is that it's hard for us to go there when we would like to do that with Eli Tomac, Ken Roczen, Cooper Webb, but they're so competitive and there to win that we are like not as welcome. And now with COVID, everything's different. But I'm saying in the past, they've been hard to play ball with what we want to do. And it should be the other way. I mean, God, could you imagine if Honda and Cowie and they were all chasing us down like we want more promotion for our guys? What can we do? We would give them crazy access. We want it. We're desperate for it.
Yep.
And they don't give it that much.
The power's completely shifted too because, okay, Cowie, that Science of Supercross segment is awesome.
It's incredible.
Some of the stuff that they've shot, the way that it's shot and put together this year is better than it's ever been. Yeah, that's not free. Cowie's paying to do that. Mercedes isn't paying Sky Sports, hey, we want this promotional package as part of the TV deal.
I heard, so the first driven to succeed or driven to win, what the fuck's it called?
The F1 thing?
Yeah.
Drive to Survive?
Drive to Survive. The first one, the first one didn't have Mercedes in it.
License to Drive.
And that's a good movie. Corey Haim.
That's a good movie.
So they didn't have Mercedes in the first one, and I heard Mercedes was super bummed. They told him, beat it. You're not coming in here, right? And then everyone loved it. And then they were like, oh, we want to be in this. So maybe that's the secret.
It was a really poor offering the second time around, though. Like, they showed
Mercedes,
nothing.
Right.
Like, they were in it the second season, but, like, not
enough.
No.
But maybe that's the Supercross spy thing or whatever. Maybe that gets more teams going. We want to be on that. Yeah. You know? I don't know. Maybe you show them what it could be.
I think, though, and this is something that we've brought up, like, multiple times. I think now the guys are seeing, like, hey, it's not so bad to be more open.
Yeah.
I think that helps because, like, Valtteri Bottas is super engaging. Lewis is almost too engaging and puts way too much out there and opens himself up to way too much stuff. But you find that fine line of, like, what people want to do. That's how you bring the TV money back into it.
All right. Hargreaves, something else?
I was going to say, I don't think there's enough of an internal
demand.
Yeah, and an internal, like, team that's going to go and chase that stuff. Like, there's so many ways they could be so much more creative about it. And this is just my opinion. I don't even know if this is possible, but Feld happens to own other entities like Disney on Ice and all that stuff.
They took Troll. He was a troll.
Exactly. I know that's silly and all, but it
Remember
makes
when
sense.
Troll was a troll?
I do.
But if I'm Honda or if I'm Cowie, I'm trying to get Kenny or Eli, like, hey, Feld, what can I do with my guy to get something with Disney on anything just to kind of open up avenues getting into the population? Like, it's available, and there's no interest. It's just winning.
Yep.
And bike sales are what they are. It's just it's like a big circle. Everything goes in a big circle, and nothing ever really changes. And it could be so much better if they made an effort. And
it has to happen soon because the money's getting ready to start moving around. Like that Rockstar deal, if that money goes away like it's supposed to and goes into something like video gaming or whatever, which is a huge, huge market right now, it's going to be hard to find somebody to come in and replace some of that.
Kate, I'll ask you this one from Ryan Hargreaves 431. Who has Alden done the most for? RC, Stu, RV, Dunge, or Webb? Who benefited the most from Alden? I think it's got to be Ricky, right? Because he was a... No?
Dude, I'd say Coop.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you
RV.
Maybe RV.
Dude, look at RV. Some of those years, first year on the 450, he's big boy. And then he completely changed.
Yeah, but look at Coop on the... I mean, can you totally blame the Yamaha from a 15th to 1st?
No, of course you can't. No.
Well...
Blue Crew.
Filippo didn't
I mean,
go from 15th
Alden's
to
program,
1st.
I think, JT, I think you've said this too. Alden's program, the best...
Are the racers talking now?
Yes, the most important part of it, to me, would probably be the discipline.
Yep.
So whatever rider would need the discipline. That's why it might have cleaned up Dungy's program a little bit, but Dungy had discipline.
Yeah,
so
definitely Dunge is the least guy.
I would say Carmichael Supercross turnaround was...
And most of that
impressive.
was a fitness side, because I know Ricky, I've talked to him about it. Alden...
Well, I said Ricky, so I win.
But Ricky was already Ricky, and Ricky was going to continue to be Ricky. I think he just made him from already great to like crazy great with his fitness. But at that point, Alden didn't know everything about Supercross and motocross.
No.
It was an off the bike fitness type thing more than it is now. Now he's a part of it, a little bit of everything.
Well, so I thought so too. But then this year, Zach has Brandon from Club. Brandon flies down there once a week and works with Zach.
It's like riding coach, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like
that's what I mean.
DV was with Marvin.
I think everyone thinks that Alden is like a riding coach as well as this fitness guy.
I think he has been.
He knows some.
Yeah,
Alden's
he does.
on the track and talking to them about stuff like that he sees from experience. But like Brandon goes down there and he like just works with Zach throughout the day,
right?
As they do their thing, and Alden's there, but he's not like a full-time riding coach. He's just like there to make sure they do the laps and their heart rate's in the right spot. And
he's more of like a doctor almost, with making sure everything is perfect for the body, the mind, all that kind of stuff. But as far as like the riding coach side, Marvin had DV. I didn't know that about Zach, but that makes sense. And Alden doesn't claim to be like hey, Coop, I think you need to move back a little bit on the bike and the whoops.
No, listen, I've been there. Alden's surprised me with his riding stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure he's smart. Look who he's been around.
I've listened to him give really sound advice
he hasn't,
on riding.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm not trying to say that.
No, yeah.
I don't mean surprise me like his knowledge. I'll mean like I'm like, whoa. Like whether it's good or not, I didn't know he did this with these guys.
I've seen him say the right things, though.
Right.
Like,
you would hope so. I mean, he worked with Ricky,
20 years, right?
James,
Of the best guys.
RV,
Yeah.
Dunge. I mean, we're talking Mount
and I
Rushmore.
wouldn't
I don't
doubt
want to
that
get...
Coop
All
still
right.
does stuff with Swanee or like talks to him because they're so close.
At T Hall 767, JT. Let's say someone is copying your team every week on PulpMX Fantasy, besides first to the finish line, and you end up losing more points than gaining. So this guy beats you. What do you do?
Nothing. I'd blame myself. Right. Yeah. That's part of having the expert picks is we have to know that somebody's willing to do that. They're paying for that right to be able to do that. So I have no problem with it.
Dr. Papa says, Anton, do you use Wygant's methods to save hotel money while on the road? Or why are you always in your car during interviews?
I will. I'll be real cheap on stuff. But with the car thing, we did one of them. Don and I were in the drive-thru at In-N-Out. The second one, I was at the drive-thru at In-N-Out waiting to get the food. And then Saturday, Megan was in the hotel room, so I wasn't going to do it up there.
All right. A few friends from Dom Russo. A few friends and I were bench racing about money for riders now versus historical times. What did guys like RJ, Bob Hanna, Ward make for salaries back in their prime? Well, the easy way to answer this is Bradshaw in 1990 signed for $300K a year. Right? Was it 3 or 350?
92 was
his
450.
rookie year.
I think it was $3 million deal.
I know
So however he broke it
92
up.
he made
Right.
450.
So that was huge. So
Remember
Stanton-
Hanny's KTM deal?
Yeah, we just talked about that. Yeah.
1.7
Stanton
for 3 years.
Stanton told me, this is when he was Supercross champion, he made more money in off-season races than his Honda salary.
Yeah.
Not Honda salary plus bonuses, just base Honda.
Yep.
He made more in Europe.
I was there with you when you
Right.
told us
So
In Japan, they'd go to
so
all those
my
things.
guess for Stanton and those guys is 150. 100, 150 back in the day. So I know there's a lot of guys like, how many Suzuki 125 riders made 25K?
all of them.
All of them,
Yeah.
right? All right. Jordan Penner says, since Steve is now well educated after Stakegate, did he order a better cut at St. Elmo's the other night? So what were your guys' thoughts on the place? I had a ribeye, which I love ribeye.
I did, which I wrote you.
It's
you
hard.
always
It's
go
hard to
for
beat
the
a ribeye.
Did you have the shrimp cocktail?
Yeah,
It's so good.
It blows your sinuses apart.
So good.
I almost blacked out.
Yeah, it's so good.
I'm not kidding. Like that sounds really dramatic, but I seriously almost blacked out because I had so much horseradish on it, and I'm like, oh, I've been there and had it before, but I remember how intense this was. My sinuses exploded, and my eyes were like twitching, and I remember the next thing that's going to happen to me is I'm going to wake up like face down on this shrimp cocktail, and thankfully I didn't. But anybody
felt alive, huh?
No, I felt closer to death than I think I ever have.
I had lamb this week for the first time ever.
Lamb's great.
Lamb's good.
First time ever. It was incredible.
I
didn't know until
it's a different taste,
but a good weird. I was like, "What is?"
It's a
I didn't
gamey,
know.
But Aussies love it. So,
dude, when I got done, because I didn't know what it was, I was like, "We were doing what is that? Soudale Brazilian?"
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Fogo de Chao.
Yeah, that place where they just bring you
Saude.
stuff. I don't know, whatever. But they're just bringing the little slices of stuff, and I'm trying. I'm like, "Oh my god, that is the one!" And they're like, "That's lamb." I'm like,
That Fogo de Chao here?
Yeah.
So
It's right by my hotel.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
DB, this is from Beaks and Talons. DB, you hinted that you have a feeling someone is cheating off the start like you used to. Can you elaborate on that?
Watch the broadcast tomorrow. I'm doing something on it.
Oh.
Time in the gate, huh?
Michael Lessie style?
Hey, Savachi's jump was phenomenal.
It was an accident.
It was
he admitted it was an accident.
Who moved first, Zach?
AC.
Adam,
Zach, and then Joey said that I did an interview with him today. He said that last time it happened, AP jumped, and then he was sleeping, and he was dead last. So this time when Zach jumped, he said he just dropped it. He's like, I'm not sleeping this time. I'm going to drop the clutch, and he wheelied like right over the top.
It was a phenomenal time.
He said it was so big, he didn't know what to do in the first turn. He like screwed up because he was like, what do I do down here? There's no one here.
I don't know what I'm doing.
So much room for activities.
At Colgo Brian, of all the riders, Steve, you have wanted to light you on fire. Who have wanted to light you on fire? Who is now one of your favorites to interview? Marty post-race comes to mind. Yeah, Marty's a good interview. Marty used to hate me. Millsaps? Yeah, Millsaps, I think.
Your guy had a wild one in the rhythm section this week.
Oh, my God. Right on the concrete. And then he bounced up like a little bandito that he is.
Him
bounced
and
right
Freeze,
up.
dude.
What?
Him and Freeze. Just
Yeah,
having
Marty has
crazy-
had a rough start to 2021 Supercross.
At least he didn't wash the front again.
Yeah.
I was filming him on Friday during press day down the long rhythm, and I'm going, and then he clanks one. I'm just like, shit, and just pulled it down because it was a dead stop.
Oh, boy. That's been the motorsport.com tweet at me segment. So thanks to those guys at motorsport.com on social media. And they've got a big promotion running with Arma as well. So thanks to the guys at Arma. Also Blitz and Fire. I'm all fired up and blitzed out. So, all right, we're going to wrap this thing up.
Okay.
I know you got to go. I got the signal the first time.
Okay.
I'm wrapping it up.
I got to work tomorrow. I start at 3 a.m.
What?
I'm just joking.
So thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to people for listening. Kenny Roczen came on. Sean Brennan, of course. SwapMotoLive.com. Anton, please go there. How's everything going? Good?
It's good.
Yeah?
It's real good.
Busy as hell?
Don't even go outside some days.
Right. Yeah. Well, what's your uncle doing?
He's got his own stuff in California.
Oh, does he help you with this stuff or no? Is race coverage? Is he out on race coverage?
they do. He does How's Your Weekend. He collects all that stuff now.
Okay.
So it's one.
How are you doing the How's Your Weekend with no?
The girlfriends or mechanics or whoever's filming them and then texting it over to us.
Is it working?
Oh yeah.
Oh, is it really?
It's going
Okay,
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's like the Zoom thing too, because we've been part of all these. Everybody's guards down. You know, like some of these conversations and some of the stuff we're having, and they're way more telling than a line up there in the middle of this room for 3 guys and then just kind of pass the mic around.
Yeah. I did some post race the other day. I got home and I called some guys. I got back here and I called some guys, and everyone was really receptive to calling me back, even though it was late.
Mm-hmm.
So
Saturday night was late.
Yeah, but it was still guys were no problem.
That was the latest race I think we've ever had.
Yeah, it started at 8, right?
I think we're doing the same thing for tomorrow.
Like 30 minutes
a little earlier.
30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
That one or Salt Lake 2, that first Wednesday, that one was late.
Yeah, that one was late.
That was really late.
So thanks for coming in, Anton.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
Swap Moto Live. Daniel, good luck with the concessions, the parking, the NBC Sports, the Race Day Live.
If you want to hop in a skiddy for
skid work,
practice, that'd be sick.
Speaking during Peacock commercials.
Okay.
Jump right on that.
Yep.
Anything else? I'll bring you some food tomorrow.
I think Brennan's going to handle
Coffee?
that. Yeah.
You know how to work a Keurig?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to make a playlist for the stadium? You could do that too.
Rihanna.
Do that too.
Yeah,
Rihanna's
Rihanna.
great.
I
He's got
already did
a lot
that in the
of Rihanna.
preseason.
You got a
though.
lot of Rihanna.
A lot of Rihanna in the press box.
I did all that in December, though.
Oh, okay.
It's
Thank
preseason
you.
work.
Yeah, thank
If
you
you
very
could
much
tell
for
them
that.
how to say my last name, that would be really sick
boy.
too.
What do they say?
Clausen.
Clausen. It's Clayson.
Clausen.
It's Clayson.
RC and Lee were
would've-
calling him Clausen.
Were they?
But then
Never.
Todd got it right.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the W in there?
Where's the U?
Or the U, 'cause,
Where's
like-
anything?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
true.
Where's the U? Where's the W? Where's anything at all would make you
I might
say
just
Clausen?
start signing up with a Y.
It could be Klassen.
So thank you for coming in.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate
Anytime.
it. And
Put a Y in there and say, why are you calling me Clausen?
Kate,
Thanks, man.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Can I plug our team vlog?
No.
Team vlog. Watch it. It helps a lot. Because if we get those
Look at this
views-
team trying to go out of the PR department, trying to make things happen. It's media like you that ruin everything.
Subscribe,
we have
rate, subscribe,
a
rate, and
media
review.
guy who's like trying to do all this stuff and be a part of it, and it's just hard. Like that's why he's listening right now, and like that talk we were having about different ways, like that kind of stuff is really important to try and boost, like get money for a little
plug
team.
whatever you want. Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say that was the funniest segment I've ever heard. Ever.
Honestly, Steve, I'm not lying. It was the best 5 minutes of Pulp history. Was that segment?
I don't know about that,
I've
but-
gone back. I've watched it 8 times. I
Yeah.
made my
It's-
wife watch it. Has no clue who you are or
Right.
Kiefer, and she was dying.
It's really funny.
Kiefer,
so
just
funny.
the delivery on that was money.
That was the second time I heard that story. Okay, he dropped it on me driving up for mountain bike test, the Yamaha thing, and then he dropped, and I was dying in the car. Right, I'm fucking dying in the car. So you would think I wouldn't find it that funny the second time. I was fucking dying the second time.
Painfully funny.
Niece and I joke about it in the rig all the time.
Oh yeah.
It's.
I mean,
because he told it so well that I was visualizing it.
now Vic,
like,
I'm fucked up.
but I literally, a good storyteller is when they bring you into the story and you feel like you're there. The whole story, I felt like I was in the plane with him. I was getting nauseous listening to it. I'm like, oh.
Now we're gonna go back up. We're gonna
Like his reenactment of the voice
Yeah.
sounds like
incredible.
Sounds
was-
like a pilot.
No, it was great. And like I said, you have to tell this next time you come up on the show. Like, first of all, I've known Kiefer for how long? He's never told me that story. I'm just like,
amazing.
I'm like, how have I known you for 5 years and it's never come up? So, good times. JT, flyracing.com. Thanks for coming up.
Absolutely.
Hold on.
Race day tomorrow. It's race day tomorrow.
Race day tomorrow. Yep, fantastic. So thanks everybody for listening. Again, for Blair, Anton, Kade Clayson, Jason Thomas. I'm Steve Mathis. Thanks for listening, and see you guys next week.